Gfinity Arena and welcome along to the Gfinity Elite Series delivered by Domino's. It's week 3 of FIFA 19 and we're getting to that stage in the tournament where every point counts and matters. Now, after today's 4 fixtures, we'll have a better idea of the standings and who will be going into the playoffs. Now, as always, I'm not alone in my quest in the Elite Series. I have been joined today by 2 fabulous guests, presenter, gamer, also staff member for Man City. It's the one and only Mr. Kyle Walker. And next to him, to his left, he's a gaming expert and also a commentator. It's the one and only Mr. Dan Gaskin. Gentlemen, you look absolutely splendid. You've gone for the brown and green look today. I like that. I respect it. It's different. It's new. Thank you. Knitwear as well. You might sweat tonight because the action is going to be beautiful in week 3. Are you excited?
I cannot wait. After being here last week, the excitement around it, the buzz around it as well, I'm excited to be back for week 3.
Yeah, and which team are you looking forward to seeing again that delivered, in your opinion, last week?
Envy were great, and I think they're going to do some exciting stuff again today.
Oh, Envy, straight up. That is going to be our first fixture. Dan Gaskin,
yes,
you are back. Now, this in front of you, a notebook. You are the most prepared analyst I have ever seen. Everyone's upping their game, and I feel like the pro players are upping their game as well. Coming to week 3, they know they have to deliver.
It's crunch time. We might see people get to those playoffs, like you said. We potentially might see teams not be able to reach those playoffs. Every point matters at this point. You said you're excited to see Envy. I'm excited to see Man City Epsilon. Can they continue their absolute dominance this week? Probably, yes.
OK, well, technically, I didn't ask that question, but that's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. If you're going to be like that, Dan Gaskin.
I've got it was in my notes.
Forward to it. Man City Epsilon. It's juicy contest, left, right and centre. Listen, they're going to be with me at the desk all time. For the last 2 weeks, though, we've had a footballer who has over a 17-year professional career, played 500+ times at the top flight. He was capped for England 26 times. That's right, we had John in Lescott. What a coup to have him here. Today, we have Chris Trout. And he is up at the touchscreen with Mark Onset-Hutcher.
Thank you, mate. I was just going to leave that for a second, just to sink in. I think it was a beautiful introduction. Obviously, you and Tom carrying on what is already a fruitful relationship as we go into this week. But, of course, we're going to have a look at the squads here, Trout, for the 2 starting teams. We'll start off with the guys over in Excel. This is the auction process for them, and you can see they spent big on 2 players in particular. Patrick Vieira, 150 million coins, and Eusebio, 125 million. What do you think they're going to bring to this team?
They're going to bring a lot of stability, especially Vieira. I mean, we saw how powerful and effective he was in the last FIFA, and he's continuing that trend into the new edition of FIFA. And Eusebio, a new card this year coming into the game, fantastic all-rounder, up top and really, really effective.
Now, there's 2 players that I want to highlight here I think are going to be in any particular pros team, and that is, of course, Patrick Vieira, that prime icon, and that prime Maldini at centre-back. I mean, you just look at these cards. Why is everyone picking these when they're playing that 1v1 format? Why does everyone want them in their teams? What makes them stand out above the rest?
I think they're just very big and in the right position at the right time. We can see how effective that these time finesses actually end up being, and being able to get your players in the right place at the right time to block those chances. We know how important that 1 extra pass is, and getting space for your players to take the shot.
Well, let's have a look at Envy's squad, obviously who they're going to be going up against. This was the auction process for them, and they spread their costs a little bit wider than we saw previously, but one man who's been doing the job for them is Johan Cruyff. I mean, 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot, and he's been banging them in for Envy.
I mean, he's the perfect striker. Very similar situation to R9 Ronaldo. You've got that complete forward who's going to bag you loads of goals, can pass it, can shoot, has got the pace, the dribbling, the physicality. 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot, just an all-round god.
Now, one player I want to just highlight very quickly is a player that we might not talk about too much, but this Champions League for Salco, he did some work last week, defensively very, very solid. That card has been kind of one of the underrated ones that has come out of the cupboard a little bit here and put in some good performances. But speaking of good performances, I want to talk about Jazz and Waves on the PlayStation 4 side of things for Envy. These guys, maybe coming into the Elite Series, weren't some of the biggest names individually, but boy, they work well together.
Yeah, they seem to overflow their forwards into the box, and it's very difficult for these guys to kind of organise themselves into a kind of construction that actually holds up against some of this fast, aggressive action.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed from these guys as well is they're very selfless as players in the 2v2 arena. Of course, you need to always be looking for the teammate, looking for that extra pass across and trying to create that little bit of space. You can see from this beautiful ball from Frank Lampard here and a great finish at the near post as the keeper was obviously manually controlled. But these 2, as I say, as a duo have been so impressive, and I'm expecting big things from them now we go into week 3.
Yeah, you can see they've definitely practiced. I think the 2v2 format really challenges you to work well with your other half. being in FIFA for this long and having to adapt to a new style and working with a teammate when you've been a lone wolf for so long is very difficult, and these two seem to be gelling very well.
Well, Trout, it's a pleasure to have you up here, and I'm happy that you're up here. I know that Tom, you know, we'll sort that out and otherwise. But two men that is obviously very important to introduce as well, I believe, are with Tom. And, of course, there are fabulous commentators, Richard and Brandon.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. Thank you very much, gentlemen. A long hello from those two. But there you go. They're going to be up there on the touchscreen throughout this evening. I am joined by the one and only Mr. Brandon and Richard. Look at this. You're looking dapper as always. Are you excited to be back here, Gfinity Elite Series Week 3?
Exactly, we love it. Last week I was, at this point, probably stuffing my face with Dominoes at home, enjoying some FIFA action, and it's great to be back, and I want to see how good this Man City team really are. Yeah,
now, a man who's not part... You can eat a tray bake. When it comes to pizza, you love that sort of thing. What were you doing last week?
I'm watching the Gfinity Elite Series
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
With a tray bake.
Well, there you go. Well, listen, but you've got your notepads, you're ready for this. Which game sort of stands out to you today that you're looking forward to getting involved in?
I think it's first game of the day, to be honest. I'm very interested, as Dan Gaskin was saying, to see Envy in action, to see how they're coping. Week 3, different sorts of pressure coming into it. You've got the actual capability of getting one of those spots in the playoff, latter stages. So first game of the day, coming out strong. Can they perform?
Yeah, and looking at the fixtures ahead of us right now, Team Envy are going to kickstart against Excel. We've looked at a bit of their lineup through Chris Trout and Onset, and you've got Team Vitality taking on Method. But some of these teams definitely need points, don't they?
They do. One of those teams, although they did have a break last week, would be that game between Army and Fnatic. Fnatic on 0 points at the moment, and
who would have
Army
thought that?
on 1. Yeah.
Who would have thought that? The champions. But we have changed to a 2v2 format. We haven't mentioned that already, but it is all changed here.
We have, and they have got an incredible roster still. They've got the likes of Dami, they've got the likes of Zimmer. The list goes on there. They're really going to be wanting to get points on the board tonight. Yeah, and Zach Moore probably, no doubt, wearing his shorts tonight. Listen, gentlemen, I've enjoyed having a quick catch-up with you. Going to be chatting to you more throughout the night. I've got one other co-host that I need to introduce you to. That's Lauren Layfield. Where are you right now?
That's it. Yep, just pile it on. Just a little bit more powder. Keep going. Keep going. Oh, hi. Yeah, you've caught me here unawares. Look, here's my shoes, my bag, which I've not cleaned up. Just shove them down there. I'm down here in the Domino's den where I am going to be... Well, my job tonight is going to be enticing conversation from our amazing players. We've got our commentators. We've got the guys up at the touchscreen. They're giving it all this, judging. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to chat to our amazing players right down here in the Domino's den and find out what the crack is. Fingers crossed I'll be able to entice out of them like a little wee goblin. Back to you, Tom.
A wee goblin. Brilliant. There you go. Joining us on the desk as well. Is it rude if I refer to Lauren as a wee goblin backstage in a Domino's den?
The height. It's the height.
Yeah, it's the height thing. Okay. We will move on. Not good as a wing back for either of the teams here. Listen, Trout, you've joined us at the desk. I want to talk a little bit about those fixtures that you're looking forward to tonight. We just saw them a second ago, but which one stands out for you?
I think it's going to be a good game for Envy and XL. They're two teams that have got some really interesting players and experienced players. I think it's a big game for XL. Likewise, I think it's a good test for Envy to really start to push on into this campaign and see what it is that they will hope to achieve in this season.
OK, listen, gentlemen, and which game stands out for you, Gaskin? I know you've got the notebook there of the notes.
Nordavind versus Epsilon, I think. Obviously, Epsilon, they performed excellently last week. But Nordavind, they also have a great game as well, a great couple of games. So this should be a tougher test for Man City Epsilon. But if they keep performing well, they are without Dito today. So that might be a struggle for them. OK, now let's look at the groupings at the moment for Group A, Group B. As you can see, both on your screen, Man City Epsilon and Group B at the top. Not dropped any points. They are being very, very dominant. Hopefully they can keep the foot on the gas, metaphorically speaking. Team Envy at top. Any surprises there? Dream Team. We thought, the likes of the Bullock would step up a bit more than he has done.
Both AS Roma, Fnatic and Dream Team for me kind of are both surprises, but I'm not surprised about Team Envy and Man City Epsilon being at the top. They both just look so dominant, and I actually can't see Man City Epsilon being beat at all.
Yeah, wow. It's an interesting statement there early on in the season. Chris, you weren't here, Mr. Trout, last week, but the Domino's Week 2 MVP was Jazz. He was fantastic and has been, obviously, the previous season, in Season 3, he came through the Challenger Series, and there he was. He got signed by Envy, played one game. unbeaten, comes back season 4, and that form is continuing. There he is, Jazz for Envy. He was dominant. 6 goals, only 1 conceded, and he's doing very well with the PS4 side of things.
Yeah, he looks so dominant, he looks great, and that is why I think Envy are going to do so well, because they've got Jazz, they've got Waves as well. They look so good together. It's that chemistry that they have together which is so special.
He just missed out of top 100 in FUT Champs as well in October. I think he was 103rd. So he'll be wanting to improve on that coming into this season, this month of FUT Champs, and of course in Gfinity as well. He just wants to impress everyone. He's one of these players that I think is just eager to play FIFA and show what he's made of.
Yeah, and honestly, the way he swaggers around, he will know that I don't mind him. He won't mind me saying this. The confidence that has shot through that pro play, he just walks around like he owns the place. Listen, our partners, Domino's, have come up with a competition where you can win free pizza. It's called the Domino's Predictor, and you, the public, have predicted that Man City Epsilon will remain undefeated by the end of today's show. If you are correct, you'll be in with a chance of winning that pizza. All you have to do is comment, "I am here for pizza." You don't have to shout it, you can put it in lowercase, on the pin tweet on your Twitter page, @Gfinity, and that pizza could be yours. Simple as that. If you want that free pizza, get involved. Right then, gentlemen, looking ahead, we're going to be starting on the Xbox with the guys, Envy taking on Excel. 2v2, there's been changes constantly from both teams, but obviously starting with Jablet and Joey taking on Spacey and Painter, and the return of Painter. That's an interesting name that we hear lots about.
Painter I'm excited for. I look at my FUT Champs stats and I'm looking at all these players and I'm wondering how they're going to perform. He was 68th in the world in October, only losing 10 games of FUT Champs. So anything like that is going to show how dominant you are as a player. Whether he's going to adjust to 2v2, that's a different matter. We've heard players saying it's hard to practice 2v2. They weren't able to transfer their 1v1 skills as well as they thought they would be. So it's whether he got enough games out back to be able to practice for today.
Yeah, and Kyle, obviously, that Jablet and Joey performing okay, reasonably well for Envy. They need to come out and show everybody, not just the Gfinity community, but everybody what they're made of and why they've been selected.
Yeah, definitely. When you've got the PlayStation boys playing so well together, they've got to come out and put on that and say, actually, we're here, we're going to get some points on the board and we're going to show everyone what we can do.
OK, I look forward to it, and I love having you down on the desk with me, Trout. Just a cheeky wink, that's all we're getting. Right, let's get to our first fixtures of the night. We start with Group A, which is tighter than Ronaldo's abs. We all saw it after that volley. Oh, it was a beauty. CR7, not R9.
It's going to be a good game, this one. That's a fantastic ball. Duda Hernandez found himself one-on-one.
And it's in. Miroslav closer. That's a really well-worked goal.
Ronaldo.
Vitality snatched the win.
The man they paid the money for releases an absolute bullet. Nedved, Envy and Method tied up at 1-1. Easy, easy finish. Fantastic ball. Lucas, this has been a show from the boys in blue.
Well, here we go then, gentlemen. Obviously, Richard and Brandon joining me here. It's fantastic to have you guys here. I wanted to get your opinions on the first game of the night. Let's start off by talking about the Xbox side of things, and let's start off by talking about Jablet and Joey. What they got to bring to the table, in your opinion, this week?
I think Jablet just more of the same. He's been doing fantastically well online at the minute. He qualified for that LQE coming up, so he's in fine form. He's been playing 2v2. I remember that goal he scored against Dream Team in the first week where you got that big reaction.
They've just got to work on their celebrations a little bit because the bullet wasn't too happy when the shush came out. But
I think on the other side of it as well, you're looking at XL Painter. He's not put an excessive amount of money into the game, so he's not got the best of teams on Ultimate Team, and to still perform at the level that he is, it shows that he's got one thing, and that's quality. You don't have to pay for it. He's got it.
He's got it in abundance, exactly. He doesn't have to dip into the pockets. He's got that quality to show. Now let's talk about the other console that we're going to be going on, PS4, Envy vs Excel, and I talked about it up on the touchscreen there. Just how good have Waves and Jazz been so far? Because for me, they have been the standout pairing.
For sure, and I was, just playing FIFA this morning. About 8 o'clock in the morning, Waves has already played like 10 games. He's been up since early this morning, and it's great to see Jazz really getting on that stage now and showing what he can do. As you said, MVP last week. He's such a nice guy as well for this organisation. He is. He went to all the events last year with Envy, didn't play at all, went as a coach, just wanted to be involved in this team, and it's great for him to be on that big stage now and hopefully getting some results.
Now, Excel on the other side of things, how do you stop these guys? Because they have been performing so well as a duo. What would you suggest?
I call it the clutch factor. I think he's the magic man for him. He's the catalyst to their performances. Most of the weeks he's played on both consoles. He's been that sort of factor, that almost Scott Parker, Gareth Barry of the team, just sticking it together.
Of all of the defensive midfielders in the world, he chooses the two stalwart Englishmen. I respect that, yeah.
They've mixed it up this week. He's not playing on both consoles with both players, so are they going to struggle on one side where he's not playing? We'll have to find out.
Well, of course, thank you, gentlemen, for your opinions on what is to come. But, of course, that's only game number 1. We've got plenty more to come after that, of course, haven't we? Is that right, Tom?
Tonight, live, it's a blockbuster at the FIFA 19 Gfinity Elite League, the greatest league in the world. 8 teams take centre stage in the Gfinity Arena here in West London. It's Judgment Day. Well, not yet. And it's live, exclusively live. And whenever you want it on Facebook. We will bring you history being made as the best FIFA players from around the world do battle and go head-to-head and score goals, all live, all in high definition and in a standard, steady 60 FPS. Who will reign supreme? Who will be victor? Who will succeed and take it all? There will be goals, loads of goals, huge goals, plenty of goals. Foot goals, head goals, bicycle goals, long-range goals, goals in your own goal, goals, 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 more. History will be made live, exclusively live, always live. It's fantastic, fabulous, frantic football FIFA Friday. Welcome Envy to the stage. Brother. Gentlemen, lovely to have you. Envy, I gave you the best introduction I could on Craven Cottage's pitch. I was worried about your walk there, Jazz, whether there was enough room for all four. Tight, yeah, it was a little bit, but listen, I said to the guys down here and everyone, wherever they are right now, that there is a confidence about Jazz when he's walking around the arena. This feels like your home now. You own these ends.
Well, we're just trying to keep it going, you know. We're in good form and let's see how long it can last. Yeah.
Now, the PS4 dominating. What have you said to the Xbox boys about keeping their calm and composure?
They've been playing well. I said the results will come. Just keep it going, you know.
OK, well, listen, Joey, I've got to ask you, is that true? That you feel like those results are going to start coming?
Well, they've got to, haven't they? I mean, they can't carry us forever. We've got to start winning games instead of drawing, so
I love that.
Hopefully this is the one.
Real talk. Joey, listen, Envy, you can head off in that direction. That's one of your teams tonight. It's time to welcome their opposition. They come in the form of Excel, and we have the return of Painter. He's going to be on the Xbox. He's going to be joined by Spacey, and then on the PS4, Spacey will be joined by Clutch. Welcome, Excel! Lovely to have you back, Spacey. Now, I named a third person. We know Clutch is up there. He's suffering with a bit of a knee injury. Listen, you're back, Painter.
It's good to be back.
Does it feel like Excel needs you back in this system, back ready to start playing, or are you just happy to be here?
They done well last week, so yeah, I can't really say that, but it's got to be back.
And what do you, because we haven't heard your viewpoint on your squad, what do you make of your squad?
Oh yeah, it's good. Clutch done well, actually. We've got Eusebio, Vieira and Maldini, so yeah, I was surprised. OK, well, it's lovely to have you back, Painter. And obviously, Spacey, playing twice. You ready for this tonight?
Yeah, feeling confident.
Perfect. Well, listen, take that confidence with you, gentlemen. Excel can head off that way. I'm going to come back over to the desk. The reason is because I fancy a little sit down. Gentlemen, we saw how confident they all look. We've seen it again. So you've got, for Envy, you've got 2 separate teams on each console, whereas Excel are using Spacey on both. Now, what do you think the plus and minuses of that is?
Obviously, if you're having 2 different teams, then they get to have a bit of a break, a bit of a rest. They're not having to focus on the game for that first one. They can actually just take some time, think about what they're going to do. But the kind of pluses of just being in it is you're there, you're focused, you're ready. It doesn't matter what console you're on, you're playing that game and you're in and you're ready to go.
Yeah. Obviously, Mark, we were talking about me at Craven Cottage. I was giving it some there, wasn't it? It's live.
I've never seen you so energetic. I was genuinely impressed. At one point, we were going to have to resuscitate you, but
honestly, I normally crack a joke at some point, but I was very serious there. And this is a serious stage for these guys. I haven't asked you, but this really is now. You need to start winning. And as Joey said, for Envy on the Xbox, they need to start delivering because they can't rely on the PS4 guys.
Yeah, I agree. And sort of for the first couple of weeks, we maybe saw players having a little bit of fun, getting used to the 2v2 format. But now we're week 3. You know, we're almost halfway through the season. And I think that's going to hit a few of these players, and they're going to be like, OK, you know, we've only managed to win one game. We've only managed to pick up a couple of draws. It's like, we need wins now. We need to, like, really turn it on, because otherwise, before you know it, you can be out of the contention for making playoffs. So big week for, I think, every single team who's here this week. They need to pick up wins, and it's not just one or two teams that needs to do it. It's every single team that steps on the stage today.
OK, this could be a real litmus paper test now, whether I get in trouble for this. But I'm going to throw up to the Goblin right now, the little Goblin. Lauren, where are you?
I'm right up here with the boys getting ready for the first game of the evening. Guys, how are you feeling? It's week 3. What's going to be important for you?
Feeling confident. Hopefully we can start off with a win on the Xbox side, then move on to PlayStation.
I love it, I love it. What do you think you need to be doing today that's kind of going to get you that win against those naughty little Envy boys down there?
I think we need to close out a lead. Last time he played, he scored like an overhead kick in like the last minute to equalise, so... Yeah.
And you guys you've tied both games before now. What do you think you need to do to actually get better and go and get those wins?
I think we just need to score more goals. We've only played 1 week and we scored 2 goals, so yeah, we need to score more goals.
I think you've got it in you. Go on, look at your little confident face there. Boys, I'm going to come down here and speak to you. I feel like, you know, I'm getting to know you guys now. Week 1, week 2, the kind of walk coming out was, you know, a little bit more cautious, but now you've got the swag. You're coming down the stairs with absolute swag. Have you got a newfound confidence at the minute?
Well, we just want to win the game. That's our main objective. We drew our last 2, so this one we need to win, and then maybe we'll be more swaggy next week, as you say.
Swaggy, it's a verb. Also, as well, obviously you guys are all teammates, but how does it feel when you kind of have to take those tips from your teammates to be like, come on, guys, be better?
Well, I know personally that the 3 players that we have here on the roster, sorry, the 4 players, including me, they're all good players. We can all talk to each other and give each other tips, and you know, they take tips, we take tips.
I love it. The swaggy bros. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much. We're now Tom. We're here. We're here. We're back for Gfinity. Week number 3. Tom's coming over now. Hello, Tom. Here he is. There he is. We are back, as we said, week number 3 now. Group A fixture, this one. And it's a great one. Both of these teams are unbeaten at the moment in this series.
Well, they both need wins on one side of the console, you could say. On this game that we're about to watch right now, on this Xbox side, both of these teams need wins just for confidence, just to know that we can actually see a game out, we can actually win a game of FIFA in a 2v2 format, because, I'm not going to lie, they've been struggling, Brandon.
Well, both results were a 1-1, so they can score goals. It's just trying to push on from that. And the goal they did score was a little bit controversial a few weeks back. I've mentioned already about the Bullocks, you know, the shush, the bicycle kick from Rivaldo.
Yeah, but that's no longer pretty much in the game now. Bicycle kicks in the patch, they've been seriously nerfed. The ability to score bicycle kicks, you saw a lot with like defenders, Van Dijk, Varane scoring near post bicycle kicks at least once a game. That's pretty much nullified from the game now. You're rarely seeing them go in. So how quickly have people adapted to the patch? That's another question. How quickly have adapted people to actually playing in 2v2 with so many qualifiers coming up in a single-player format? Have people actually got time to play 2v2? It's going to be the people who are playing in team houses together, who can play Ultimate Team 2v2. I think they're the teams who are going to go on and succeed.
I definitely agree there. And the other important question is, how is Painter going to slot straight into this 2v2? I know he's been enjoying his weekend league, 29-1 last weekend. As we said, qualifies every single weekend at the moment with Gfinity as well. Spacey and they haven't played together. Painter. Is that going to be something that we need to look at?
Yeah, I think we're just seeing a couple of potential matchup. Just getting into the game now. Painter, he's coming back to it. He's returning to Gfinity.
He's coming back. He said, I couldn't be there the week before last because I had work commitments, but he's back now. And as we know, Clutch, who scored that incredible finesse with Dybala, first-time finesse, really late on, will be playing on the PlayStation side.
A little bit of inside information if you're really into your FIFA. Johan Cruyff, before the game started, they had a Hunter on him. I was looking at the in-game stats of a Hunter. Didn't really improve that much because he's pretty much like 99's on the board already with 10 chemistry. They changed it. They put a Hawk on it. Get that physical up. I think he's actually got 82 strength, I want to say now, in-game. So the little changes like that, is that going to make an impact?
Is that going to play a part? We shall see throughout this game. Obviously, as we know, just a single leg wins 3 points. A draw is a point. Not like last season when we saw the 1v1 format. And we're playing for a really big prize here at the end of the day as well. Obviously, get to playoffs next, get to the finals, then you're playing for like £25,000.
Yeah, for a 2v2 format as well. I think the big thing For me, you talked about it before. How is Painter going to slot in to this roster, I should say? I think Clutch, he was the big player for me in this XL team. Can Painter step into his shoes? I'm unsure. I'm unsure against a tough Envy team.
But he has got that experience of playing on this live stage here with the live crowd that we have got in front of us. And it is important to remember that Envy are top of this group at the moment. 8 points. They are unbeaten. But at the same time as that, XL are unbeaten as well. And I believe we are just jumping into this game now. The first game of the evening here at the Gfinity Elite Series in London. And if you have just joined us, make sure you strap yourselves in because we've got so much FIFA to come. And as Tom Deacon said, it's live. I think it's live now.
Yeah, Martin Tyler, look out because Tom Deacon is coming for your job.
Well, 4-2-2. It looks like it will be for MV. And if you don't know how these teams are built, they were drafted. And you can see the bidding process there. The big players, obviously, we're looking at Johan Cruyff. One of them, 5-star weak foot.
Cruyff, Maldini, Vieira. That's why you're seeing lesser-known players as well. Versalco in at right back. Player of the month, Lucas.
Player of the month, Lucas, obviously, the recent player of the month. Oh, here we go, straight away. Is that the Hunter doing it? Doing something there?
Johan Cruyff.
3 minutes into the game, before we can even start talking, it's 1-0 to Envy.
Really nice ball in there. Lucas on that far side, as we said, whipped into that front post, and Cruyff, really good attacking positioning, really good reactions, getting into that gap.
What I was trying to say was, obviously, the recent player of the month just came in today was Aubameyang after a great October. Lucas, on the other hand, I remember just playing that weekend league after. It was player of the month Lucas in every single team. How many Aubameyangs are going to be on the weekend league this weekend? We shall see.
You've got the complete front three now. You've got Hazard, Lucas, Aubameyang, all
Premier League
player of the month.
And
I'm scared to play.
As we know, speaking of some of their key players there, Lampard, Cruyff, Mateus, and on the other side of that, with this team, we've got Patrick Vieira, we've got
Eusebio,
we've got Maldini. And I want to point it out as two players that have been in a lot of pros teams. And speaking of this man on the ball now, Dybala scored a really important goal for XL on week number 1. It was a gorgeous finesse from about 25, 30 yards out. But right now, they're going to need one of those goals because they're currently 1-0 down.
Yeah, actually on his weak foot as well. He just opened up his body, tucked it past the goalkeeper with that first-time finesse. But Envy started this game like a house on fire 11 minutes in.
And if Painter needed a wake-up call to say, right, we're in 2v2 format now, that was the wake-up call. Because I tell you now, Jablet and Joey, they've been practicing non-stop, these two, and you know, out of maybe some of the teams that are working together, you could say, other than the likes of Dito or Gotsuri, they're really up for this.
Yeah, up for it, want the prize money, want to solidify themselves as some of the best players around as well. We've not had a lot of tournaments so far this year, Brandon. We're only 6-8 weeks into the game of FIFA, so if you can get a win under your belt like Juxan did in Paris a couple of weeks ago, you're pretty much already at the top of the pedestal.
And as we know, for those players that are drafted in to the Gfinity Elite Series, some of them, such as Jazz, will stay on, will get a contract. Ice Vogel last year stayed on, got himself a contract. Even someone like Clutch stayed on for XL. Now he's playing in the PlayStation 4 leg. This is the Xbox leg. The first one went for a time finesse.
Good move of the keeper there. Yeah, you saw Rivaldo. He's only got a 2-star weak foot, so he's always going to try and shift it onto that left-hand side. Move the keeper across. Van der Sar in the goal. Quite a comfortable save for him.
One thing I'm really looking forward to breaking down, Richard, throughout the events this year is that the way that the time finesse can be kind of countered by the goalkeeper, but if you do it too quick like that, sometimes it can just dip in. But
really nice effort from that baby Del Piero. Interesting that they chose the 87 Del Piero, not the 92. That 87's more pace, just a little bit more agile in and around the box.
You can see how they've pulled apart their team as well as Envy. They've gone for
4-4-2.
And they've actually put Lucas, you could say, on the opposite side, maybe to cut in with the finesse?
Potentially so, yeah. He found himself on the right-hand side for that goal.
21 minutes into this one, and it was the opening goal after 3 in-game minutes from the icon. There's Johan Cruyff. If you're wondering what the icons are, the best players from previous times in their best form. 60 of them in-game this year. An extra 20 were added into FIFA 19, and if you want these players, you're looking at about 500-600k, is it minimum at the moment for even the cheapest?
Yeah, just for the baby icons, you're looking at 500, 550k.
Well, let's see the big guns, you could say, of XL. Eusebio, Vieira, Maldini. We need to start seeing them get involved and really showing their worth. As we said, all these players were drafted in. They were in a bidding process to get them in their team. We've got Kevin De Bruyne in this team as well.
First time finesse.
There's that finesse, and there's the goal.
He did it in week 1. He's doing it in week 3 again. Dybala at Champions League for Item will score again.
As soon as he rolled it into him, you saw him, he eyed it up. He saw
it's like they know what they're doing. They paint the picture before it happens.
Yeah, the back pages. And lovely finesse shot, just caressed into that top corner. Dybala, either side doesn't matter for him.
No chance at all there from Oblak to even try and dive forward for that one. But this is better from XL. After not the best opening 10-15 minutes, they come alive. As we slowly approach this half-time whistle here. Remember, as I said, this is only game number 1, fixture number 1 of the evening. This is Group A as well. Team Envious, who are in that blue strip from left to right. They're currently top of this group on 8 points.
Yeah, good defending from Rio Ferdinand there as well. Looking for that little reverse ball back through to Kevin De Bruyne, but good defending from Rio Ferdinand.
Del Piero into Cruyff.
What a save.
Van der Sar. Lovely stuff.
One of the big differences between 2v2 and 1v1 is you can't manually defend as well as you can in 1v1, just because you've got 2 players constantly pressing you. So you're seeing a lot more. Good save. You're seeing a lot more of the actual defending taking place by the players, shutting down, jockeying.
This is what the communication is important with. All players will be wearing headsets. Corner comes in now. And about the way we attack, about the way we defend. Say if we were playing together, Richard, who's sitting off, who's pressing that ball?
A great ball.
And if I'm going to go, I need to be told. I need to be told it's happening.
Risky little roll out from the back from Van der Sar, but...
And they've lost the ball as well from doing that. Rivaldo will go for a finesse. It's just finesse central. Everyone is trying to score a finesse, it seems. The meta way of scoring if you can time it right. And of course, all the upcoming fixtures for this evening. Team Vitality Method, Army up against AS Roma Fnatic, and then the big finale. Nordavind against the unbeaten Manchester City and Epsilon. 12 points on the board in Group B. And despite some interesting celebrations last week, they played some incredible stuff.
Yeah, 4 wins, I should say, from 4. 2 back-to-back victories for Man City Epsilon. Looking to make it 18 points out, or 18 this week.
And they love to get the same score as well. Week 1, it was a 3-2-3-2. Week 2, it was a 2-1-2-1. Are we going to see the same later on tonight? Added time of 2 minutes. Looks a little bit soft there from Johan Cruyff, who just fell down. One more attack for XL in that white strip. If they can get it past this halfway line over the next few seconds, they have got it past. They've just got to keep possession and move forward. I think we'll be into half-time. Unless there's a mistake, Eusebio, one-on-one. Plays it about post, fake shot inside. Matthias will clear out for a throw-in.
He's going to let it go. No, he's not.
We're going to half-time at 1-1 between the two. And an interesting first half, but not enough shots. And from XL there, 1 shot.
Yeah, but
1 goal.
That's all you need. If you're going to score every chance that you take, if you're going to score every shot that you have, I should say, got to be thinking they'll be kicking themselves there. He's in on goal. He's fake shotted back. I think the goalkeeper was manually being moved, so he was trying to read it where he was going.
Now into the second half now. XL definitely to create a few more chances. You know, you've got like Eusebio on your team. Kevin De Bruyne, these players can shoot from distance. It was just literally an attack of finesses from Envy.
Yep.
Getting into those right areas, finesse, finesse, finesse. And you saw the half-time stats there, absolutely dominating. Here we go though, XL. We asked for you to create some chances. Can we see something? Superb defending there though.
Yeah, Frank Lampard getting back. The engine of the team, you could say. What have I just seen?
They're coming together there at the back. I think Cruyff was involved. It will be a free kick the other way though to XL.
Good ball that. Often you see free kicks in that sort of position when you get given offside. You'll try and pass it out from the back. You'll put yourself in danger. You see now, just keep it hold of the ball, XL. That's what they need to do. Just sort of take the sting out of the game a little bit.
I think the great thing about
Give it away again though.
The great thing about the Gfinity Elite Series is, Rich, no same player can be in the same team. You know, as maybe we used to see in the single player 1v1 tournament. You're not going to see 2 Ronaldos. You're going to see 2 R9s. everything is different, and it builds up that purpose of Ultimate Team, what we all loved about Ultimate Team, building your dream team in some ways.
Yeah, and it also makes it even more interesting when you see the big players, Cruyff, Eusebio, R9, CR7, when you've got those players in action, all eyes on them. Can they perform to the big price tags that the guys did auction for?
And one of those players, Eusebio, a new icon for FIFA 19, hasn't really stepped up as of yet. It's been Dybala in week 1 and tonight that has been grabbing all eyes. Scored a goal in both games as well, but currently right now, Eusebio. From week 1, I just remember him just being lost a little bit, Eusebio. Sometimes he's not in the attack, sometimes he's backtracking in defence.
I think they were playing in cam. They were playing Shevchenko up top and playing him cam. They just weren't getting involved in the game. That's a nice little ball over the top, and he's in.
He's one-on-one, take your time, can he finish it? No, he can't. Great save, Van der Sar, out for a corner. A great chance there for Team Envy.
Oblak yet to be put.
Corner to come, and anyone there for it? As far as Lucas on that finesse, it was timed. Rio Ferdinand with a bit of a sprint touch there. Shevchenko, Vieira, to De Bruyne now. Find Eusebio. Get him involved in an attack, and just that pace, you're looking to play a through ball there to Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Oblak yet to be called into action. Van der Sar, very much the busier of the two goalkeepers. I think they're just lacking creative options up top. Dybala seems to be the only one really creating anything. Shevchenko.
I don't think at the same time though, Rich. I don't think that obviously Painter and Spacey would have played together before. You know, tonight would be, for me, that first time they played together.
But it's often the saying, isn't it? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. If you're not going to practice together and then you come to the big stage, are you expected to do anything?
Well, Eusebio, again, I hate to pick him out. He's just giving away a goal kick. For the price they paid for him as well. Just hasn't looked like he's doing anything special so far, but Envy have really not been at the races since that first 15 minutes where they started so well, and obviously a word on that team with Jablet in there. Someone know Beast Techers, Jablet. He's gone through a few gamer tags, but he's been someone that's been grinding this game for a very, very long time.
I think he just qualified for the LQ under Noxious Bacon on the gamer tag.
I don't know where that one came from. I have to speak to him in an interview. Here we go. Oh, Eusebio, please. Please, Eusebio. Just lost there. As you mentioned, Jablet, a fantastic player who's got himself to that event. I remember Joey as well, grinding it all last year on FIFA 18. Finally getting their chance through the Gfinity Elite Series, which gives players so many opportunities to play in a LAN event with some great prize money up for grabs. Some are travelling to London every single week as well.
It's got very scrappy this game right now. No one really keeping hold of the ball.
Someone just needs to take it by the scruff of its neck, get it under control, get themselves a goal, and then I think they'll be fine. Honestly, one goal will win this. And you're looking at some of the score lines in this Elite Series, 2-1s.
3-2,
it's all by one goal.
And this is where you're looking towards them big players and big money buys.
The only game that has really gone completely the other way is Nordavin against Hashtag last week. And looking at any other results that have kind of gone that far as well would be Envy on the PlayStation side with Jazz and Waves, who have been linking up incredibly well together.
Against Dream Team, I believe, yeah.
It was. Into our last 10 minutes, it's not been the best half of action. But you always get one more chance, as you say, Richard. One more chance. But who will that chance fall to? Del Piero. Out for a corner.
7 minutes left on the clock. Look for that near post.
They're going to try and control as well in there. Is that Titsi round the edge of the box, number 14, it looks like. In it goes.
It's in towards him.
It's into him. Headed away by Vieira. And then Dybala out for a throw, and is going to go for.
If in doubt.
Mateus. Got Rivaldo there. Jordi Alba, I believe. There was Titi that was involved in that corner. And I just have a slight feeling Envy are just trying to build up to that final chance, trying to pull out a few of their opposing players in XL's team. And they've got to be careful with XL. They've got, what, 3 players nearly out of position. Eusebio, Shevchenko, constantly just changing players for XL. Look, there's 4 players out of the game there.
And we do know Envy like a late goal.
And Envy like a finesse.
Yep.
I've made that decision by now. Another time one from Johan Cruyff there. And I just have a slight feeling, Richard, we're going to be in for a draw.
It's been the story of both of these two organisations so far, pretty much throughout the Elite Series. Draw central.
It's the story of the Xbox team on Team Envy. They draw games 1-1. This will be the third time in a row. Yes, it's a point on the board, though. We've got to look at the positives there. They are still unbeaten.
Unless
Eusebio picked him out all game. Oh, that was the chance. And I think we shall be done here, ref.
Last chance
for Envy. 2 minutes, unless he's going to play on. There's the through ball. Can he get round him? Look at the run. Del Piero. Great tackle there.
Lampard's going to keep it alive. No, he's not.
No, he's not. It's going to be full time between the two. And Team Envy and XL will both draw with each other there. The third week in a row that Envy have played a game, and it's finished 1-1.
Yeah, a point each for both of these two. I think Envy will be disappointed with that. They had a lot of chances. Probably a lot from range, where you're probably, what, 30-35% chance of going in. But you see the stats, 10 shots, 6 on target.
Would you say?
1 shot, 1 on target, 1 goal.
Would you go as far as saying good defending for both teams, or would you just say, because I think the one thing you could break it down to is Team Envy, we talk about on the pro stage, taking shots from where they are, 60% chance of going in. You play the one more, you play the extra pass or two, now you're looking at, what, a 90% chance of going in. I think that's one thing maybe Envy could look at.
Yeah, I think so. And I think as well, you've got to look at the clinicality of XL. You saw the ball roll into him, finesse shot, past the goalkeeper straight away, instinctive, goal.
Well, we've said our thoughts about it. I wonder what the guys at the desk think about that 1-1.
Lots to talk about there, but first of all, I want to go straight to Group A table. What does that draw do for those teams? It felt more like those teams not losing was more important than winning and picking up that point. As you see, Team Envy get another point, and XL 5 points in second place. Gentlemen, what did you make of that then, watching that game?
I mean, both teams are unbeaten still, so maybe you're onto something there. They just don't want to lose in the Elite Series, and that's one way maybe you can get to playoffs going down that route. Both teams very good at switching the ball, great with possession, happy to pass it around, go for that build-up style of play. 2 strange goals that went in the end, but you heard the stats. XL only having 1 shot on goal.
And here it was in the first half, and what a shot it was. If you're going to have a shot, have ones that are accurate like that. And that's a repeat of the week 1, Dybala almost just hitting it first time.
That finesse, it's beautiful to watch. And we saw as well last week with Cruyff doing it as well. But we've just seen there that Cruyff can score other goals. He can get in there in the 6-yard box and he can get those poacher goals as well. But what a goal there from XL. I think we're going to see a lot of finesses in this Elite Series.
And I haven't asked the question yet, so Trout, what are you thinking of tonight so far?
No, it was a tough game, I think, for both teams. You know, obviously they didn't want to lose. I think you hit the nail on the head there. And it was a chance for both of them to really set a mark and a benchmark for this season so far. And yeah, I don't think they quite took it in their stride and could have moved on from there. We've still got another leg to play, but I think there's a lot to go still in this fixture, and I think that we're going to see one of these teams come out with the spoils.
Yeah, but you've got to say at this point, you know, the PS4, you know, Jazz and Waves have made the difference. They'll be looking to get 3 points on that board because then you're getting closer to the playoffs.
100%. I don't think we're going to see a similar game in the next one on the PlayStation. I think we're going to try and see more goals, more shots, hopefully, from XL and lots of finesse, probably.
Yeah, more shots, please, XL. Lauren, would they agree with you? More shots from XL?
Well, I'm up here with Envy. Let's find out first of all, guys, what is more important at this stage? You're obviously steaming out in head. Is it more important to get the win or to not lose?
To get the win.
Why?
3 points.
They want the 3 points. You want that leaderboard to keep going up, up, up. Yeah?
Yeah, of course. We want to win the group, you know, and get straight through the semi-finals. So the win's more important than the undefeated streak, of course.
Yeah, love it, love it. Let's come down here, down to XL. You boys are playing together for a second time. How much are you hoping to replicate that first result that you got?
Yeah, 3 points on the PlayStation last time. If we could do that again, another 4 points this week would be perfect.
Yeah, and Clutch, are you intimidated at all with the boys up there, knowing how well they've been doing so far?
No. I'm up for this. I'm excited now. Got to get the points.
Look at him, he's rubbing his little hands with excitement. Right, back to you, the guys down on the caster's desk.
Thank you very much, Lauren. And Clutch, he's excited, and why wouldn't you be? You know, he scored a really important goal for the guys. Played both sides as well in week 1. Now he's just playing the PlayStation side, and it's great as well for Clutch. He, last year, or in season 3, or obviously season 1 for FIFA, he was one of those players that was just, he came and watched every week. This is his chance now, and he's just loving it.
Yeah, he's taken it with both hands, pretty much, has Clutch as well. I was watching him a little bit earlier on his stream earlier on in the week. I said, "You ready for Gfinity?" He said, "100%. This is what I came for. This is what I want to do. I want to be competing at the top level. So let's see if he can do it."
Let's see if he can do it as well. And obviously, Spacey will be playing in the PlayStation one. He was involved in the Xbox side then. Let's have a word on Team Envy, Richard. Waves and Jazz. Again, Jazz, another player that stepped up this year.
Yeah, story about Jazz. He's good friends with Tom, who was representing Dream Team in the Elite Series, the Turin as well, who was a Wolverhampton Wanderers FIFA player, and a saying that Jazz goes, play anyone. So if you match up against another pro in draft, in division rivals, you play him. You never back out.
You don't cherry pick, you just play.
I think that sort of mentality, play anyone, don't fear anyone, has sort of stemmed across this Envy roster as well. You'd say you were captain of this Team Envy team, and you know what? I like that. I like that you're not scared of anyone.
Well, just looking back, week one, this PlayStation team, they won 3-0 against Dream Team last week. They won 3-1. Sorry, 3-0 first week, 3-1 here against Method. They like scoring goals, this PlayStation team. And I'll tell you now, they would have been practicing these two. And the same time as well, Clutch and Spacey would have been as well. Both teams are still unbeaten. We have to emphasise that.
Yeah, the score early as well. Team Envy on the PS4 side of things. They can get an early lead, 2-3-0 up. They're very good at seeing out a game and just killing the game. You saw Man City do it last week. Keep possession for long periods of the game. And just sort of kill the momentum of your opponent.
Well, hopefully we can see a little bit more. There we go, off the post. Same place, same time again, same player again. He's obviously got the stats to do that.
Lovely advanced fake shot there from Cruyff.
Ball roll from Lucas into Matthias, nearly all the way through to Del Piero. Just about kept him by that player of the month, Lucas. Matthias, here we go, Del Piero, can he finesse it? Just about, near post, he worked the keeper there.
Yep. You saw the keeper move to the left, he thought he was going to open up with a finesse. What did he do? He brought it back onto his left foot, slotted near post, and that's Del Piero for you, 5-star weak foot, he can go on either side. That's what he's got in his locker.
More importantly, this is this PlayStation Team Envy team that we know. 7 goals they've scored in total now across this Gfinity Elite Series, just their team. However, straight down the other end, Shevchenko does win a corner. It's just rebounded from Titi. They started well in the last game, did Team Envy. And it went out as a 1-1 in the end, but I just have a feeling that this team just want to build on it a little bit more. Here we go again.
Feet.
Rivaldo, look at the space he's got to run. Play it, just simplify it, one more if you can. He wanted to do it, but he just couldn't get around it. Superb defending.
Yeah, a pretty woeful pass from Rivaldo, in all honesty. If I'd have played it a little bit, I don't think it was the player who actually controlled him. I think it was just Rivaldo himself there. Just very poor pass.
Del Piero, Cruyff. Del Piero again goes for that finesse. Well read there by Van der Sar.
Yeah, good move from the keeper with that right stick. Just to move a couple of inches to the left, anticipate the finesse shot.
And Titi just doing enough there with his chest to play it all the way back to a black. And, to ensure that XL can try and set themselves back up to defend it. They've won the ball back straight away.
Tell you what, this PS4 Envy side are relentless.
Just attack, attack, attack. Look at the pressure as well. Del Piero there. Giolini.
You can see, because we're reviewing Envy as they're the home team, you can see both icons, red and blue. Just look how they press the ball when XL get it.
Look, numbers forward as well. Del Piero, look, Cruyff making that run. You can just see it every single time. And I hate to point it out again, but Eusebio just looks lost in this team and for XL.
You see both players on him so quickly.
See, look, Rio Ferdinand there. Just pulled back. He's going to win that battle as well. Really good defending.
Yeah, he's pretty special, that prime Rio Ferdinand. I've got him in my team. Don't trade less BC, and he's a difference maker.
There we go. Inside, Cruyff back to goal. What a save.
Yeah, really. I tell you what, Van der Sar's been very good over the coastless steel legs.
Cruyff there could have went left. He could have went right. Went for a fake shot, cut back inside, worked the defender. And Titi, I doubt he's going to be shooting from there. Out to Lucas, that player of the month for item. A big chance to counter-attack. There's the run. Eusebio. Here he is. He's off his line. Chip him. Eusebio.
He's missed.
Oh, my.
Keeper in no man's land. Who brought the keeper out there for Envy? Which one was it?
Well, you often talk about, you know, bringing out the keeper to tease this shot early. That was a golden opportunity to score a goal. And with an icon. Let's just remember that.
You
that should be going in.
Yeah, you expect it to go in. Maybe he went with the wrong choice. Maybe if he opened up with a finesse. The keeper can't save it with his hands when he's that far out of the goal. Do you know what I mean? So, just the panic maybe a little bit.
Another attack for Envy, and you have to say they've been attacking relentlessly so far in this game. They haven't sat back off compared to, you could say, the Xbox side of Jabla and Joey Cruyff. Dispossessed by Maldini, and there's no surprise there. A solid foot item and a solid icon, as you want to mention, will be in a number of pro teams this year.
Yeah, we're 86 pace and 96 defending. Yeah. He's pretty much the one meta defender who's in every single team, pretty much. You then get a little bit of a discussion, whether it's a Laurent Blanc, whether it's a Sergio Ramos, whether it's a Rio Ferdinand who partners in, but typically Maldini is the sort of the rock of that defence. Then you build around him.
Saw the idea there. Cruyff tried to play through to Del Piero. Another counter-attack for Excel, and it won't surprise me they're going to look around this side of the pitch where Dybala seems to enjoy finesse. Nainggolan. Really well done. Eusebio on the edge now. Went for finesse.
I think something that I've picked up from this Envy team, they've got a very good spine to the team. If you look, Rio Ferdinand, Mateus in midfield, Cruyff up top. They've very much got a strong foundation, and then the build around it. They fill in the gaps almost. Lampard, he's not one of the most desirable players, but he does a job where he needs to be. Whether it's an outside midfielder, whether it's a centre midfielder.
At the same time as that, we saw Mateus last year. He can go forward, he can be involved in attack, he can score, he can score a goal himself.
The reason he's not in more pros teams at big events, at the major events, is because his height. When you've got a Clarence Seedorf, a Hullet, or a Patrick Vieira, who's got the same stats but taller.
Finesse. Doesn't need it. And they'll score a goal. They let rip on the edge of the box, and Titi was involved in the attack somehow. I don't know why he was up there. But Cruyff will get himself on the score sheet. I think the keeper even expected the finesse to the other corner. Did not take it. Just went for power. And now they find themselves 2-0 up against XL. And defending again so well. So well.
It seems to just be another day in the office for Envy on this PS4 side.
I say now, Waves has been grinding this game since early this morning. As I said, I was on there at like 8 AM this morning. He's already played 7-8 games.
Get the practice in. I bet he was 7-0 as well.
Yeah, of course he was. Lampard. Cruyff.
Oh, could have slid him in.
And that was Rivaldo on the far-hand side, and what a half this has been by Team Envy. Look at the stats there, 5 shots, 3 on target. And communicating really well between the two, just saying, keep it like this, keep continuing like the way we are.
84% pass accuracy for XL. That's not really good enough when you're playing against another pro. You're looking for at least 80, 88, 89%. I remember, I think it was Megabit against #Dreamer at the grand finals. He got 99% pass accuracy in the first half of the game, which is pretty much absurd.
Well, we've got to remember as well, obviously, this is the 2v2. When we're speaking about 1v1s, and a lot of the time we are looking at that 90% possession, 95. I'm sure that Dito and Gotzeri, their possession stats going to be pretty high. They're both German players. They both like to keep possession.
Yeah, 60, 65%.
And right now, 2 goals are needed by XL. It's a similar story compared to the first game. Haven't really created a lot of chances. They've had a lot of the ball, don't get me wrong, and they've had chances to counter-attack, but when they go forward, it just seems players go missing in the final third.
Oh, that's a lovely bit of a spin.
Rivaldo. It's a shame to see. I was going to say, Patrick Vieira hasn't really stood out.
It seems as though the players who they brought in for the high price tags don't have, and have not seemed to have performed to that price tag. Eusebio, Vieira, Maldini. When you're looking at someone like Frank Lampard, he's outplayed Vieira over the course of these 2 games. I'd say 2 legs, Xbox, PS4, 2 matches.
And you look at someone like Vieira, to hold that defensive line in shape, he sits in front of them, he'll dominate the area, cut out all the passes.
If you are comparing the 2 so-called meta big signings, Cruyff and Eusebio, over the course of these 2 matches, there's only one player who you're picking, and that's Johan Cruyff. Because Eusebio has not performed.
Will we go for MV again? Rivaldo. It's just like if Del Piero misses it, Cruyff's there anyway. Yep. If Cruyff misses it, Del Piero's there.
That's the 5-star weak foot as well. When you've got 2 players with a 5-star weak foot like that, and we can go either way. Tell you what, if this free kick flies in the top bins,
No one's on the line, so I don't think they're expecting a shot from this far out, but maybe Envy have got other ideas. Two players run over it. Going to play down the line. Plays short to Mateus. Del Piero. He toys to go left, toys to go right, goes for a shot. And out for a corner now. Van der Sar dived down and saved it. Played short. Cruyff to the back post. Oh, that was clever. They did not expect that, even did Excel. And a chance to attack. Counter-attack from Kevin De Bruyne.
That's getting a lot of Dybala.
Every single time Eusebio gets on it, the press is there.
Is it Vieira?
From Envy. There it is. All the way across, went low driven.
Really good ball. Really good ball.
A dangerous ball, Richard, but no one was there. And he's back to the drawing board once again for Excel. Shevchenko. One thing we haven't seen from any of these teams are any substitutions made. One or two teams we've seen have got one or two impact players that can make a difference. Maybe a Hun-Min Son. There's a shot. There's a save from Oblak. Better from Excel. They've still got time to make this happen.
They've got time and they've got quality on the pitch to be able to turn this around.
Dybala, and it goes. Ah, there, we see it so many times. The front post flick on with the header. Chiellini to Carlos. We know he's got a left foot on him. The negative really there, playing it back. And rushed it a little bit there, Lampard. He's been fantastic.
Yeah, he's been very, very good.
Cruyff in space. Lampard. Del Piero. Back to Mateus. The icons are all in use here at Gfinity. And it looks like Excel's unbeaten streak could be coming to an end if another goal goes in here. Cruyff. Look at the skills. Oh, they're all out.
Elastic all there.
I think he even sent Maldini flying.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I think Envy have got the best drafted team.
You have it there.
I think they've spent the 500 million the best.
They've done really well, haven't they? As you said, built up. There's to the back post. There's a chance.
What a
save! Just about him. Just about by Shevchenko. I was going to say, if he headed that onto the bar somehow, that would have been awful.
And you saw there, clutch and spacey, no reaction. They know they've got a job to do. They've got 20 minutes to get a goal to salvage a point from this game.
In the last 10 minutes, they've looked a little bit more promising, yeah, when they go forward. Maybe tone down the skill moves from Envy. Played short to Lucas, sorry, off the post. Toyed the keeper again. Could have easily went for a finesse in the other corner, went for that front post.
That's what's expected, though. He will probably move the goalkeeper across and cover that finesse, so he went with the near post. It is strong this year, that near post shot.
Jordi Alba to Umtiti. And if anything, just relax on the ball a little bit. Envy, you are in front, you're winning by 2-1. As we know in this format that we play in the 2v2, games are not normally won by more than one goal. If they are, it's a rare occasion.
He's gave it away. We've got counter-attack potentially on the cards here.
Nainggolan to Shevchenko. Eusebio drive at the defence there. You've got the stats.
Went for that La Croqueta, but Umtiti in the way.
And these chances are going to run out for Excel.
Rivaldo Caroni's run.
Won the ball
Seems a little bit stagnant at the minute for Envy. They don't seem to be creating as well as they did earlier on.
Eusebio, hill to hill, really nice. Oh, Shevchenko, you saw the idea there.
Yeah, looking to play off of Shevchenko, that target man to
nice
this
to
team.
see Vieira starting to dominate that midfield a little bit. I know it's later in the game. Eusebio.
Chance.
Oh, outside the boot, nearly. Nearly came alive. I've been on to him for nearly 180 minutes. This is where this game management will come in now. We saw it loads with Man City, Epsilon. When they're in front, slow it down. Del Piero to Mateus.
Mateus offered the run and then sort of were a little bit reluctant.
They haven't looked that good. Envy in this last 15 minutes. What a chance
Look
this
at
is.
Shevchenko.
Play it. Shevchenko. Umtiti, really well done. Back to Oblak. And he's going to clear it long. It's gone to Rivaldo as well. Vieira involved once again. Can Excel pull this back to keep them unbeaten in this Elite Series and to put them in 6 points in Group A? They'll still be behind Envy, but 6 points at this stage in the competition isn't bad at all.
Tell you what, that's a fantastic win from Del Piero, because he picked the ball there quite high up the pitch. So just lost it there.
Just lost it.
Throw it.
In a really, really dangerous position. I think he was looking for the left back.
A switch, yeah.
Of Jordi Alba that wasn't there.
This is going to be the last chance to lose.
This comes back to haunt them now. They might be all right, or not. Eusebio, everything has to be perfect now. That touch from Shevchenko. Game over. And Team Envy, just to continue to deliver on this big stage at the moment. They'll continue to be top of Group A, and this PlayStation team is incredible right now.
It wasn't the best of performances. They sort of took the foot off the gas a little bit, 65, 70th minute, but they got over the line, and they got that big 3 points, which is all important at this stage in the Gfinity Elite Series.
They did indeed. Looking at the results now, this PlayStation side. 3-0 week 1, 3-1 week 2, and they've just about won that one by 2 goals to 1.
That is the team to beat. PS4, Envy.
And as I said, they'll be top of that Group A. I'm not too sure what more we could say about that one. It was more of an interesting game than the first. What about you guys at the desk? Break it down for us.
Thank you very much, Brandon, and your main man, Richard, doing a superb job there, commentating on what was a back-and-forth game, 2-1 in the end. Let's look at the results for Group A so far, because we are halfway through Group A's matches today. And obviously, we kick-started on the Xbox with a 1-1 draw, and then on that PS4, the dominant Waves and Jazz getting another victory. They got that consolation goal, XL, and I thought maybe they could kick on a little bit, but it didn't happen for them.
I definitely thought towards the end they were pushing, we saw that last chance, but they couldn't get there, they couldn't get it. But we're just watching here, we're seeing Envy, that kind of dominance from the very start. We saw it, Del Piero there, just took control of the game. But as we said, XL were pushing at the end, and I thought they were going to get another goal, they were going to draw it, but they didn't manage to do that.
But they were having more shots compared, I mean, it goes in different games. Different game, innit?
Yeah, it was.
I did hear Brandon and Richard say, like, that's even an icon card. You know, was it the right shot to take there, in your opinion, Trout?
I think maybe with it was almost like the outside of his boot, and I think that was always going to be a bit more difficult first time on the run like that. It was just unfortunate it didn't go in. You would have thought Eusebio, of all people, would put it away, and it just didn't really fall for XL in this game. And again, it was one of those matches that was just a bit, you know, scrappy in places. They couldn't really find the space to get those chances, and when they did, they went squandering. And in general, I thought that anyone could have taken it, but Envy just holding it out, and that's what champions do. They win games like that.
They do indeed. You don't have to play pretty, just get those 3 points. When we look at the table in a second, but before that, I just want to ask you, I mean, obviously, what about those 2 lineups? I mean, XL haven't fired as well as Envy have in terms of the squad, and I think Brandon said, actually Richard said, they've spent the best out of that 500 that they had to spend. As you can see in front of you, Group A, Team Envy at the top with 12 points, and then it gets very tight below them. So Team Envy doing what they need to do to get closer to those playoffs. And as Jazz said before the game, they want to finish top, so they go straight through to the semi-final. The second and third place will go into a quarter-final to join them. Who impressed you most out of the Envy boys today?
I'd have to say Jazz.
Yeah,
sorry.
Jazz again. I was literally with great minds, great minds.
Because he was MVP last week. That's why I was just asking.
No, but he really, really impresses me each week I've seen him play, him and Waves. What I love about them two is we're seeing 2 people play together. We're seeing that chemistry. They're coming together and they look like they're enjoying it. When they're scoring goals, they're celebrating and they seem to be having lots and lots of fun. And maybe it's 2 of the players, that Cruyff, that Card, that player, he's doing some exceptional things.
6 goals, top goal scorer at the moment. I'll tell you what, Dan Gaskin, the man who's got notes on pretty much everything I've ever seen under the sun. He's basically a walking Wikipedia. He's with Onset right now at the touchscreen.
Thank you, Tom, and yes, we are back at the touchscreen. Apparently you've got notes on everything.
And the power stance, apparently.
There we go.
I didn't really know how to.
That's why we have you up here, and that's why Carl's not been allowed up here yet, but he will be. Don't worry about that. We're going to talk about a couple of things which separate the pros from the Joes, is how we're going to put it. And we're looking at a couple of the Excel goals. Obviously, Envy, they came out on top in these 2 particular fixtures, but just little things like this, and it's the abilities of pros to find ways to score, Dan. And this finesse shot, we talk all the time about it, and you can see it being lined up here. Paulo Dybala on his right foot here, of all things, as soon as he gets this angle to shoot towards this top corner, all the pros are always looking for it. It's a mechanic which they abuse at the moment.
3-star weak foot, that's on his weak foot. You'd think, actually, I'll just take this, I'll maybe turn around, go for a shot on my left. Instead, the pros, they know how powerful these first-time finesses are, manages to slot it in the top right-hand corner. As you said, they find ways just to, I don't want to say exploit the game, but they realise what works and what's consistent. And currently, these first-time finesse shots, they are.
Now we're going to look at another opportunity here. It's almost a carbon copy example, and again, it's from the guys on Excel. And this is, again, Paulo Dybala, very similar situation. You see the ball going to be laid to him here, and you're thinking exactly the same thing's going to happen. If you nail this time finesse towards his top corner, you're probably going to have yourself another goal. But unfortunately, we presume that maybe they didn't get it bang on the green this time.
Maybe, as this one was missed, did just hit the post there. But both of these opportunities, I don't think the keeper was moved. That is one way you can counteract this first-time finesse. But because it's a first-time finesse, you don't really have the time to react to the movement. So it's an interesting one. Maybe we're going to see changes coming up with the new patch. Who knows?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, FIFA 19, a dynamic game, constantly changing in-game. The guys who are the pros, obviously, they always find out how to make things work for them. But that's how to score some finesse shots at the moment. But, Tom, it's back to you.
Beautiful finesse shot. And thank you very much to Onset, a.k.a. Mark Hatcher, and Dan Gaskin. Gentlemen, I want to move on to the other match we've got in Group A today. We move on to Vitality and Method. And obviously, they're hot on the heels of Excel. They didn't get those 3 points, and now we move on to this one, so either team could overtake them. Team Vitality, the return of Brian and Mulzan. I like this. This is a strong lineup for them, and then we know how good Veni and Riptorek can be on their day. So what do you make of this matchup? First in the Xbox and the PS4, no changes.
For me, it's actually looking at the squads that they're going to be using. We've got Cristiano Ronaldo, we've got Paul Pogba, we've got George Best, Clarence Seedorf. Everyone is available, and I think that's going to be what sets these two teams apart. They're both great players on both consoles, so we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be in the squads.
Yeah, but obviously, you've got Brian and Mulzan coming back. This is their first time 2v2 at the Gfinity Arena. They keep changing their 2v2 lineup. Consistencies could be a factor in this.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're trying to give everyone a chance while they can. Obviously, Vitality only had the first fixture last week, so they're just trying to feel things out, and it was a successful week for them, I think. And Brian, he's just a very experienced player. He's a veteran in this. He's been around the block. He's been to many Gfinity events before, so he knows what he's doing. He's a good player to have in there. He keeps things calm. He's got a good play style about him, very calm and possession-based, which I think is going to fare very well in the 2v2. Mulzan's a player who's very, I don't want to say hit and miss, but sometimes he's absolutely unplayable.
Hot and cold, I guess.
Yeah, he's very unplayable, and then other games he's not quite firing on the same kind of temperature that you would expect from him. So I think having him working alongside Brian this time, we might have a different side to Mulzan that really starts to push Vitality and get them to those later stages of the competition.
He's a bit here and there. He's a bit up and down. I've got loads more of those.
Yeah, go on, throw a few more.
Not right now, can't. Listen, let's welcome Vitality back to the arena. This time is a whole new squad playing on both. It is Brian and Mulzan. He's back! Monsieur is back. Brian, Runner Vitality, how are you feeling? Is it nice to be back in the Gfinity Arena?
Yeah, it's nice to be back. Unfortunately, last year it ends bad for us because we lost.
It felt a bit harsh. You just pointed at Mulzan and said it ended badly for us.
No, not at all. And yeah, now we are back with a new format. It's 2v2. It's both our first time this season, so we'll try to have fun and win this game.
Now, we know how well you play on solo. And now 2v2, do you feel that your gameplay will complement one another?
I hope that's why we chose to play together, and Maestro and Warsu together. We were feeling like our play style were pretty similar, so yeah, hopefully it will work.
And obviously this is your first time using this squad tonight here. Yeah. Who's your favourite player? Who do you like playing with?
Of course, we have CR7, so he's one of the best players in the game, so yeah, it's of course Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay, no excuses, that's what I'm going to say. Best of luck to you, Brian. Mulzan, lovely to see you. You can head off that way. Their opponents tonight for Method, playing on both the PS4 and the Xbox. It's Veni and Riptorek! He's in the building! Listen, Veni, you're back. you saw what Excel weren't able to do against Envy. Is this the time to take opportunity of that?
Yeah, 100%. We'll be looking at the table and making sure we can still be in it, and 6 points is going to be crucial today.
Now, you've obviously played together before, so you know what's up at... you know how to be comfortable with each other playing 2v2, and then you've got the situation where Brian and Mulzan haven't got that experience. Is this an opportunity to take advantage of it?
Well, we haven't actually played with each other up on stage yet because of different scenarios, what's happened in the last 2 weeks, but we have been practicing at home, so...
Well, I knew you had that on board, so surely, is that going to give you the edge today?
Yeah, hopefully.
OK, well, best of luck, Benny. And Ritz, you can head off for me. In the meantime, actually, stay there. No, don't leave. Don't leave me, Benny, because I want to go and see what you think of your squad, because it's going to come in the idea of Kyle Walker and Onset.
I mean, Tom's just putting his hands on everyone at the moment. No, he just wants to, someone will be his friend, right? But anyway, we are, of course, up at the touchscreen. Time to look at the squads. And we're going to start off with the Vitality squad. We saw these guys for the first time last week. Here's the auction process for them. Big man up front. I mean,
CR7.
150 million worth of money?
100%. He's so strong. His abs are amazing, as we saw the other evening, and hopefully he's going to get some goals in and he's going to score. Another interesting one, Paul Pogba. Everyone's going on about how strong this card is, how powerful he is, how dominant he can be when used with the other players. So we'll see how he links up in that squad.
Yeah, I think this squad's super, super strong. The interesting player for me is the Stoichkov card. Again, not one that we talk about a huge amount, but if you look at the stats here, 92 pace, 93 shooting, 86 physical, 92... There's not much wrong with it, is there, to be honest with you?
No, having him there and actually having him going forward, he's great. Having him pulling back, he's strong as well. So actually, with that passing and the dribbling, shooting and pace, he's a really good card.
Now, one player that I think they might have saved a little bit of money with is Milinkovic-Savic in the middle here. However, he offers some strength, some stability in that midfield that maybe they're lacking a little bit, so he's going to be a player with a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. But let's look ahead to the Method squad now. We've seen these guys before, and they sort of spread their money across the board quite a lot, but they have struggled up top a little bit at the moment. Kluivert, he hasn't done the job so far. On the side of him, George Best hasn't done the biggest of jobs for them as well, and Nedved. Now, how do you suggest that Method maybe change things up a little bit and try and score some goals? Because it's been their weakness so far.
It is going to be those three up there that are going to get the goals for them. If you look at that Best card, I think with his pace, with his shooting, his passing as well, and dribbling, he can be very, very special. So hopefully he'll be able to link up with Kluivert, Nedved there, Gerrard in the middle as well. I think that's going to be a vital card for them this evening.
Now, interestingly, I spoke to the guys. They said they're going to be playing 4-2-2 in game. I'd like to see them maybe look at that 4-1-2-1-2 if things aren't going their way. Throw a few more bodies forward. Give Kluivert a little bit more support up top because he seemed a little bit isolated so far. But they're going to be the squads for our next game. Lauren, it's over to you now. Let's have a chat with the guys.
I'm here with Method. I feel like we need to apologise because last week we concentrated hard on your ankles, and I feel like maybe that wasn't productive to your game. How are we going to jump you up the table? What needs to happen now?
We need to get the 3 points in the first game and then go on to the PlayStation and get another 3 points. I think that's the key. Really.
I think it's the key. I think it is. But come on, how are you going to do it? Like, it's all very well saying we need 3 points, but how are you going to do it today?
I hope we can keep possession and get them goals more than opponents. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
You can do it, boys. We don't want to be on the table. We want to be up there, at least halfway, like the Vitality boys are. Guys, lovely to see you. We've not met you as yet. How excited are you to be playing? Why have you come along for week 3? Why didn't we see you in week 1?
Well, week 1, our team was bye, so we didn't play.
Fair point.
And yeah, we have like 5 players, so we decided to make like a turnaround, and this time it's our time. That's it.
I love it. Well, it's good to see you. I feel like we've got good things ahead. How are you playing with each other? Is he good to play with?
Yeah, I think we have the same play style, so I hope we will get doing.
Lovely stuff. Right now, over to Dan and Mark.
Thank you very much, Lauren, and we're very excited to get into this one, Dan, aren't we? It's always a pleasure to get on the desk with you and cast away at some FIFA, and big game for both of these sides for very different reasons, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're both struggling a little bit, I'd say, at the bottom of that table. Vitality, they looked amazing last week, but you can see 2 new players. I've heard that it's quite difficult for the French guys to come over here. You've got the Weekend League you want to be trying to use and play as well. So instead, they're trying to stagger these players a little bit, try and keep them nice and fresh.
Smart, isn't it?
Because you don't want to tire them out and play them week after week, because otherwise they might just be trash the next week.
It's very, very true, and very strong words from you, Dan Gaskin, and I respect you for it.
I'm a strong man.
That's very, very true. Anyway, we're talking about the other side of things. Method haven't had the greatest missed the start so far, we have to be honest. And it seems to be those struggles up top. I don't know what it is with that front three. I suggested up at the touchscreen, maybe a slight change of formation. They were playing a 4-2-3-1 before, but it looks like this time they might be going for that 4-2-2-2.
4-2-2 is an interesting one. If you prefer having two strikers and you like to go the kind of passing back and forth just up the pitch, rather than doing that with the CDMs, which we see people doing 4-2-3-1, you do it with the strikers instead, and it just gives you a little bit more oomph, a little bit more energy up the top.
Well, here we go then. Game underway, and you can see in that beautiful new in-game Vitality kit, it will be Vitality with the kickoff here from left to right, and it'll be João Cancelo who's bringing the ball forward to start things off. And as you say, Vitality, two of the French guys here, very much known for their possession-based play, and I'm excited to see how they create their chances here, Dan.
Yeah, and of course, Vitality, CR7 in their squad. You can see he had the ball there, as he now has a chance here, potentially. And
now
just
in the
go
box.
past one, but not quite. Here, there's a lot of pressure when you're playing with CR7 because you feel like you should be able to do everything, but sometimes you just can't quite make it work.
Well, slightly less professional level, a good friend of ours, obviously, he banks on CR7. He says, I don't care what other 10 players on my team, he'll do the business for me. And obviously the guys on Vitality will be hoping very much the same. But pretty slow start here from both sides. And just to inform you guys at home, of course, of where these guys are standing at the moment. Vitality currently third in the table. Only one game under their belt, though, Dan. On the other side of things, as I say, Method, bottom of the table at the moment. And they're struggling a little bit, Dan.
Yeah, yet to find a win, Method. 2 draws, 2 losses, but maybe this is the turnaround. Georgie Betts is going to cross this one in. But thankfully, safe hands of Schmeichel to stop it. Method, their team is a very interesting one. One of the most balanced teams, I'd say. No 5-star skillers in their lineup, so we're not going to see any of the fancy flicks and doodahs, but instead, maybe just a little bit more safe passing play from them.
Well, here is the ball down the side. I believe it's Stoichkov there, trying to find Hernan Crespo. Crespo whips this win into the back post. Unfortunately, Hernandez couldn't quite get up there in time to maybe send that one back across goal, find a teammate, or maybe get a header on goal himself. And now it's going to be Method who turn this one away and try and attack. But a little loose pass there, Dan, is going to allow Pogba for Vitality to bring this forward.
Pogba's just been that rock in the middle for them. You'd think that a lot of players would be playing Pogba as like a CAM, maybe just CM, but we've seen him fit this CDM role in 4-2-3-1. He's obviously a big fella, got a little bit of pace behind him, especially if you add a card onto him as well. A chance is stolen away by Cannavaro.
Yeah, a bit of a sloppy pass there, and it's going to be a second sloppy pass. Unfortunately, Method can't make Vitality play, but the fact that they are managing to nip the ball away up in dangerous areas for them, they only have to do that a couple of times, Dan. One extra pass there, find an opening, and talking of openings, it's that man Stoichkov now down this right-hand side, trying to cut inside. Finds the ball round the corner. Crespo lays it back to Ronaldo. And oh, what a block. Somehow Davinson Sanchez got enough on that to send it over the bar.
And finally that pause comes in. One of the teams has been waiting since the start of the game to make that pause. So maybe some settings not right. Maybe they're not happy with a player in a certain place, want to change something. But very patient build-up from both teams currently. More than happy to play that extra pass. We saw maybe Crespo could have turned and hit it on his left. But it looked like it was going to be a chance, but it's going to be a corner here.
Stoichkov with the ball in. Jens Lehmann, who had a big game, of course, last week. And that penalty save to his name as well, Dan. We have to remember that. Beautiful moment as an Arsenal fan, just to roll back the years slightly. And,
we take what we can get as Arsenal fans.
Trust me, we really, really do. But Sandro's going to be bringing this one forward now, down the left-hand side for Vitality, into Crespo. Nice quick pass around the corner. Cruyff turn there from Ronaldo, but unfortunately for him, just gets crowded out at the pivotal moment there. Now with the guys on Method to bring this away.
And look how little space Method are giving Vitality when CR7 does have the ball. Both players pressing, making sure that no time finesse is going to be able to be taken easily, trying to make sure they get a shin or a foot in the way of it if they do go for one of those first time finesse shots, because we've already seen today how deadly they can be.
Cancelo then down this right-hand side, gets the ball back, but Nedved works back there, and of course, not using that prime Nedved either, Dan. It's that boy band Nedved, as we call him, due to his...
Do we? You do.
Beautiful hairstyle.
Are you jealous?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's a little bit different, a little bit quicker. And we do see preferences for these icons, whether it be prime or middle or baby.
We saw it from Baggio earlier.
Yep.
You know, see choosing that player. I believe it actually might have been Del Piero, apologies, another Italian icon, but pretty slow start here from both sides. No big chances apart from that one, which was denied by Davinson Sanchez and popped over the bar there, but no real clear-cut opportunity so far, Dan. Both teams kind of feeling each other out in the first 27 minutes or so.
Yeah, I wonder whether it's a fear of taking a risk here, as Best now has a chance potentially, but there's so many players there defending. They've still got the ball here.
Here's Figo then, into Kluivert. Been quiet so far in the Elite Series, looks for a pass wide. Best causing some problems, trying to get a little pinky toe on that one to maybe create an opportunity. Cannavaro, luckily, was up against Luis Figo there. I think a slightly smaller player, and that might have spelt disaster there for the guys on Vitality.
Yeah, both of these teams don't want to take that risk. They don't want to give the ball away and go 1-0 down, because we can see how well the defending is. It's going to be hard to break down either of these sides if you were to be trailing, but maybe there's a chance here. No, Cliver gets bundled over. It's going to be a free kick, though. We're going to see anything special from the training ground here. No, is the answer.
I was going to say, of all players to be standing over it to get me excited about something magical, Sol Campbell probably wouldn't be the one. And I'm an Arsenal fan saying that. So anyway, Valencia now is going to find Figo down this right-hand side. Manages to just about get beyond his man, but Alexandro, arguably, in my opinion, the best left-back on the game at the moment. And you can see why he was picked up by this Vitality squad. So strong, quick enough, and very, very solid in the tackle.
Yeah, one of the most expensive players for Vitality. 61 million they paid for him.
It's big money for a left-back.
It is, but as you said, he is fitting his way into, like, unlocked teams at tournaments where we see every card being able to be used. Sandro is there as a left-back. He's an absolute rock, and he's in my team, so I'm quite happy about that, getting him untradeable.
It's because you have the best pack luck I've ever seen of any man, but no packs have to be used, of course, here at the Elite Series. It's all about that player auction. Getting used to those players might be something these pros have to, of course, get a little bit used to, because they're not used to using them at home, but now we do have an opportunity. Sol Campbell going to lay this, allow his teammates maybe to take this one, and it's going to be Nedved who makes the run off the ball here. Gerrard, does he strike it? Gerrard does go for goal, and he slips through Peter Schmeichel's hands. Oh, flashbacks of bad times for Man United fans, and Steven Gerrard from the set piece is going to smash it in the back of the net.
He has quite the distance to take a shot there, and we're even going to be lucky enough to get a replay here. Just managed to sneak near post. I thought Schmeichel was going to palm that away. I wonder whether the keeper had been moved slightly further away from that ball. Question. You've got to be careful moving these keepers. I couldn't quite see whether it was moved in the replay, but certainly today, a lot of keeper movement that has gone the wrong way.
Yeah, it's one of those things, as we talked about, it's a mind game, Dan. You know, one-on-one situations, there's going to be chances here to, you know, fool your opponent, go for the shot, which is a lower percentage shot if the keeper doesn't move, because it's going to become a higher one when he does. And Methods, I mean, it's big for their season here. They have a lead, they have something to hold on for, and not the first time that they've actually managed to get into a lead, but now it's about if they can convert this into 3 points. Nedved trying to jink his way through. You saw Lukakita use there to try and just create a little bit of space, but Milinkovic-Savic, well, we haven't talked a huge amount. Not an icon, not player of the month, not an informed card, but he's been very solid in the middle.
It's nice to see preferences from people in this auction and what kind of players they like or they might have liked in the history of football, for example. Cliver's going to try and clip this one through, but doesn't manage to find it. But now we're going to learn a lot about these Method boys in this second half. Are they going to turtle up and just try and defend this 1-0 lead? Or are they going to go heavy, go for that second goal? I've heard a lot of pros say that they're trying to go for the method now of trying to get that second goal rather than just playing defensive.
Yeah, get that 2-goal lead, and you know, if you've got a mistake in you, it's not going to cost you a game. It's as simple as that. But going into half-time here, it's those two young men on your screen here with that 1-goal lead, Dan, and they've got themselves into a great position here. It's just about if they can close this out now, because this is a huge, huge potential 3 points for their season. But of course, 45 minutes left.
Yeah, you can see the Method boys there on your screen, Veni and Riptorek. Veni, interesting one for me, plays on both PS4 and Xbox. I know you're ambidextrous if you play with both feet, Mark. What are you if you play on both consoles?
You're console dexterous, Dan. I mean, we all know that, don't we?
Well, that works.
It's Figo here. Best. Well, the finesse shot. Manolas manages to get his neck in the way of all things, but it's effective enough, and we are going to have a corner here. Steven Gerrard already managed to create something with the set piece, and his Cliver in at that near post, but unfortunately for him, the defender got a piece of it, and now it's going to be another corner here. Gerrard whips it in, looking for Cliver again, but it's CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo. We know about his jumping and heading stats, and it's not just in an offensive capacity he's effective.
Yeah, corners are an interesting one. Obviously, the near post header is very successful. Even after the nerfs of the bicycle kicks, you still put it in a very similar area. But when it's 2v2, it allows that one extra man just to be brought to that front post, try and defend it. But if you put too many men in there, it's going to open up more opportunities in the middle.
Big chance here. Cristiano Ronaldo's through. You can see a man at the back post. He's trying to find him, but Alex Telles manages to get in the way of that one. Sanchez is going to put his neck muscles to use there, get it away, and Method got away with one there. Cristiano Ronaldo with a chance to create.
Yeah, maybe could have been one of those opportunities where you try and hit it near post, hope that the keeper is going to be moved. But we have seen already in this game, just a couple of passes, that extra pass being played to try and get that easy shot on goal. But because the defending's been so strong from both teams, there hasn't really been an easy opportunity.
Pogba then tries to push this one forward. Gerrard picks up the ball, though. Valencia now working with Figo on this right-hand side, going to build this one up nice and slowly here, Method. And they're inviting pressure here from Vitality, but with that goal lead, which is what I like to see here from Method. A little bit of composure. Kluivert now. Ball around the corner. You can see Vitality getting a little bit antsy. Beautiful ball roll for Figo. And oh, where are you going, Peter Schmeichel?
Was he walking his dog? What was he doing?
You'll have to ask him, Dan.
I will.
I mean, we all know that Peter Schmeichel's getting on a bit these days. Maybe that came into it? I'm not sure.
Maybe an accident there, maybe an accidental press of that right stick.
It's how dangerous it can be, though, Dan. It's how dangerous it can be. And I mean, Figo's, that's the easiest goal he's going to score in the Elite Series so far. I mean, you're going to be laughing if you're Method right now.
Definitely will be, and maybe an opportunity for a formation change as well. We said they were starting with that 4-2-2-2, but they know they have the 4-2-3-1 in the books, and 4-2-3-1 is a much stronger defensive play. You keep the ball a lot better. You're not going to be as open at the back, and those two CDMs are going to sit and just act as two extra centre-backs, really. But it's all to do for Vitality here. There was a lot of eyes on them, a lot of pressure after how well Vitality played last week, and of course we have new players here. Can they make it up?
Kluivert then tries to find the ball in behind. Fortunately for him and fortunately for Vitality, he can find his man Hernandez now. You can see 4 players forward. It looks like a definite formation change in-game here from Vitality. They have to push and get a goal within the next 10-15 minutes to give themselves a chance. Oh, CR7 just couldn't find that ball. Crespo was looking so dangerous just hanging around the edge of the box there.
But speaking of dangerous, going forward now, Method look like a different team. The confidence flowing through them, pass after pass. Their accuracy must be feeling pretty good right now as Best has a chance to finesse.
Oh, Georgie Best!
He can't get near any of them, Mark.
Georgie Best needed his teammates like a fish needs a bicycle, Dan. Found the top of the top corner, excuse me. 91 shooting on that card. You can't give him that much space. At least Peter Schmeichel was in the correct postcode there, but he wasn't even long enough there to get an arm to that one. It's now going to be 3-0 to Method, Dan. I mean, would we have guessed this before the game got underway?
Maybe if we knew Peter Schmeichel was trying to play a different sport, maybe he'd be better in badminton, trying to catch a shuttlecock instead, as they try and cross this one in, but no one's able to get ahead.
Yeah, big chance there, and you just saw 2 players lurking. It was Crespo and Hernandez, of all people, at the back post, trying to beat that player to the ball in the air. That would have been a big goal. Complexion of the game changes, but now on the counter-attack, you're going to have Method bringing the ball forward, and look at them all streaming forward. Method full of confidence. Best now has another opportunity here. Is he going to strike this one? Heel to heel. Tries to squeeze the ball back in between those 2 defenders, but Vitality get away with one.
And this is the point where you start to think about goal difference now in this group stage. Can you put yourself in the better position of qualifying for those playoffs? For Vitality, it's about rescuing something here. As a chance now goes through to CR7, but he's bundled over.
Referee's got a decision to make here.
Sol Campbell, he's an absolute unit.
He is a unit, and it was CR7 versus Campbell, probably 2 of the strongest players on the game, but it was Sol Campbell who, importantly for Method here, came out on top. Now we're going to see Method, maybe with another chance to bring things forward. A little bit of extra leg caught on that tackle than maybe expected. Great play here from Method, and oh, Peter Schmeichel's tried to move to his right. But that just left Georgie Best with everything to aim for on the left-hand side of that goal, and he slots away with aplomb.
Frustration starting to kick in, I think, for Vitality. A couple of players lunging in for the ball there defensively. It just opened up so much gaps at the back. As Method now running riot here, and this will be a much-needed 3 points for their campaign here in the Elite Series, as they'll be able to overtake Vitality in the leaderboards with this victory.
Yeah, and this formation change has been huge for them. I mean, there is a chance here in behind. Stoichkov, he's inside the penalty box now. Needs to find a ball into a teammate, though. He's taking this one himself. Stoichkov looks for that finesse to the far post. Milinkovic-Savic can't find a teammate, and again, Method going to be bringing this one forward. But you can see the formation change. To go back to my point, Dan, the 4-2-2-2, just giving Kluivert a little bit more support up alongside him. He hasn't looked half as isolated this game.
Yeah, sometimes when you're playing 4-2-3-1, you're one lone striker. If you've got him to get inside and get behind, he's just going to maybe flop a little bit if he doesn't have any pace about him. And we know Kluivert isn't the quickest of icons. Maybe there's a chance for a consolation here, as Ronaldo has it in the box, though, on the turn. But no, that's how you save a goal.
Yeah, that's how you move the goalkeeper, and Jens Lehmann gets 2 big, strong hands up to that one. Corner here for Vitality. You can see Ronaldo gets in front of his man, and Cristiano Ronaldo, I believe, looks odd in the number 4, but he does not look odd when he's in the air like that and putting his neck muscles to use.
And if this is your first time kind of watching FIFA 19 and watching the Ultimate Team, and you're wondering why on earth is Cristiano Ronaldo CDM, you can change your position of your players in game to make them work for the chemistry, and then you can change the tactics in game.
so that Cristiano Ronaldo can play in his rightful position of a striker. But as I said, I think it's just going to be the consolation goal. I can't see Vitality getting 3 back, but maybe Method will slow things down a bit now just to secure this lead and secure this goal difference.
Bit of a battle in the midfield here as we approach the last few minutes of this game, Dan. This has been a rout, though, to be honest with you. Method, I mean, you have to say they created chances, but the finishes have just been gifted to them. Such a double-edged sword, that moving the goalkeeper. You can say, a lot of people saying, you know, oh, it's so frustrating when you see that goalkeeper moves. Stoichkov now bursts into the box. Was an opportunity to pull one back. Stoichkov, though, is going to slide it across. Oh, Jens Lehmann! Huge save coming in from the German.
And with just 1 minute to play now, Method probably just going to pass this one around. Do need to be careful. They don't want to give away a goal. They don't want to ruin that goal difference. Crespo puts it over the bar. A massive, massive 3 points for Method. Vitality, though, they were pretty lackluster at the back. Peter Schmeichel, specifically, was probably the worst performer on the pitch.
I like your strong statements today, Dan. You're standing by them, but I have to agree with you on that one. I don't think that he had his best game. And obviously, you know, that's the beauty of the auction process again, isn't it, Dan? You know, not everyone's going to have that David De Gea. Not everyone's going to have that access to the likes of Manuel Neuer, Thibaut Courtois. But moving the goalkeeper, I think I got careful when I was making my point before, you know, such a double-edged sword. You know, it looks great. It looks fantastic if you judge that finesse shot to the far post and you just walk across and you pick it out of the air like it was nothing. But you can be made to look very silly if it goes wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if it was maybe an accident and someone's accidentally clicked the right stick and gone, oh, I'm really sorry about that one, or whether they were trying to guess that someone was going to go for a finesse to the top left-hand corner for them. Either way, it was a calamity, and certainly Vitality, they'll want to do something different in this next game when we move to console.
Yeah, of course, they're going to be using the same players as well, which is a great thing for them. They can kind of put that game behind them a little bit, have a little bit of a think about things, talk about how they want to change things up. And we saw how the formation change was obviously incredibly useful there for Method and how that affected their game from last week to this week. Do you feel like maybe the guys on Vitality are going to be looking to do something similar?
They might try and change things up. It's whether you start with the 4-2-3-1 and you go for that defensive option and then change to something more aggressive when you notice you've got a bit more space, or you go for the method of Method, where you go for the aggression and then you change to 4-2-3-1 when you have the lead.
Okay, then we'll Method. First win on the board here, boys. What do you think of that?
Beautiful. You said, and I think we all did, how are they going to get the goals? Well, it requires the Renault Vitality keeper to keep moving out of the way. That happened a fair bit, in particularly that second goal, when a goalkeeper was moving for no good reason, especially in this free kick. Talk to me about that one, gentlemen.
Well, I said before up there with onset that Gerrard's going to do something special. It's going to be with him, and we saw on that free kick, he put it in there, but Schmeichel, he had to do better. They had to do better. A little bit of luck there for Method, but I said as well, best Nedved, Kluivert coming together, and that they did, and Figo here tops it all off. Brilliant.
The movement from the keeper, though. I mean, what is he, a sweeper keeper? Stay on your line.
It's the adventures of Peter Schmeichel, apparently. He just goes off on his own, doing whatever he thinks. And
but that's costly, though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes just because the option to do something like that is there, it doesn't mean you necessarily have to do it. And we've seen quite a few situations so far in this tournament where they've unnecessarily moved the keeper, and I get that they're trying to anticipate that time finesse because it's very, very deadly at that kind of space and at that kind of position in the goal. But he had an absolute shocker out there today, and he really needs to go back and, you know, sort himself out for this next game.
Was he wearing gloves, though? Because sometimes when we used to play, like, if you weren't wearing gloves, you wouldn't go for those saves, would you?
On a cold day, you don't want to get your hands in the way.
Is there any gloves, mate? No, I haven't brought them. Oh, I'm not.
Especially with those square shoes that you wear at school. They were absolute pingers.
You could get a real, if you toe punted it. And also, Jens Lehmann getting his feet to it for that potentially going 4-2, Vitality getting a second goal. What were you going to say? I stopped you, Carl Walker, but there is the Group A table as it stands. Those 3 points were very important for Method, putting them onto 5 points, level with the second team, XL.
Yes, I was just going to say that last week we talked about this, using the keeper, and maybe people are overusing it, that ability to do it there. Sometimes just leave it. You don't need to use it in every single situation. We saw on this occasion it didn't work out for them, so maybe you just have to leave it, not use that other stick to actually move the keeper, and let them do their job.
Let them do their job. Thank you. Couldn't put it better myself. Listen, guys, I want to talk about the fact that Method struggled to score, and then they go and bang in 4 goals. Is it down to the keeper movement, or was there nice link-up play? Have they finally worked out a way to use that front three?
I thought there was some good link-up play towards the latter stages of the game, but when you think about some of the goals they actually did score, there's a free kick that went through the keeper's hands, there's another one where the keeper moved out of the way, I think another one of them went underneath the keeper, so you have to say that they were fortunate in that respect, but I thought that they were still the much better team in that game, and I don't think you can really fault what they did out there.
I mean, obviously getting to see a bit of George Best, them using his pace at times, because that's how you need to use those icon cards up front, is use them to their abilities, their strengths. Nedved as well.
I talked about it up there. I said Kluivert, Nedved, George Best, that is going to be the key, them linking up. And what they did nicely was include Figo in that as well. And Figo's footwork was beautiful. We saw it on one of the goals, but the key was them all linking up and playing well together.
And Gerard coming to the attack as well. Trout, what do Renault Vitality need to do now to get that game out of their minds, going into the PS4, because they need points, as I said at the beginning of the show, and I'll keep reminding everybody wherever you are right now, points are what matters right now because we're getting closer to the playoffs. So what do Renault Vitality do?
I think they've just got to not overthink it when they're on the defensive. It seems like they're almost relying too much on the goalkeeper and neglecting their defensive duties and like trying to actually block and defend properly. It should be quite simple. I suppose maybe I'm making it a bit more simple in the way I'm saying it, but it seems like one player should be focusing very much on their defensive stance and one player should be moving the goalkeeper if they need it. But I think they were their own, undoing in that game. And if they've got another chance here, it's up to them to really kind of learn from those mistakes quickly.
OK, and do you think they were using CR7 well enough during that game? You're making a grimace of a face there, Kyle. Tell me what they can do with the CR7.
I think he's such a good player, but it's not just CR7. You've got Crespo there, you've got Pogba, you've got Stoichkov as well.
No one knows how to use Pogba. No one knows how to use him.
But putting them all together and maybe changing the formation, you've got that CR7 card there. He's so strong, he's so quick, he's shooting so good. You've got to use him for his best abilities, and hopefully we'll be able to see that.
OK, moments away from getting that second game underway on the PS4. I'm going to take your prediction. May as well. Let's fill that time with a little bit of a prediction. Who are you saying? Renault Vitality, are they going to get these points?
I always tend to back the boys that are on Vitality just because I think they're very good players and they've got a lot of experience, but I think that game was really out of their depth, and I think it's going to be Method that take the second one as well.
Oh, wow. I will hold you. That's enough from me. From Trout, said everything I needed there. Lauren's with the players right now. How are they feeling after that first match?
Let's find out, shall we, and have a little chat with Team Vitality. How are you feeling about that last game?
Not very good, of course. I think our first half wasn't that bad, but yeah, this strange free kick make us lose our focus. So yeah, we'll just try to bounce back and win this second game. I just feel like I need to just give you a little squeeze, just give you a little hug, just there. Is that all right? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, that's good. You want to check, don't you? You do want to check. Okay, so come on then. We're on the PS4 now, different console. Is this going to be better for you? Do you think? I don't know. They are both PS4 player, and I'm an Xbox player, so. That's not the answer I wanted. Yeah, maybe a bit difficult for me, but I will adapt, and yeah. I don't think it really matters. Okay, come on, chins up. Do you know chins up? Get your chins up. It means have a bit of confidence. Chins up. Yeah? We got this. You got this. Come on then, let's come down here to the Method boys. You guys must be absolutely buzzing right now. Oh. Yeah, he is. Happy? Yeah, we are. Yeah? When better than expected? Oh, I don't think so. We expected to win. Look at that, they're so cocky sometimes, aren't they? Listen, that has done wonderful things for you on the table. I mean, you must be pleased. Yeah, that was exactly what we needed to get ourselves back up there, because we was looking a little bit low on points, so that win really put us back up into the top 3 I think we needed to get, so yeah. Yeah, definitely. And how are you feeling about PS4? Is this better for you or what? This is probably our preferred console. Oh, watch out, boys. I feel sorry for them down there. Right, back to Dan and Mark.
A resounding endorsement of a Lauren hug there, as it's okay. Hey, that's about as good as it gets, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, are we getting free hugs around? Can I get a hug from you later?
No, probably. Okay. No. Anyway, let's talk about FIFA again, because this is getting weird very quickly. Let's talk about this, because obviously now it's almost more difficult for Vitality. Same players can be playing here, as we saw on the Xbox side of things, but now they've got to play against 2 players who are playing on their preferred console here. And a player I want to talk a little bit about is Malzahn. What can he bring to the table here?
Yeah, is a PS4 player. He was 128th in the world during October in his weekend league performances. 108 in 12. Cannot complain about that. Obviously didn't break into the top 100, but now he's on PS4, his more comfortable console. You got to imagine he'll be able to offer a little bit more going forward, whether that's dribbling mechanics or even just finesse shots. You might be used to the R1 instead of the RB, Mark.
Yeah, it's very, very true. And I hope their confidence isn't knocked too much, because you heard from the guys on stage there, they were saying after that first goal, you know, they didn't expect to concede that free kick, but obviously it did creep in. And it said it knocked them a little bit. And, you know, to go one down and have your confidence knocked, that's a bit of a worry for me, because obviously everyone concedes on FIFA. It's what's happened. It's, you know, it happens to all of us. And surprisingly, I know with us two here, but, you know, they have to be able to be a little bit more strong, mentally strong is what I'm looking for here, and not let that affect them too much, because you're kind of looking across at them right now, Dan, and they look a little bit dejected.
You would expect the top players to be able to maintain focus when something goes their way. It wasn't that weird of a goal. We saw the goalkeeper move ever so slightly before the free kick was taken, which offered up that shot being available, that space just in that bottom left-hand corner. But even when we've seen bizarre goals go in, the top players, they can just laugh it off and say, ah, well, it happens. Sometimes I get those goals, and they move on. For that to then happen with this second goal, which was a calamity of Peter Schmeichel running off to play a different sport.
He'll be back soon, by the way, just to let you know. He is okay.
I'm just wondering where the mental game is for Vitality. Hopefully, they are able to find a victory here, so that then coming into the next weeks, they won't be thinking about that free kick anymore.
Yeah, and the last thing that Peter Schmeichel wants to be doing is being replaced by his son. I mean, that's just embarrassing.
Maybe they need it.
Maybe they will. But anyway, let's talk about this one as far as standings are concerned, because obviously that's a big win for Method there. First win on the board for them, filling them with confidence. You could see from, you know, Lauren speaking to the guys up there, just smiles all round, and it's the complete opposite to what we saw from Vitality. The change in formation, I really think, is something we need to focus on, though, because the way they played in that game compared to last week, it was night and day.
Sometimes when you play 4-2-3-1, it can feel a little bit clunky as we take a look here at the standings. Of course, Envy dominating Group A at the moment, but now Method, they creep up to tie up with XL, and another 3 points here would have them in second place. But Method, you heard in their interview, they know what they were capable of. They know they could have got those victories. Maybe they feel a little bit hard done by with some of their draws in previous weeks. And maybe all they needed was that 4-2-2-2. Having the two strikers to be able to pass it back and forth is excellent, especially in 2v2, when you can control both of them. And then you've got the two CAMs who are playing as basically right and left mids almost, depending on how wide your formation is, that offer those extra runs. And then it means you can have your left back and your right back stay back rather than having them overlapping.
Yeah, and I think the important thing with that formation change as well is, you know, they have that icon Cliver up front, and we talked about it, not the quickest of players, not the most agile of players, but having a player alongside him where you can play it into him, use him as that wall and bounce those passes off to him. It just makes him so much more of a threat going forward.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're playing 4-2-3-1 as well, your central cam, he can just get stuck in the middle and almost play just like central midfield, and sometimes he's as far back as CDM. But switching it to a 4-2-2, that pushes that central cam up to a striker usually, and means you're more likely to get those edge-of-the-box finesse shots a little bit quicker rather than having to build up play with a slow play style.
Here we go, then the second game underway. As you can see, we're on the PlayStation 4 now. The preferred console of both of these Method players after a big win in the first leg. Hernandez, though, brings this one forward. Crespo, he's almost dropped in the box there. Staying on his feet. Good honest play there from Hernan Crespo.
Yeah, sometimes you just want them to go down, don't you? Just go down, take the penalty. But not going to happen this time. There's now a chance here for Method going forward. Nedved was just darting down onto that left wing. But they are just playing this nicely, Method. I love the pass and move that constantly is ripping Vitality to shreds.
Welcome back to the game. Peter Schmeichel got his hands around that one.
First one,
now he's going to play it out to Fabio Cannavaro. Stoichkov now into Milinkovic-Savic and Pogba working together. A lot of height in that midfield, a lot of strength in that midfield, but unfortunately for them, the strikers give it away. And now it's going to be Method bringing it forward once more with Figo, but there is Paul Pogba. Even with that low defensive work rate, still getting back involved.
That's what Vitality need to do more. Bring those players back. Bring Pogba back to defend. Don't use your central defenders to defend. Instead, use the CDMs and allow those central defenders to either be switched from your second player or the AI, just to be able to press a little bit using that RB or R1 now we're on PS4.
Stoichkov with a beautiful little drag back after the ball roll. Finds the ball into the edge of the box. Ronaldo with the scoop turn. Unfortunately, the fantastic defending there from Method wins them the ball back, and now Luis Figo is hurtling down this right-hand side, whips the ball into the box. Cannavaro does well to cut that one out because Kluivert was looking dangerous.
You heard the desk say they wanted to see maybe a little bit more of Cristiano Ronaldo usage But Method, they've really stopped that. They've put a wall in front of Cristiano Ronaldo every time he gets the ball, both closing him down, not giving him any space, making sure he has to pass to one of the other players, like Crespo, for example, because you're not going to be as scared of Crespo shooting from outside the box as you would be Cristiano Ronaldo.
Steven Gerrard then brings that ball forward, and you can see this is where Kluivert is so much more effective. Figo now onto that left foot, opens himself up with a fake shot. In for Manolas, though, obviously recently got that 86 rated for IAM.
There's the difference, 4-2-3-1. Ronaldo stuck on his own up front, no one to pass to, and he's just tackled straight away. The 4-2-2-2 that we've seen from Method has just allowed for that quick pass away to the second striker who's joined them right at the top of the pitch.
So Kluivert now into Best. Best picking up some more central positions here. For Method, Nedved now, a little bit of space on this left-hand side. Gerrard brings the ball back inside. Best might have a chance to strike it here on that right foot. Opens himself up on the finesse. The keeper does move. Here comes Peter Schmeichel. And he's a changed man from game one here. Danny's commanded his box.
Yeah, I'm sure they're worried every time Peter Schmeichel moves, to be honest. You don't know where he's going to go. But Vitality, they're in this one. They just need to offer a little bit more oomph going forward. This 4-2-3-1 seems to be harming them going up against the 4-2-2-2 because they seem to be reluctant to play it around their central midfield mark. They're trying to pass it up the pitch too quickly, and that's being counteracted by Method's formation.
Here come Vitality then. Cancelo going to bring this ball forward from right back. Takes the ball past that player, but great position in there from Tellez, and such a great for IAM, that Tellez card. If you haven't used it at home, even his base gold version, such a great card in game. Crespo now trying to feed back into Cristiano Ronaldo, but Method's defending, Dan, has been absolutely superb so far. No mistakes even in sight from them.
They're just swarming them, both players running towards them, then using R1 as well to bring a third. When you've got three men charging you down, it's almost impossible to be able to turn, let alone pass. But it will open up gaps, potentially, as Best now has a chance, but no, he's denied instantly, and Vitality going to try and play out from the back once again.
Well, Hernandez gets above his man there, Clarence Seedorf to win that knockdown. Ronaldo puts Steven Gerrard in his back, and Crespo now is going to be in a straight foot race with Davison Sanchez. Just about gets away with that one. Sol Campbell, no messing about from him, and that is going to be a corner now for Vitality. Possibly a chance now. Ball into the box. Manolas with a header. Lehmann, though, straight down his throat.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that was a timed header either. There is a chance. You can use timed shots even with headers. Gives it a little bit more power. But that seemed like just one little tap of the shoot button. It wasn't quite enough. Not enough power. Very calm at the back, Vitality, considering how badly last game one was. I've got to say, they've been a lot more composed this game.
Beautiful little touch around the corner. Kluivert tried to get that finesse off to that near post. Confidence growing here from Method as well. Vitality keeping this one close, though. 10 minutes till half-time now, Dan. Fairly similar story to what we saw in the first leg, to be honest with you. Very, very tight. First 40 minutes or so, it was just that goal at the end of the first half that really opened things up for Method as they come forward again. Kluivert's in behind now. Schmeichel versus Kluivert. Schmeichel makes the save. But George Best on the follow-up is going to get Method the lead.
Schmeichel again, though. I know it's not as easy, that one. Just gets down, manages to put his legs in the way, but it does bounce back. How many times do we see that happen in FIFA? That rebound just falling to that other striker or CAM. Maybe we might have seen a Neuer be able to catch that ball, keep it safely in his hands, but that's the auction process. They've decided to spend their money elsewhere, and they've been ended up with Peter Schmeichel, and he has been a letdown because of it. His Method, they lead once again. Vitality, now they have to go forward. Will they be affected by that goal as they were in the previous?
Almost deja vu in this almost second leg of things here on the PS4. But obviously we've had the same players for both of the franchises involved now. Ronaldo picks up that long ball. Great ball around the corner. Sanchez can't quite reach it. Tellez is going to beat Stoichkov to the ball, though, I believe, there. Best now. Into Kluivert. Pogba comes in with the tackle, but Method keep hold of the ball here, Dan. Great patient stuff from them.
Yeah, and that's been the main difference between both of these teams, is just patience from Method. They're more than happy to pass it around, utilise this formation, and they were able to work their way through for their first goal with Kluivert. Maybe a last attempt here for Figo. He's going to try and get into the box. Sandro, though, a solid left back, and definitely worth the money that Vitality paid. Surely the ref's got to blow the whistle here.
Seen funnier things happen, and Hernandez can't quite beat Antonio Valencia to the ball, as that ball was played in the channel, and much like the first Xbox side of things, Dan, It's those two young men on your screen who go into the break with a goal lead.
Several times from the back, though, Vitality would just try and kind of hoof that ball up to Cristiano Ronaldo, who was waiting alone. And that just offered up the chance for Method to close him down and stop any pass from happening. And then Method were able to pass it around and play possession football again. Vitality, they noticed this was happening later in the game, and they started to try and play it around themselves. I think they were unfortunate to go behind. A defender, I think, failed to take down Cliver. Cliver was able to skip past him. But hopefully they're able to keep their heads this game.
Here we go then, second half underway. Vitality down by a goal and need to create something here, Dan. I'd like to maybe see an early formation change here because they haven't created barely anything of note, to be honest with you, across the sort of first half of both of the legs so far. Campbell comes across and cuts that one out to Method, but it's not just been their offensive play that's maybe been a little bit underwhelming. You have to give credit here to Method and the way they've defended.
And it's the adjustment to 2v2. They've not played the 2v2 here at Elite Series yet. As you heard, they weren't here week 1. In week 2, they weren't playing. These two players, Brian and Mouls, weren't playing. They're both fantastic 1v1 players. Brian went 29-1 last week in the weekend league. But we need to see a little bit of a spark from either of them to try and create something. Maybe this is it. Nope, denied again.
Just as something was developing, this time it's Valencia who gets involved and gets the ball back here, wins possession back here for Method, and now they bring it forward. Cliver into Georgie Best. Best is going to get the return ball as well. Manolas hot on his tail, though. Figo gets that ball around the corner. You can see the ball outside, but this time it's Nedved. 5-star weak foot on him, and Schmeichel gathers that one. Great handling this time from the Dane.
And Vitality, their defence is getting a little bit more aggressive now. They are pulling players out of position to try and win this ball back a little bit earlier, hoping to catch Method on the counter-attack. But it's going to be difficult because Method defensively have just looked perfect. I've got to say it. They haven't looked like they've had any weak points in the back mark.
Yeah, and they've been biding their time to jump in for that tackle as well. They're just cutting passing lanes, making sure that passes are difficult, waiting for the mistake, and now you're going to see them come forward. Manolas actually loses the ball. He has his pocket stolen there by Luis Figo, but Figo couldn't find that ball across. I believe it was Nedved who was waiting in the middle, but good interception, and here comes Milinkovic-Savic now as we approach the last half hour of this second game.
You can see all four defenders of Method, they're back. The fullbacks are set to defend. Is there a chance here? Timed is red. Not a fantastic shot. Maybe just snatched it there, was hoping and not expecting the ball.
And a touch of desperation in that, in my opinion. You know, it's a first chance for sighting that Vitality have kind of had on goal, to be honest with you, in this game. Tried to snatch at it, tried to just at least get a shot away, and now Method are building again. Milinkovic-Savic now, you can see Stoichkov, there was a ball in behind there to Ronaldo, unfortunately. I'm not sure if he was looking for Ronaldo or not, but I think a formation change has come in here for Vitality. Definitely more players flooding forward for them.
Yeah, whether they've switched to a 4-2-2-2 as well, or maybe a 4-2-4, just to try and get forward, try and get something from this tie. What I was mentioning earlier is Method, because they're playing 4-2-2-2, they've got those fullbacks back, and it's so hard for Vitality to break through here. Whereas in the 4-2-3-1, it opens up space like this. Georgie Best gets taken down, but apparently that's a goal kick. I'd be questioning that one.
Solid, old-school Italian defending there from Cannavaro. Put the shoulder in, has that strength. Now Ronaldo, unfortunately, that's a poor pass there from Crespo. Trying to return the ball to Cristiano Ronaldo. Tellez has a ball on down the line here, and he is going to use it. Best inside now, 2v1 opportunity. Nedved has Cliver with him. Lakokita on the edge of the box, fake shots past Cannavaro. Nedved goes near post. Unfortunately for him, just wide of the target there, Dan.
Method's still going for it here. They want that second goal. They want to put this game to bed. Managed to secure 6 points would be huge for them in the standings. They want to be able to make those playoffs for sure. Sandra here, going to play it up to Pogba, and maybe Vitality can snatch something here.
Ball out wide. Stoichkov isn't going to collect that one. It's actually going to be Ronaldo who comes and gets involved. El Tornado, ball into the box. Header. It's going to fall here to Stoichkov, but that's a disappointing ball. And again, you know, he had a little bit more space in the box there, Stoichkov, and Vitality really snatching at these chances and being forced forward here. He's just leaving these gaps at the back here. Best trying to square the ball over to Cliver, gets the ball back, but Cannavaro, again, he's a one-man army at the back here.
Yeah, that cross from Vitality was just, it just reeks of lack of confidence, to be honest. They want to get the ball in. They want to get that goal. But if they just took their time, maybe an extra second just to pass it back, have a look around, they might have been able to find something here. But they do still have some possession. We know what's in the locker for these players. They just need to pull it out in these dying moments of this game.
Fortunately for Pogba there, you can see Crespo was in a dangerous position, sort of Drifting into the box, but that's a great ball over the top here, unfortunately. From Method, Schmeichel's going to read that one well and come and pick that one up. And 12 minutes left in this game, Dan, plus extra time. Vitality down by just 1 goal here, so they need to get things moving. They need to create some chances here to get back into this one.
Yeah, but they are leaving gaps in the back now because they are getting quite aggressive, and you can see there's players flooding forward for Method. They don't care if there's only 10 minutes left. They want a second goal here. They want to add to their tally. They need to be careful. They don't want to be giving away possession that easily.
3.6 points on the board here, should I say, actually. That's a huge tackle there from Telles, who's not only going to slow things down, he's going to win the ball, but here's Crespo. Look at all the players forward here. They have to take advantage of this. Milinkovic, Savic. Oh, it's such a poor pass, though. So many options there on there for Vitality, and of all the ones that were open, they picked the wrong one.
It almost seemed like Vitality, they were reluctant to go for the obvious pass, and the obvious pass was wide open in the middle, but they thought maybe it's too readable, so they didn't go for it. They went for something a little bit more elaborate, a bit more fancy. It didn't work out for them. And now Method, you've got to think with just, what, 4 minutes left, plus added on time. They might just play the possession game here to close this one out and get these 6 points on the board.
We've seen funnier things happen, though, Dan. We've seen turnarounds.
We've seen Peter Schmeichel miss everything.
Exactly. Cannavaro now. This is one of the last opportunities that Vitality are going to have to come forward here. CR7's making that darting run down the left-hand side. Sanchez across to cover him. Is that a free kick, referee? Yes, it is. Opportunity from the set piece here for Vitality.
I get really excited in 2v2 with free kicks because you can practice, you can try something a little bit different. Now you can control that player in the box and control where you're putting it. They're going to try and put this on Ronaldo's head, but no. Sanchez denies it.
Sanchez has had his number, to be honest with you, CR7. And look at this now. Cliver bringing it away. Method with the chance to counter-attack. Nedved almost bundled over. Referee's going to let that one go. Play the advantage, and smart play here, calming things down. Method using that extra man. Nedved. Cannavaro's going to take it. Is there one more chance here for Vitality? Pogba brings it forward.
Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Maybe it can, though. Cannavaro hoofs it up the pitch, but Valencia stops it. That's got to be time.
Figo clears that one up the pitch, and it's going to be 6 points on the board here. For Method, smiles all around from Ricktrek and Venny. If you asked them before we started here, what do you want from these matches? 6 points is what they wanted, and they've come out with exactly what they asked for.
I'd like to think every player on every team will want 6 points, to be honest, Mark, but you're completely right. Method, they looked a bit lackluster in the first couple of weeks. They were getting frustrated with those draws, but now they're starting to show what they're made of. Unfortunately for Vitality, not a week to remember for them. Certainly Game 1 was very disappointing. Game 2, they had a little bit more oomph behind them. They just weren't able to create enough up front. Really struggled. Weren't able to get that ball to Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, it was a disappointing performance for Vitality. Maybe looking at changing the roster up a little bit. Maybe we need a few more players, a few extra weeks, getting the 2v2 experience. But I mean, gentlemen on the desk, the guys from Method, all smiles from them, all smiles.
All smiles indeed. Thank you very much on set. Dan Gaskin, I've got the rich dog, the brand dog, and the trout fish right there to talk about that match. But gentlemen, you've not been on the desk before. This is an occurrence, isn't it, Pastures Green?
Yeah, I've not been in since season 3. I believe the last time I was on the desk, I was wearing sunglasses. So who knows what might happen in the next 7 minutes.
Wow, you think you'll be here for 7. All right, so let's look at that. Got just a 1-0 result. Method getting the full 6 points. As you can see the results in front of you. The Xbox, Method dominated, and it was a much more of a closer game, that PS4 one, wasn't it, Brandon?
Oh, it was, and I think it's the first time that these two actually played together. Rip Torek and Benny, probably their strongest two in Method, and you have to pick out Vitality there. They've gone through a new duo of players there. Vitality, Brian, a lot of experience with Gfinity, and Molzen as well, who played in Season 3. You're asking questions there saying, where's Rafsu, where's Maestro? But you've got a team that's massive. You have to alternate. And
but do you? That's how it goes. But I know that, look, it's a beautiful game of FIFA that we absolutely love. FIFA 19 is giving joy to many people, but I feel like sending in Molzen and Brian was too risky right now. You need those points.
I mean, I don't agree with that. I think that they're both very good players in their own rights, and I don't know, it just didn't click for them today. They just seem to be on completely different wavelengths. And
but why not play the two that played last week? Do you know what I mean? In terms of keep that form going. And,
I feel like Brian he almost just by his name justifies being your starting player. Molzen, he had a good display last season as well, so I don't necessarily disagree with the choice this week. I think you've also got to bear in mind they've got another fixture to come, so it's not over for them. And I think maybe they tried to switch things up and see if there was obviously a different game plan working in the bigger picture here, that maybe they might have gelled a bit better and offered something different this week against the matchup they're facing. It didn't happen. Probably won't see this matchup or this pairing next week. And that's a bit of a shame, but Vitality have still got a chance in this.
I feel like the more you play as a 2v2, the better you get in this format of the game. And therefore, I personally feel it's a missed opportunity for Team Vitality not to stick with the same lineup and potentially get some points. They walk away with nothing today.
Yeah, and if I'm Maestro and Rafsu, I've picked up 4 points last week. What do I think? I've been dropped this week. What have I got to do to actually stay in the team? Do I have to win both games? Like, I don't agree the fact that they brought 2 new players in when 2 new players got 4 points out of 6 last week. Brian and Molzine obviously not pulled the finger out, got battered first game. Quite frank, to be honest.
Wasn't expecting that from you, Richard, but that's why you're on this desk.
And then second game, they just dictate it around. Method 1-0, 6 points from 6, job done.
Yeah.
On the train home.
I don't want to point in terms of they didn't do enough and then a Method, you know, sort of picked up what was left. They played very well today, didn't they?
They did. They scored 5 goals over the 2 games, and I'll say it again and again. Veni and Rip Torek, I don't know how much these two have played together. Their first week really playing as a duo, and they blew away Vitality. And again, you have to put that down to the experience that they've already played a few weeks. Now we're in week 3 now. Vitality, obviously Brian and Molzine, they come off a Eurostar, probably a little bit tired after travelling throughout the day.
And those tickets are pricey.
They are.
And the snacks on board are pricey. I mean, you know,
you've got to take a packed lunch. You've got to take a packed lunch for you.
You've got to prepare. Listen, Trout, I'll come back to you in a second because I think you've got something to say about the goals that were scored throughout those 2 matches. Let's go up to the touchscreen right now with Onset and Carl. What did you make of it all?
Thank you very much, Tom. And yeah, we are back at the touchscreen. You made it back. I'm so happy. You were worried about you last week. You weren't going to get up here, but we got you up early this time.
And now I've got 2 in week 3. Next week, hopefully, there'll be more.
We'll see about that. Anyway, we'll see how you get on now. But anyway, what we're going to talk about a little bit here, Carl, is something that we talked about when we were casting, we were on the desk. It's moving the goalkeepers, the pros and the cons, the good and the bad. So what we'll do is start off by looking at some of the bad things here from Vitality. And poor old Peter Schmeichel here, he's made to look a little bit silly.
He is indeed. And I mean, we see that Figo's footwork, I've talked about, is so good. But what is Schmeichel doing? He's hot-stepping it across the 6-yard box, and he doesn't make a dive, doesn't make a save at all. It easily goes in there.
I think the thing that you keep on here, obviously, you're looking at Schmeichel, and it's either side of things, you can see him moving around, and this is all manual control. Look at him there. He's been moved to the right-hand side, expecting that finesse shot across goal, or the driven shot across goal. Unfortunately for him, just with that stutter from Luis Figo, it just creates so much space here. You can see it. I mean, how do you miss? Look, I mean, it can make it as big as possible, because if you miss that one, Figo, then you're getting benched next game. And it just made him look a bit silly.
I know he's not here this week, but Jolien even would have scored that. If you watched it, then you would have got this. But we see again, it's that overuse of that movement. Sometimes, I talked about it down there, we don't need to overuse it. We don't need to overthink it. Let the keeper do their job. You don't have to manually control it, and that's 2 mistakes there we've seen.
Now, I mean, it didn't work out for Vitality, of course, but some ways that it did work out were on the other side of things, and it was the guys from Method who did put them to use, and Jens Lehmann came up with a magical piece of work here. You can see it. Ball Ronaldo around the corner, and you see he just moves to that near post. We'll drag it back and we'll highlight it once more. It's just here. You can see Lehmann in the middle, and you'll see he sees Ronaldo open things up. Ronaldo's always going to be looking to maybe go for this near post once he gets past the defender, but by moving that goalkeeper across just there, he's left a lot of goal open, but most importantly, he's in the line of the ball.
Definitely, and we saw just before that, it's that anticipation, but using it at the right time. It's moving forward, the shot's not happening, so move back, and then he knows Ronaldo's going to strike it. You're always going to have a pop with Ronaldo, and he's come forward, taking the step to the left, and it's perfect.
So there it is, the good, the bad, and the ugly of moving the goalkeeper. I'm not calling you good, Tom. I'm not calling you bad. Back to you.
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot, Onset, and to Carl as well. And that's Group A settled for this week. Done, dusted. Let's move on. It's now time for Group B. Here's what happened last week. It is a hot contest. Nordavin straight up against #United.
Tweedy on the ball, getting crossed in. That's going to be Thierry Henry, the first goal of the game. There it is! Honours even in the game on the Xbox. To the PlayStation we go. Thierry Henry does it again. That's 2-0. Nordavin survive all the pressure.
Aces Rogue Army going up against Man City's Epsilon.
Bergkamp goes for the finesse shot and finds the back of the net. Ball into the middle, Gareth Bale arrives.
Ronaldinho is in the box, he's going to dance around, he finds the net as well. Absolutely clobbers it. Ronaldinho takes the shot.
You can't give him that amount of space. They've done it. 4 games for Epsilon Man City. 4 wins on the board.
Right then, here we are, joined by 4 now perfect, spectacular guests. What? It was beautiful.
Show.
It was nice. This is the prize you could win. We've moved on to Group B, and now we have a lot of knowledge on this desk to talk about. Let's look at Group B, the table at the moment. It is hotting up there. Let's ignore the top team for a second.
It's not really hotting up. Come on, look at the top team.
No, because if you take them out, it is quite close, isn't it? So, I mean, obviously, I want to talk about Man City Epsilon, but I know we're going to talk about them in a bit. They're dominating at the moment. They're getting maximum points. However, #United hot on their heels, sort of. Nordavind then in third, ASOS ROG Army and Roma Fnatic. That is going to be our first match today. It's a dogfight, isn't it? They played 1 game though.
I think we're going to have to christen that Man City Epsilon math, aren't we? It's like if you ignore the obvious thing that's happening here, it's really close to the rest of it, isn't it? So that's what that's known as from now on.
I was trying to be optimistic with what we're about to see, but the point is, these teams like Army, Roma Fnatic, they've only played 1 game, so it's a bit false to say they're down at the bottom, but they have to win this, and those are our fixtures today, and then we'll go to Nordavind versus Man City Epsilon. What happens here, gentlemen? What do you like about this Group B at the moment?
Well, actually, if Roma Fnatic win both of their games, for a short period of time, they will go second. They will actually go above #United, so they could go from being the bottom to second. They're not catching City Epsilon just yet.
How exciting is Group B, though?
It is hotting up, it's heating up. We're turning up the pressure. We're turning up the gas cooker right now. It's about to get exciting.
Oh, gas mark, and then I don't know how to change that, to convert that. Dan Gaskin, at this Group B, we've got a first fixture. What do you like about this? It does feel like a dogfight. Roma Fnatic pipped by Man City Epsilon in week 1. What were they doing right? What were they doing wrong? What's going to happen in this match?
The one thing they did wrong was they were playing against Man City Epsilon. First mistake. We've already heard from Kyle. We know how good they are. But they were close games, to be honest, against Man City Epsilon. There's just a little bit more clinical finishing from Epsilon boys. Maybe if these Army lot, they can find something, they use that R9 that they've got in their squad. He's got 4 goals at the moment. We know there's bags full of goals available from R9. So if they can maybe just go for a few more finesse shots out the box, maybe try and pass it around a little bit more in the midfield, not be too... You don't want to rush too much to try and get it up to R9. Play it around. Allow him to get into space. These good players, they find their way into space.
OK, your notes all sorted now, Carl?
Yeah, they were very messy.
And let's have a quick look at the Xbox lineup to start with for Army taking on Roma Fnatic. Trout, you're looking at that. The previous winner there from last season, Season 3, Ranners, and Zach Moore, the man who plays in Shores. Hassan came in last week, didn't do too badly, but Fur Perry, very disappointed with Chacham, who is playing in the PS4. They didn't quite deliver, and they were trying to use the R9. It wasn't really working for them.
I mean, it's tough, you know, new boys coming into the series. You've got a lot of pressure on you to compete with the big boys that have already established themselves here, and they're coming up against the last season champions. It's not an easy fixture to come into week 2 when you've already dropped your first one, so they've got a lot of pressure on them, and they need to really think about how they're going to approach this one. And as you said, R9 not really working for them, so I'd be quite interested to see how they adopt their either play style or how they kind of focus their attacks in this week.
It's interesting because Mark Hatcher, aka Onset's face, said he didn't necessarily agree with that. Roma Fnatic, though, getting 3-2 losses. They were 2-0 up against Man City Epsilon, and they lost it.
It's part of competitive FIFA. If you can play well for 80 minutes, it's the same as regular football. If you can't see the games out, then you are going to lose games. And on the opposite side of that, if you can chase a game and score a couple goals in the last few minutes, then you end up in first place. Look at the table. It is the tail of late goals. And if Man City Epsilon don't get those last-minute goals and Roma Fnatic hold on in that game that they played, the table looks completely different. So it's not a game from 1 minute to 85 minutes. You've got to play to the 96 sometimes that the referee adds on a little bit of extra time to get these wins. And I think maybe it's a formation thing, maybe it's a little bit of relaxation in those times of pressure, being able to stay calm and just play the ball around a little bit. And mindfulness, light a candle.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Have some nice sense going. PS4 lineup today. ASOS Army one change. Hassan goes out. Chachim comes in. Then you have the Real Madrid Atleti fans combined together, which is beautiful. We love to see more of that in football. And then on the right-hand side, AS Roma is one heck of a celebration at Zimmer as well.
Can we just appreciate Zimmer's stern face? He looks like no emotion at all. It's passing his eyes or
that is the face of a man who forgot to redeem his weekend league.
He is indeed. And actually, I remember Joe Brady, the photographer, saying, "You can smile now," and he says, "I am." So there you go. Listen, how do you see this one going? If you're based on previous form, what are you saying? Is this Army going to get some points, or is this a Fnatic win?
I think Fnatic, this is the time where they need to put points on that board. They know it. They deep down know they've got to come out and perform in both games. So hopefully they'll be able to do that, or at least they're going to give us a good showing of them trying to. But ASOS ROG Army, they're going to be trying to stop it. They're going in there. They know what they need to do. Fnatic are against the ropes. Are they going to come out fighting? Are they going to go down for the count? We'll see.
I knew I'd come to you, Carl, because you are the spokesman for the group. You don't get to answer on that. Right, let's bring out the Army. It's Fer Perry on both consoles, and he'll be alongside Hassan on the Xbox and Chachim on the PS4. Give me the match. We're back. ROG Army, you've got 1 point so far. Now you need to put more points on the board. Do you feel confident going into this one against Roma Fnatic?
Yeah, we're confident. We just have some changes going on, so we'll see what happens next.
Oh, that feels like I want to know secrets. The changes have happened. You're on the Xbox.
Yeah.
I think in the competition in the Elite Series so far, we've seen people not perform as well as they should have done on the Xbox.
Yeah.
You're going to stop that, though, today, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. We're definitely winning this.
OK, well, listen, best of luck to you, gentlemen. You can head off and go and get yourselves set up. Their opposition today, coming last season's champion from Season 3, it is Roma Fnatic. On the Xbox, you will have Ranners and Zach Moore, and on the PS4, you have Zimmer and Dammy. I don't even know I can't even remember what date it is. I know it's November, but the shorts are still coming out. You have got to respect that. Get a close-up on that, Zetmore, not too close. Listen, I'm going to come to you. We know that you can perform. You had a bye week last week. Are we going to see the Roma Fnatic that we saw in Season 3?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we played well, actually, first week. We were just a bit unlucky with the goals we conceded. So, yeah, I do think we can get 3 points a minimum. Yeah. Hopefully 6.
Yeah. If you don't start winning, we won't get one of your incredible sort of bets where if people retweet, you'll shave your hair again. I'm going to come down here for 1 second. Ranners, I'm going to ask this question. What happened last time Man City Epsom? I didn't get to chat to you. 2-0 up. It is FIFA. That's competitive FIFA. It does happen.
Yeah.
Going to make sure that doesn't happen this week.
Yeah, I mean, we got unlucky. I think we played fine. We just didn't go away, but hopefully we win this week.
OK, listen, Zach Moore. Respect the shorts. Listen, they're going to head off that way. We're going to go to the touchscreen right now because Kyle Walker and the main man on set are going to battle, delve in deep, investigate their schedule, lineup, team. Take it away, boys.
What are we doing?
I mean, you're the main man and I'm not.
Fighting?
This is my 3rd time up here, though, so I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here.
He's ecstatic. I'm happy to have you as always, mate. But, of course, we're going to be running through the squads again, the auction process, and seeing who we've got going today. So we'll start off by looking, not at Method, because we've already seen them. We'll look at Team ASOS ROG Army, and they went big again. We were talking about R9, 201, interestingly, almost a Luis Suarez thing going on here, £1 million for him. And either side of him, they've got some big players in Bale and Neymar, but just haven't produced what we were expecting from them.
Not yet, but maybe this is their week. Look at that front three there. Bale, Ronaldo, Neymar, Makelele behind them, Varane, Baggio as well. I mean, that is a very, very strong going forward. At the back there might be a few holes, maybe, compared to some other teams, but
surely this has got to be the week where they're banging in those goals. That man, look at that card. Look at it.
One stat for you. 4 out of 5 goals have gone to that man for Asus ROG Army. So he's doing the business. Maybe just a little bit of support either side of him needed. But let's look at the AS Roma Fnatic squad and some of the players that they've picked up. They've got that Premiership feel. Obviously, they've got Raul up top, but the wingers either side of him with Socrates in midfield, they haven't quite delivered in the way that I was expecting so far. One player, weirdly, who I think has, and 2 players, I think, weirdly, who have, are these 2 gentlemen in the middle. Fred and Fabinho have been monsters so far for this team.
Yeah, if you look at them compared to what other teams have got in the middle, it's not as strong, but they've actually held their own against some of the bigger teams, so hopefully they'll be able to get some points on the board. Fnatic. What I like as well is Raul at the front. That is a main man, that is a target man, that is who they should be looking at. But look at this. I mean, playing in previous weeks, you've got Epsilon Man City there. They're just going forward. They're so strong.
This is the thing, right? We're looking at Fnatic Roma and we're saying, you know, they haven't picked up as many points as maybe we were expecting them to, but this is the examples of them just not being able to close out games. Look at the game clock in the top left-hand corner. 88 minutes here, for example, tied up at 2-2, and they managed to just not quite clear the ball there. You can see desperately trying to get away. De Gea, a little bit of bad luck as that ball falls straight to Ronaldinho, you have to say. I mean, luck's just not been on their side, and I think if we pause it here and we just highlight, that is the face of a man who has just conceded in the 92nd minute or whatever it was. And hopefully they're not going to see that again this week, right?
Hopefully not. This is the time where they're going to come out. This is the time where they're going to put some points on the board. If they can hear me, come on, boys. I'm behind you. I'm backing you.
Well, one person who definitely can hear you right now is Lauren. She's on the stage, and I think she's with some of those players.
I am. Head over here. We'll have a little chat with Fnatic. Now, Ranners, you know over on Twitter, they're literally like putting bets on if you're going to trip up. Have you done any tripping as yet?
No, I don't think so.
Why have you got this reputation for being a tripper?
I couldn't tell you now. I'm you know, I don't know.
It's not fair. He's a champion and he's being disrespected around these parts, and I will not have it. Let's have a look at these legs. Why are they pointing out your legs?
Just feeling comfortable as well. We're home, so we've got to be ready to go.
Do you think it makes you play better having a lovely breeze through your thighs?
No, just being comfortable. That's like how I am at home, so that's how it is.
I'm going to let you get on. It's getting awkward over here. Boys, what do we need to do to get the win today, and how much are you up for it?
We just need to play our best, and hopefully we'll get the W.
Yeah, you can do it. Maybe, I don't know, you could get some legs out as well if you wanted. Fancy showing them off?
We are confident. It's the time to show the people that we are a good team, and we are ready.
They are. Dine showed that they're a good team and they're ready, but not their legs. Right now, back to the desk.
Thank you very much, Lauren. Having a whale of a time up there. Fantastic, Lauren Layfield. Chatting to the players. A few technical issues, but before we get those sorted, I want to just really chat to you guys before we get to that game. Now, in terms of the lineup, we heard Kyle and Onset talking about it. What do you make of the battle of who's got the better squad here on paper?
I think it's hard. I think it depends on your kind of play style. I think you've got a very strong opinion on what you thought was the better team of the two.
I mean, I'm looking at this one, and that front three is almost top tier. Of course,
it's frightening.
If you had the option of icons, maybe Neymar and Bale would be replaced, but R9 is absolutely, he's just pure destruction. They've obviously gone for attackers where they've spent their money in the auction. You look at their back four, it's not amazing. Boateng maybe might be a little bit sloppy at the back. Alaba is okay. Yashin is an interesting one. He had a couple of good performances.
When you say sloppy, break that down for me. For maybe people who love their football, what do you mean by that in terms of FIFA 19?
In comparison to other defenders, he's quite slow.
Okay.
A little bit clunky, as it were, and maybe sometimes when you're trying to pass out the back with Boateng, he might fluff it a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Is that broken down enough?
No, it does for me. Just the terminology sloppy, I was like, what is he doing wrong?
No, that's fine. I think maybe he's just not super agile.
Yes,
and there are more agile defenders out there, and I think you definitely need balance and agility in this FIFA, especially with your defenders, just being able to turn with the ball. And if you're playing against players who like to use the constant pressure tactic, you've got to make sure that you can turn and pivot and be able to play that ball out very well.
Okay, now compare that to the Roma Fanatics team in terms of their whole overall picture, but their defence, Laurent Blanc's there. Now, that is not a sloppy player.
Definitely not. That defence is incredible. De Gea in goal, everyone knows how he's almost in every team right now. Neuer maybe taking over him as best goalkeeper. Walker, right back of choice in an unlocked situation as well. Varane. Hernandez is the slight weak point, I'd say, in that back four, but they've definitely focused on the bottom end of this screen rather than the top end. Although it's not bad. I mean, Hazard, player of the month, is an incredible player as well.
Yeah.
He can bang in those shots.
Which out of those two teams would you prefer to play with? Well, before we go to this first match in Group B?
I would probably say that I'd prefer to Army's team, but I think that the Fnatic team have got some really underrated players in there. I think Fred's actually a player who's really underrated, very good overall player. And I think that they've kind of spread their money out quite evenly across the board with their team. And you can see they've kind of prioritised their back four, because I think they probably got... I think what they thought going into the draft was kind of like, OK, we're pretty confident in our attacking play. Our defensive side's going to be pretty solid all around, and I think that's where we're going to excel.
OK, well, listen, thank you very much, Gaskin and Trout. I'm going to pass over to the main men over in the commentating casting area to get this one underway.
Thank you very much, Tom, and the guys at the desk. And what a game we have right now. Army up against Roma. AS Roma Fnatic, I should say. We've seen an esports organisation and a football team working together, and it's lucky we arrived to this game when we did, because it's just started, as it means to go on. Army 1-0 up. Neymar on the score sheet. And I was about to say, this is a huge game. Army, they're on 1 point at the moment. This is week 3 for them. Fnatic, they missed last week. They lost their first week's fixtures. 3-2, 3-2 in the 90th minute, both of them. These games are huge. If Army don't get points out of this, you've got to be thinking playoffs is off.
Yeah, these are the games that are really make or break for these organisations. Gfinity Elite Series career, you could say, in Season 4. I'll tell you what, Neymar has absolutely rifled that into the top corner there. You're going to see the replay of it here. No, you're not, because it got skipped. Maybe next time, Richard. We're getting on the debate as well between the two teams as well. I think Roma Fnatic have got a better squad. I think Army have got the better players.
Well, Army have got R9 Ronaldo as well.
Individuals, I'd say.
Who cost a lot of money. If you didn't know already, Army kicking from left to right, a Spanish esports organisation. And of course, an Italian football club in Rome. It's Roma, sorry. And Fnatic, a huge esports organisation working together. And they were the champions of the Elite Series on the FIFA side of things last year. A dream team it was. Ranners, who's playing right now with Zatmore, who's rocking the shorts 12 months, all year round.
He lives in the shorts.
Just saying, that's how he's comfortable, though. These players have got to play that they're comfortable. You know, there's players out there in Germany that, like Marlott, sits with his legs crossed. Everyone has their own ways of playing.
Yeah, shoes off, legs crossed. That's how Marlott likes to play. It's all about just getting as comfortable as possible, mimicking how you play, replicating how you play at home.
As we said, currently, these two teams need points on the board. Just going through the results, as we said, AS Rogue Army, they lost at a hashtag in week 1 overall. They did pick up a point in the second game, and then last week I should say, Man City beat them by 2-1. Both of these teams have suffered a beating from Manchester City and Epsilon.
Yeah, it just seems to be the way of the road at the minute. Man City dealing damage to everybody.
And they will be in action against Nordavin for the 4th fixture of tonight, coming up after 2 games on here. Xbox is always first, and it will be the PlayStation tie between the two. You win a game, 3 points on the board, you draw it, 1 point each. And Army just seem maybe they're a little bit more up for it. It is Hassan and Fair Perry playing together.
Yeah, lovely little no-touch turn there through the legs from Army. I think it was Neymar on that occasion. They've come out with the blocks really, really strong here, have Army. Good bit of defensive play once again there, Thomas Mounier, right full-back.
You've got to be thinking, Richard, Fnatic are going to be thinking in their heads, right, we've got no points on the board at the moment. We need points on the board. You know, we're champions here last year. We need to cement how good we are in this competition.
Yeah, show they weren't a one-off. Show they weren't a fluke that we're the champions. We didn't get there by luck. We got there by skill.
And what a story it was as well. So we were lucky enough to follow the competition all the way through to that final day where it all kicked off Yashin in goal. And I must say, compared to last year, I actually quite rate Yashin. Yashin didn't really get a feature in many teams last year.
Just because David De Gea was so strong.
But this year it feels like Courtois kind of takes over that.
I think Neuer as well. Neuer is slowly
coming back.
Ascending the ranks, yeah. I think Manuel Neuer is the only goalkeeper in the Champions League, Manuel Neuer, with a basic that actually gets 99 across all stats, apart from speed, at the minute. So he is pretty much the goalkeeper of choice until we get more special items.
As we said, loads of icons in this Army team. Baggio, R9, Veron.
Yeah, Veron as well, at 90 rated.
Makalele as well.
Argentinian midfielder. So he's probably on the cusp of becoming, you'd say, event-worthy.
We know 20 new icons added in for FIFA 19 if you are really into your ultimate team, and they're very expensive if you want to get one of those in your team. Makalele, though, we saw him in week 1. We were commentating, he looked so good. Oh, Bronk.
Looking for one more pass there for R9.
Nearly found that ball, she said to...
I think it was Veron, actually.
I think it was Veron, yeah, it was Veron making over a run. You can easily get confused, obviously, but between R9 and Veron. Raul now looks for the run of Salah. Raul again, here we go.
So moved his goalkeeper.
Went for a finesse.
He's moved his goalkeeper 3 inches to the left. It just opens up that front post. In that occasion, it's better to just stand up to it. Just you've got a 94 rated Yashin in goal. Let him do it. Let him try and save it at least, because if he stands up to that, you're then getting back into the mind of Fnatic.
Obviously Enzo, the coach behind them there, moved into the Fnatic house, coaching these guys.
We all know that moving the goalkeeper is strong this year, but don't over-rely on it. I think that's what some FIFA pros do. They'll find a tactic that works. Last year, low-driven shot. This year, the low-driven shot not working. And as soon as the game's released, people are panicking. How do I score? I can't score. Have a repertoire. Have different things that you can do.
And the thing you've got to look at as well is who is controlling this keeper as well. We saw it a few times. You know, someone could bring out the keeper, but then the other teammate could bring out the keeper as well. Or that communication has to be on point every single time. I'm controlling the keeper now. You make sure you're defending as Army come forward to try and get back in front. They do win a free kick in a dangerous area. Varane into the book, and you have to say both teams, well, all teams in this tournament, is stacked. This team as well. De Gea, Varane, Socrates.
We've already seen Steven Gerrard bang one in. Can we see Neymar?
Over the wall. Of course we can. Oh, there we go. No chance for David De Gea. Even though he sits at a 92 rated for item, Neymar will just bend it over to the wall, and he is on for a first half hat-trick.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, a pro player there, they'll play it short, they'll play the third man, then they'll try and work a pass from there. On this occasion, Neymar up and over the wall from 20 yards. But more importantly, reclaims the lead for Army. Good free kick.
A free kick to perfection then. And one thing I'm seeing from Army is they're going for it. They know that they need a win today. They need 2 wins, if anything. And this is a huge 6-pointer if they can pull out the bag. And it's the same for Fnatic and Roma.
Yeah, if Roma Fnatic pick up 0 points from this, you're looking where the point's going to come from, and that's a mistake.
It's Baggio there to Varane on the finesse. Neymar, guess what? He's got that first half hat-trick.
Very, very scrappy, and it's a dab as well. That is just going to rile up Roma Fnatic right now. It's poor play from the back. From
it's one of those, isn't it?
You've
got to be confident. If you're going to play it around the back, you've got to know what you're doing with that ball.
You also haven't got the best of players. You're not using your Champions League Marcelo or your prime Maldini.
And this is the most confident I've seen Army look. Hassan came in at week 2, and it seems like that week of just getting that bit of practice has been everything for him. Oh my, that one in. David De Gea had to punch over the bar. R9 with the looping header. Added time of 2 minutes, about 30 in-game seconds remaining. And it comes, played short to Ronaldo. One more attack. Neymar, surely not another one. Gareth Bale jumped up. Referee, are we all done there? Yes, we are. And the story so far in this one, Neymar scores a hat-trick, a free kick, a goal right at the beginning of the game. And that sums up 1 shot on target for Fnatic.
Yeah, very, very dominant first half from Army here. 3 goals to 1. Controlling possession with 57% at half-time.
The one thing I noticed about Army, they don't really communicate too much.
It's mental.
It's all just score a goal, reset, we go again.
Yeah, I don't know if they talk at all, to be honest. It'd be an advantage as well.
Just pass me the ball, we'll work together and we'll just go and score a goal. But we're in the second half now. 2 goals are needed to at least get a draw out of this one. Really, really good stuff from Army, though.
80% pass accuracy from Roma in the first half. Just not good enough.
And 1 shot. No, we don't need to say it. If you don't shoot, you don't score goals. Socrates, back to goal. Oh, Yashin. With a hand, just to palm that one out for a corner. And it comes. Front post flick on, no?
He's going to keep it in. Salah's got the pace.
Oh, no. Out for a goal kick. It's one of them, isn't it? When it's not in your favour, it's just not happening.
Yeah, needs something big right now. Need a bit of individual magic, you could say. Whether it comes from Ranners or Zach Moore. That's a blatant push at the back from Lucas Hernandez, but he's going to get away with it.
As we said, they're on the back of a heartache against
2-3-2s, weren't it?
Yeah, 2-3-2s in the 88th, 90th minute as well. Like, these guys can score goals.
What a header from Baggio.
To R9, the most expensive player in this team. Veron, oh, that's a cheeky chip, and again he's onside.
It's a good goal. It's a
Beautiful
very, very
football.
good goal.
There we go. There's a bit of communication.
Fair Perry getting up for this game. Lovely bit of play in and around the box. Baggio won the first header. You see the two formations. One team's playing the 4-2-3-1 standard. One team's playing the 4-2-3-1, the second variation, where the left and right mid just slowly push further up with creating left cam and right cam. Gives you a little bit more diversity up top. You saw it there. Baggio won the header to R9. Bale joining the attack.
And you've got to say, those two centre-halves for Roman Fanatic, Varane and Blanc, two decent players.
Meta centre-halves, yeah. And you come up against Nestor and Boateng.
And they're being pulled apart all over the shop.
The guys on the desk questioned Boateng and said, is he good enough? Alaba as well. He's not really the level that he was in previous FIFAs, doesn't have the pace, doesn't have the physicality, but the attacking prowess.
They're doing superb at the moment.
The attacking prowess of Army, I think they've had 4 shots on target and scored 4 goals.
I'm sure, obviously, the PlayStation guys in Damien Zimmer will be watching this one.
Fabinho.
Ooh, about to save a little bit of hope there. And the guys at the screen spoke about Fabinho, and Fred, about how good these two players are. We haven't seen them.
Tell you what, Gareth Bale's just won that header and he's got about 35 metres into air.
We need to see a change though, with just what, 35 in-game minutes remaining for Fnatic to try and pull back a draw and set the PlayStation side up for a result at least, or get a point on the board. Fred will go long. Not the nicest football.
Yashin's playing volleyball.
That's the punch! Oh! Jeez.
You thought that would go in, didn't you, Brandon?
Not for words. I thought that was going to hit the bar and go in.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Army right now, I'm saying, Yashin, pull your finger out. What do you think you're doing? It's punched the ball into the air for no apparent reason.
Hasn't gone back in to the correct position he would have wanted to defend his goal. And Mohamed Salah, he scored a bicycle kick, obviously something that's been toned down since the recent
finish.
There we go, well done. An important goal for Roma Fnatic, first time finesse.
As soon as that ball rolled into him.
And a little smile from Ranners, finally. Back on it, they know there's a chance.
You knew that Hazard was going to open up his body and try and just curl it into that bottom corner, and he did. Perfectly.
I think the best thing you can do in a situation like this, Richard, is get another goal straight away.
That's what they might be doing.
They do win a corner. And they've got some big players forward who can potentially win that, including Jerome Boateng, that you can see. Is that R9 that's being controlled as well? Into R9, it looks like it will go.
He actually timed it as well. He was looking for a timed header.
As David Alaba.
Nice strike from David Alaba. He has got a shot on him. I think he can actually play CDM as well. That's one of his preferred positions.
For Bayern Munich.
Centre-back as well.
Full-back. Yeah, he can. He might be a few different items over the years as well.
Centre-back, yeah. Extremely expensive because of his high pace.
Thomas Munier as well, a really good player.
6'3", wins the headers, good physicality, good pace as well. And if you are an ultimate team, gets that strong link into Mbappe down that right-hand side. You often see the 4-5-1 right back, right mid, Munier Mbappe partnership.
There's Baggio there trying to find a way through to R9. Went for a really interesting last 20 minutes, especially if Fnatic can get themselves a goal.
It's asking a lot of Bale, but he has got that pace in his locker.
Hernandez there was just a little bit too far. Neymar, do not give it to him. Going to say, please don't give a penalty for that. Makalele inside, back to goal, and it's Not the most interesting finish. It's a bit of a scrappy one. But if it goes in the back of the net, who really cares?
It's poor from Roma, though. It's very poor from Roma Fnatic. Just the way that they give the ball away there. They're trying to play out from the back. Seems just a little bit like, oh, this game's finished, just move on. But
slight change there, 4-3-3, Hadji on.
You don't like the way that they're playing, that's all.
They're just waiting to see if Fnatic are going to make a change.
3 goals in 20 minutes.
We've seen it happen, but
highly doubtful. Still in a 4-2-3-1. Roma Fnatic.
And Hadji is on. A sloppy goal, though. And back into the suspension against them. Maybe we're going to see a change.
Tell you one player in that Army team who's been very good. Claudio Makelele, the prime icon.
Both of them in that CDM.
Not the tallest of players. Makelele is 5'9", I think.
And not the most popular of icons.
Among the, if you've got an unlocked account, is Makelele ever on going into your team?
Choosing them.
No. Vieira, Hullet, Mateus potentially, Seedorf, they're the players who's going in.
And the one thing I'm looking forward to as well is these guys that play in this tournament, when they go away, when they go and play in some other majors throughout the year, which of these icons they'll be taking with them? We shall have to wait and see. Is there going to be a reply? If we had to time down these goals, a goal 78th?
78th, 83rd, 88th.
I'll say even 85th.
Winner in the 92nd.
Time.
Is it going to happen?
We shall see it. First time we've really seen a team pull apart their formation and tactics, as they know something needs to change. Ball to the back post. Oh, nearly.
Tried squeezing it in with Hadji.
The icon that's just been substituted on.
Fresh.
If it stays like this, it'll be the first win on the board for Army. A really important win. It would put them level on points with Nordavind, whoever they've still got to play in the final game against Manchester City and Epsilon, who are currently unbeaten in this tournament. Whether it comes down to a bit of game management now from Army. The 78's gone. At the minute I was predicting. Giving away again, you can't really do too much there.
Just don't think it's going to happen at the minute for Roma. It's almost like they've had the car in the snow in the winter, and they've not had the de-icer out. It's just not. They've not got going.
You never fail to surprise me, Mr. Richard Buckley, of some of the brilliant quotes you come out. That's why I love working with you. Back to goal. Rowe, just rushed it. Does get a corner though. This is it. In it goes. Someone's got to win it, Hadji.
Yoshino's not caught anything.
He's done the job there though.
Yeah,
just jump up, throw it on it. Just over 16 game minutes to go now. I really don't think we're going to be seeing a comeback. And this could be a huge statement for Army.
Not only that, but Fnatic. This will be 3 games played, 0 points.
3 games played and it will be 3 losses.
Yeah.
The PlayStation boys will really need to start to try and pick that up.
You're asking questions, are we using the right roster for Gfinity? Did we draft correctly? Have we picked the right players in the auction for the players? You've got lots of questions that need answering.
Also, remember, they've still got an extra week on Army. Oh, this is Army's
That's
third
only a
week.
max 6 points.
They need a win, don't get me wrong. Army, on the other hand, though, this is kind of a must-win fixture for them. This will be their 3rd week in the competition. They'll have one more
Neymar's on skill show.
Play. Oh, Neymar, he's looking for a 4th. Goes out for a throw, and it's just a case of showboating now from Neymar.
Fake Rabona into a roulette, into a La Croqueta.
It's all smiles for Army. And why wouldn't it be when you're winning 5 goals to 2, playing some incredible FIFA R9? Not too sure what that was.
I think that might be a scoop turn.
But you can make these mistakes when you're in front and you've ensured you got 5 goals. Hill to hill. Neymar. Ball roll 2. Oh, everything's coming out. Added time of 3 minutes. Hadji.
I thought that got in for a second.
I was going to say that the goalkeeper, the camera on the
just
goalkeeper,
didn't seem interested.
He just stopped. You have to say 3 points on the board, and the important 3 points for Army on this Xbox leg. They just haven't been at the races. Zach Moore and Ranners. First half, maybe, just about, but when you concede a hat-trick to Neymar, who's been unstoppable in this game, 3 points on the board for Army, a huge win for those guys. Perry and Hassan get the job done.
And who would have predicted that going into this game? 5-2. What a performance from Army. Handshakes all round, but those two guys must be feeling so confident. Perry is going to play on the PS4 now.
He is indeed.
He could carry this performance on.
And the good thing about these two is, Hassan, he came in last week, he played against Manchester City, and maybe that loss, as you say, Richard, it's never a loss, it's a lesson.
Wins and lessons, not wins and losses. And Perry looking to carry this momentum on onto the PS4. Dami and Zimmy with a massive job to do.
A massive job indeed. And at the moment, Fnatic, who won the Elite Series, currently sits in Group B at the bottom on 0 points. They need to win this one. And we've said what we thought about that game. What about you guys at the desk?
You have said what you thought about that game, and I enjoyed it very much. Thank you very much, Brandon and Richard. I reckon Roma Fnatic keep hearing us say they were the champions last season. It must be grating on them right now. When you look at the results that have come in so far for Group B, you're looking at that. The first result in, ASOS ROG Army, thank you. They decided they'd have a party with Neymar getting that hat-trick in the first half, 5-2. We go into the PS4 game, still with a matchup with Nordavin versus Man City Epsilon. The goals came thick and fast, didn't they?
They did indeed, and as you said there, obviously Fnatic were champions last series, but it's a different format. This season it is different, and that's what we have to remember. It isn't the same game, 2 versus 2, and there Neymar putting that right down. Honestly, ASOS ROG Army looked so good. I thought Fnatic were going to come out and this was the time to shine, but ASOS ROG Army just looked so good.
Well, they look like a unit, a team. Me and Trout were talking about that. Oh, what a finish there. A Neymar free kick, beautiful. Yes, you did that. Well done you. That's the translation there. But Chris, talking about the team that live together, practice together, you'd expect them to be getting better results at this stage, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think that's kind of overlooked in some ways, is the fact that the Roma Fnatic guys live together and they actually get to practice this 2v2 format quite regularly. I think what's impressive from Army's point of view is the fact that it wasn't just one of those games where they got 1 or 2 goals and then it started to kind of snowball and they were sloppy goals. They're all very well-worked goals and very impressively. Look at that, that's just perfection, quite frankly. I don't say that too often, Tom, but
you don't, and I can assure anybody who's new to the Elite Series,
I don't say that very often.
Throw out compliments willy-nilly.
They were just fantastically worked goals, and they looked miles better this week. And I'm not sure what's going on with Fnatic. Maybe the 2v2 format doesn't suit them. Maybe their pairings aren't quite working out, and they're on different kind of pages. But it wasn't their day.
Chris Trout is a man who will pick up on slapdash performances. Now, I will say this, ASOS ROG Army looked very strong in the first week, but just I feel like they're looking more of a settled team. Now, we haven't seen their PS4 game, but if they play like that perfection, maybe they're sort of underdogs to going further in this competition.
Yeah, definitely. As you've seen there, they're on 4 points now. They get another win or even a draw, they go into joint second or above. Obviously it's hashtags bye week this week, but they're creeping up. They are creeping up there if they can get another win. But look how tight that is. AS Roma Fnatic need a win to stay in this race because it looks like it's going away from them. But maybe they'll get it. We'll see.
OK, I'd like to hear from their manager. I believe he's in a Domino's den right now with Lauren. What has he got to say for himself?
He is. I feel like we need to have like a little bit of like a therapy session right now. Let's talk about it. Let's get it off our chest. You had a few moments where you were literally watching like through your hands then. What's gone wrong?
To be honest, I think in week 1, we played really well. It was just a case of a few things didn't go our way. Today, we just made a lot of mistakes. I think that we played really poorly and there's no other way, no excuses. I think that just they were better on the day.
Yeah, and yeah, that's the thing. We need to give Army their dues. They played well, didn't they? Yeah,
that 4th goal especially was like ridiculous. To have the vision to see those passes, those are the kind of moments in 2v2 where it kind of makes the difference, and that kind of made the difference for them today.
And we chatted just briefly. How is the 2x2 affecting you guys?
We thought that we would do really well, obviously, with having the extra practice time, but it seems like maybe the duos aren't working as well as you might have thought they would, so we might see some shifting around in the coming weeks, just to try and, light a spark, as we saw last season, right, when we had Poacher wasn't playing that well, we put in Ranners, and that kind of sparked our season to where we shot up to closer to the top of the table, so hopefully we'll see a similar thing this season.
Still all to play for. We're going to head over now to the game. Richard, Brandon, what's going on?
Thank you very much, Lauren, and you heard it there from Kojo. Time to start picking up results for Fnatic and AS Roma, or, as Kojo said, we're going to see some changes with these duos.
Yeah, I think pretty much guaranteed that we are going to see change on the Xbox side of things, because that's been two lackluster performances, you could say, on that side of things. The PS4, Dami and Zimmer, this is their time to shine, really.
Going into it, you would say this is probably one of the, a word we like to use a lot is stacked. Like,
stacked rosters.
Stacked duo.
Yeah.
These two have played in tournaments. These two
won tournaments.
They have played, in their own countries. Like Zimmer, he's playing for the nation in FIFA esports. Dabi, probably named one of the best Polish FIFA players right now.
Not even one of the, he's arguably the best Polish, but he's one of the top players in the world on the PS4 side of things as well. We're going to see a direct free kick here.
We've seen one like this before.
Fair Perry, up and over.
David De Gea just about got himself there. Referee, I don't think what happened there. I think that was Makalele on the floor. But if you have just joined us, Army won that last game 5-2. Their first win in the Elite Series. Fnatic on no points at the moment. Remember, they did win it. We hate to keep saying that they won the Elite Series, but when you're looking at favourites or people that have won these kind of tournaments before, you look at that LAN experience, and for example, someone like Zimmer, you're asking him to step up now. Step up for your organisation.
Yeah, step up and be accounted for. This Fnatic roster right now. ASOS Rogue Army are going to take your spot in the top 3 if you're not careful.
And it is Roma Fnatic from right to left in that yellow strip as they come forward now. Finesse from Hazard, just wide.
Yeah, you usually see that nestle in the bottom corner. Couple of inches left of the post on this occasion from that player of the month, Eden Hazard. Cannot be acquired anymore, actually, in the game, as the newly player of the month, Aubameyang, available for the next 16 days, I want to say.
Safe to say, points are needed on the board. Fnatic and Roma, and I've got to say, these two, they were playing against each other earlier on in the week.
Turned the wrong way.
In a FIFA tournament. These two in a final against each other in the West Ham tournament. Now they're playing as a team. And with that house, you've got to say, there's got to be benefits there. You're living in a house, you're in the same environment as your teammates all the time. The opportunities to play with each other when you look at other organisations, such as Army. Hassan lives in the UK, Fair Perry in Spain. You can only play online.
Yeah, it's very true. Maybe the breakdown of communication might have been a good thing. They're just playing the game. It's all natural instinct, you could say. But also, you're not going to get on top of each other, are you? If we speak a completely different language.
Here is that Army side. And it is Chacham, I believe, is the pronunciation of that man. On the PlayStation side, playing with Fair Perry. Fair Perry plays on both consoles. Again, another great example was drafting him with hashtag last year. And
didn't play a minute.
Yeah, he didn't play a minute. Played against them a week or it was the first week, wasn't it? They didn't get the result they wanted.
I think they got a point.
But I think they drew the second one on PlayStation. The first game they lost 4-2 in that one. Obviously, hashtag not here tonight. And Eva is Dream Team gaming. As we know, each team does get a week off from competing. Fnatic had theirs last week, and they're back now in a situation where they really need to pick up a win.
A recovery header right there, because it looked like he could have been in.
These aren't playing with any teams. They're playing with some huge names, huge players, huge icons.
Yes, if this is the first time you've ever watched Gfinity here in Season 4, no team can use the same player. You have to use different players. There was an auction and you put in a blind bid for a certain player. So, for example, if Rogue Army wanted Ronaldo, R9, they put in a set amount of money. It was 201 million.
Which they did win. I don't know if that was the only bid, because I don't think anyone was going to be competing with that. Obviously, he's in that team. And we haven't seen a first half hat-trick this time. Well, that's a mistake at the back. Oh, he's offside. Keeper was off his line as well. If he was through, you're going to be thinking a chip would be coming out. Potentially, that could have been...
Or just open up and just slide it past him with a finesse shot.
1-0 to Roman Fnatic there. Not the same start as we saw last game. See two Spanish players playing here. And Dami, a Polish player, Swedish player in Zimmer.
Look how far he's off his line again. Yashin.
I don't know who's pulling him off the line now.
They might both be doing it. One person might be tapping it a little bit, then the other person might be tapping it.
Maybe they want a finesse from distance, because sometimes
if
you can mark it well, you're not always going to be in that much danger.
Free kick?
Is that an offside or a free kick? We're on in the book. I don't think he was involved in that one at all. It was Neymar. Oh, he's gone for a corner then. R9, watch R9. Just see with the yellow cursor on his head. He's going to move him round so he can get in position for the perfect header. He's there. And
good hands for De Gea. Come out, claim that one. And a good kick out as well.
Fred.
That's Socrates. Mohamed Salah.
There's the ball. If he can find it. Oh, there it was. It was Hazard making that run.
Alessandro Nesta at the back.
Just watch Raul. You can just see he's being controlled. It goes into the box. Too easy again. It's just in that area. I think both players are reading it. Fred on the edge of the box. Hit it. Why not? Went for a finesse. It was blocked. Hazard on the rebound. And it's going to go in. A huge goal for Fnatic there. Yeah, straight back to business for those two.
Not only in this game, but in the potential storyline of the entire Gfinity Elite Series, they might finish in third by 1 point. This might be the point that they get if they can get a draw from this game. If they get 3 points from this game,
win it, you've got to be sure on the PlayStation side they're keeping their places.
Yep.
That'll be their first win on the board. Potentially one of their most convincing victories if it continues in this fashion. But they have looked really strong. They come forward again now. Lovely ball. He play it across. Mohamed Salah. Oh, ball roll or two. He just wanted to simplify and play back inside. You saw what he wanted to do, then it's just gone out for a goal kick.
Thought it could be a corner.
It looked close. Added time to come. Seconds remain. Currently 1-0 as we go into the half-time break. Looking forward to seeing these stats. Who's really had a shot? I don't think Army's had too many. Half-time between the two.
A much better performance from Fnatic
they can
at half-time.
They can have a smile because currently
they're in the driver's seat.
They are. Just slightly there.
They seem quite comfortable at the minute. Not really too much pressure on them from ASOS Rogue Army. They've changed formation of ASOS. They were playing a 4-2-3-1 last game. They're in a 4-3-3 right now, with Bale, Salah, and R9 being that front three.
Too defensive here as well from one of these two teams.
Yeah, that will be a different change of tactic. They've probably got a different formation set up for ultra defensive, defensive, attacking, ultra attacking.
As we know in FIFA 19 now, the custom tactics have gone to a different level. You can actually see exactly what you're changing, whether it's constant pressure, press on a heavy touch, press after possession lost, and then obviously attacking as well, you know, fast build up, the width of your formations. As you said, a defensive formation and an attacking formation. And these pros will know it like the back of their hand.
Just trying to force that pass through the gap there. It wasn't really on. He just tried stabbing it through.
Hazard. To Hernandez, who's going to be pulling himself out of position. Atletico Madrid left back. Oh, lovely. Mohamed Salah now in a dangerous position. Can he whip it in? Hill to hill. All the way, goes across. Yashin, he's not the tallest of keepers, so he had to get a hand on that. If there's anyone at the back post, I think it was Hazard that could have been lurking around there.
Tell you what, Yashin's handling in the box has been very poor. He's just been clawing at things. No real conviction when he's coming out and grabbing.
David Alaba. Oh, that's a mistake. These are the chances that Fnatic have to take. There's the through ball. I don't think he even wanted to play it to him.
One of those players is way offside.
Salah. Space on the edge of the box.
Finesse.
Oh, there we go.
Good movement of the goalkeeper, just to pull him a little bit to the left.
And just to kind of calm that shot down completely. A rush through ball there from Army. And you can see the difference in the duo here, can't you, completely? Jetchum and obviously Furperi, both Spaniards, both probably communicating in Spain together, probably communicating more. They don't seem like they're working together as well. Ball across the box, chip it. There's a free header if he can get there. Yes, he can.
Got to think that's the game wrapped up. 60 minutes gone. We've only got a third left of this one.
And we said about a statement.
Good leap at the back post from Socrates. 6'4" of him.
A new icon for FIFA 19. The Brazilian, and I'm sure Kojo will be watching the crowd and he'll be happy with that. He's got a reaction from the players that did quite a lot for him last season as well.
Baggio coming off for Hadji for this ASOS Rogue Army team.
And this is one about these custom tactics you can see here. Pressure on the heavy touch, depth is slightly different.
You see the width,
up possession,
players in
balance.
box.
Where are we going?
Just look at the players in the box.
The only
2
problem
ticks
with
off
that
full.
is everybody's full.
Yep.
Are they all going to get back at the same time as well?
We saw it last year with the numbers, players like Sihan. What he'd do, he'd be 1-0 down. If it 60 minutes gone, everything will be to 100. It would just go and go and go. If he lost 2-3-0, what is it? It's still a loss. He didn't really care. But if he got back into the game, completely different game.
And there's that chance, R9. Though I still stick to this and say, obviously, week 2, mate, saw a little bit more from him. But week 1, we didn't really see much of R9. It's one of those, like, I don't know if it's a factor that when you pay that much money for a player, you expect so much and you try and make your plays all around him. But, like, for me, I just don't feel like maybe they force it too much. He just hasn't really done much.
Yeah, sometimes when you get a player of that quality, you try and force the ball to him, you try and give it to him over and over again.
You expect a lot from him as well. And you would at 96 rated. Probably the best icon going forward. Heung-min Son. Bit of confidence there from the Fnatic boys going forward.
Yeah, a little bit risky from David Alaba trying to pass through a man. I found that a lot tonight. Players trying to play out from the back. Sometimes just
seems like a struggle.
Put your foot through it. When you've got someone like R9 who is good in the air, who can win a header, you've got Bale up top as well, who's very good in the air. If you ping it long, you can win a knockdown.
Well, here's R9. Oh, he's done really well. Outside the boot. That one in. He may be starting to live up to his cost.
Is in. Salary's going to get that.
But as we know, these are the tactics that are being put in by Army. They're trying to go forward, and if they can counter that, Roman Fnatic, they can potentially get themselves back in front. 3-0 up. Just over 15 in-game minutes remain now. Oh, lovely ball. Bale to Neymar.
Real nice cushion touch from Bale, just to flick it round him.
It was red, though, too easy. He's won it back, though, Neymar. Who's making that run?
Trying
didn't
to force
know,
it into
did not know
R9
where he
again.
wanted to go there. It was either R9 or Hadji, I believe, who's been subbed on.
What a tackle from Nesta.
And they have been impressive, Fnatic. It hasn't been... It's just been one of those performances. Get in, get the job done, get us some points.
Get in, get the job done,
because
come out.
Yeah, we need points at the moment. We've got a reputation to live up to.
You have the whole Romanian pauses to make changes.
I think that could have been Army.
Yeah.
Desperate to make a change. Here's R9 Ronaldo. Can he win the pace battle? Sorry, yes he can. R9. There it is. Head up. Oh yes, just about.
Game on.
Gareth Bale, you said he can jump up. You said he can leap up and score a header. We have got potentially a really interesting last 10 minutes here.
Yeah, and Fnatic were just trying to keep the ball in the corner a little bit. They could have whipped it into the box on numerous occasions.
And if you look on paper, Richard, Fnatic, when he gets to stages like this, they panic a little bit.
That's a corner.
It looks like Army have just panicked instead there. Corner given. Can be played straight in to that front post again. Yashin just jumps up and throws anything at it, doesn't he? If you can try and get a claw on it. I just feeling like it's going to be that one more chance for Army here to get themselves a point. And if that does happen, Fnatic and Roma are going to be kicking themselves. 2-0 up in cruise control.
Yeah, Yashin reminds me a bit like a grabber claw that used to go to amusements. Like, he just never got onto it. He never latched onto anything.
Never collected
it. Just
did
slid
he?
out all the time.
You think he's going to collect it, and instead just threw an arm at it, just parried it, or drop the ball.
The more it happens, the more you get annoyed.
He's just got to hold on, though, and not concede this attack where it would be game over. But I like this from Fnatic and Roma. They know they need the points. Keep the ball in the final third.
Go into the corner if you need to.
And if you want to make the perfect chance, oh, Salah, really well done. If he went out on that left foot again, he could have had a finesse. Still in attack, though, for Roma Fnatic. Possession's changed hands, though.
If Fnatic throw away this lead,
they're going to be really disappointed. Heung-min Son, they're in possession. They should be fine here. They should be home and dry if they can continue to keep the ball. Just don't lose it. Just don't lose the ball.
All the way back to the goalkeeper.
You can see how desperate they want this win. these points on the board.
Tell you what, if De Gea would have done a bad kick there.
It's one of them, isn't it? You think the worst. Here we go.
That's game over.
It should be game over. This should be points on the board for Fnatic. And Roma Heung-min-song sealing the deal.
3-1, signed, sealed and delivered. Heung-min Son delivering the goods, but more importantly, Dami and Zimmer, the two most experienced players on this roster, coming in clutch when they need to and picking up a massive 3 points for Roma.
And that is it, Richard. Fnatic and Roma, the first points on their board. They're in Group B after being champions last year. If Koju had to rely on 2 people to pull out a result, it would be these two. Really impressive, 2-0 up, looked so comfortable for a really long period in that game. Went through maybe 10-15 minutes where I was even a little bit worried for them, but that's the experience of playing these LAN events, living together in that Fnatic house. And congratulations to those guys.
Yeah, these are your 2 reliable players. You put them in when you need points, and they've delivered. 3 points on the ball for Roma, and it's the start to defending their crown.
Done really, really well, and you can just see there, AS Rogue Army, 3 points to those guys when they need it. They're going to be on 4 points now, and Fnatic will be on 3 points. Tom and the guys, how did you see that one?
Thank you very much, Brandon and Richard. Well, living in a house together, someone has to pay the bills, don't they? Has to do the admin, and they no? Someone had to put the rubbish out.
Stop encouraging it.
No? Cheers, Carl. Right then, let's look at the result and what that does for things. As you can see, a 5-2 loss for AS Roma Fnatic. And then in the second match on the PS4, ASOS Rogue Army getting a taste of their own medicine, really, from that first game. The goals came thick and fast. How did you find it, gentlemen?
Well, I'm just so happy that now they've got 3 points on the board, AS Roma Fnatic, because it means that at the bottom of that group, it is getting a little bit exciting. We saw there's a little sigh of relief. They looked up to the heavens and they thought, thank you that went in. And they didn't stop going, just there. Socrates there with that goal. And that it just continues throughout the game. They dominated.
I think that's Socrates' 4th goal as well so far in the Elite Series. I mean, you heard Brandon Richard, 6'4", that man. Does have quite the leap on him. There was a chance, though, for Army to get back into it, but unfortunately for them, they just couldn't hold the ball, get the ball at the end, because Fnatic were holding the ball so well. I'm impressed with both sides going forward. They look phenomenal. Some weak points in defence that need to be tightened up, but that's expected in 2v2.
I thought it was a bit backwards in that game from Army. The defending wasn't as solid as it was in the first game. Kind of a typical game from Dami and Zimmer, what we've become accustomed to seeing from them in the Elite Series and in FIFA in general. Just very clinical when given their opportunities and very solid all round.
Group B table as it stands, I told you, ignore Man City Epsilon for the rest of the day. I said that, you all laughed at me, because it's back and forth. Who will take over #United? Can Nordavind do it? They are taking on Man City Epsilon next. Now, gentlemen, the creme de la creme are coming on. They have not dropped any points. By the way, that's done and dusted now. We've done with Roma Fnatic. They've got their 3 points. They picked them up. Congratulations to them. And ASOS Rogue Army will feel a little bit like they've lost those points in the second game when they did so dominantly in the first. But, gentlemen, Man City Epsilon, what do Nordavind need to do to beat this team?
I don't know if there is anything. We've seen them absolutely dominate, just like Man City have done as well in the Premier League. The Shark team, they have been dominant throughout, and I can't see them being beat. I made that statement before. I don't know what Nordavind can do to come in and actually defeat them. As you can see, first up, Connor and Mentz. They've looked great together, and I think they're going to carry that on.
Yeah, Gabri comes in for Nordavind to join Chnewa. That's how he wanted me to pronounce it, and that is how I will pronounce it. Xbox. It's an interesting one all night, you know, to get that first result settles them, or as we saw with ASOS Rogue Army, you get that win and then you might be a bit complacent in a second.
I mean, they can really open up this group if they can take down Epsilon. What do they have to do? Dito isn't here for Man City Epsilon. Maybe that's an opportunity in the PS4 side of things. Gabri has been plagued with issues for getting here to the Elite Series, so it's great that he's able to turn up. Maybe he can bring some heat for Nordavind here. As you can see, no Dito. Mentz is going to be playing on the PS4 with Gotsuri.
Ooh, a bit of a loss for Epsilon, having that change, Mentz coming in, or, you know?
Oh yeah, massively. I mean, Dito is a fantastic player in his own right, and he's, you know, former champion. He's a class act as well, just a very calculated player when he plays, and I think that, you know, losing someone like that can obviously affect the team, and if he's kind of settled in and gelled well with his teammates, it could be quite difficult to replace that. But having said that, this is an opportunity for Mentz to really step up and show why he's in this Man City Epsilon team and show what he's made of.
OK, well, listen, beautiful words to end on there, Mr. Trout. You can be positive. I love this. Listen, let's welcome out Nordevin. For them, you've got Gabri and Schneewa on the Xbox and Denny and Diego Pixito on the PS4.
The moment is here and you better stand up. It's time. You better stand up. It's time.
You are the Solstice Schneewa. How do you feel? This is your chance now to overtake #United for second place.
Yep, we know that Epsilon is the favorite for this game. We are ready, we have no pressure. We are excited.
Yeah, no, Man City Epsilon concede a lot of goals. Does this give you confidence that you can just relax and play your normal game plan?
Not at all, because every game is different.
Okay.
So we have to take the game game by game.
Okay.
So we will see.
All right, well, next up, you're going to be taking it on. So, best of luck to the boys of Nordevin. They've got it all to do. So we will welcome out Man City Epsilon. They've not dropped any points. On the Xbox, we have Connor and Mentz. And on the PS4, we have Mentz and Gotsuri. Look at this. 3 is the magic number. Here you are. Gotsuri, how are you feeling about today's match with Nordevin?
We are really looking forward for the match. We are confident right now, and I hope we win.
Okay. People are asking, where's Dito this week? Are you worried about his loss, or Mentz at the end? He's given a bit of banter already, or it doesn't matter because you've got Mentz to fill in.
Yeah, we'll see tonight. Mentz is a good player. Of course, Dito is missing. I think everyone needs a Dito in his team, or could need a Dito in his team, but I think Mentz is a good player, so we'll do good.
He's making a little prayer sign at the end. Yeah, I am a good player. Well, listen, Mentz, best of luck for you and for the Epsilon Man City lineup. Take it away, and in the meantime, I'm going to head up to the touchscreen and let's look at their squads in a little bit more detail.
Let's look at that shark, though, first. I mean, where's this come from? Explain yourself. What's going on?
So Manchester City was so dominant that Benjamin Mendy brought it in and he actually said that with a shark team, we keep on hunting. And that is what I feel like these boys have been doing. Nordevin have got it all to do. They've got to try and become the bigger shark.
So much Man City.
Are they going to do it?
Right now. And I'm going to start off by looking at Nordevin because I want to talk about them a little bit. And one big player for them, of course, Lionel Messi. He performed last week for them. Let's have a look at how they're going to line up as well. And there goes the shark. You didn't see it at home, but he's disappeared right now as we see the lineup. And the 2 up top were impressive, but Thierry Henry in the middle. 3 goals for him last week. What a player.
What a card, what a player. I think he's going to be the key. If Nordevin are going to beat Man City, this is going to be the player that can do it right there. Linking up with Messi, linking up with Suarez as well. Hopefully he can do that. Looking at these past goals here, you'll see he's just so good.
He is, and it was left foot, right foot in the air. You see him here getting in front of the man just there. And I mean, that for all people, that's Virgil van Dijk that he's got in front of there. And we all know how strong that foot item is. And we'll see him there hovering around the edge of the box as well. Number 9 at the moment. Messi with some great work down the wing. And you can see the ball just across. Just think back. Who's at the back post? Thierry Henry. He's 6'3", 6'2".
Yeah,
he's taller than you think, isn't he?
He knows where to be and when to be there. He's a natural goal scorer in real life and on the game as well. And look at that ball again. That link-up play with Messi was brilliant. Imagine those two could play in real life. We don't need to do that because we're going to watch them do it tonight.
That's very, very true. Now let's have a look at Man City Epsilon, Kyle. Go on, we'll give you it here. And 100 million on Ronaldinho. He's been pretty strong so far. Mbappe has been pretty impressive for them as well. But one player I think that we have to highlight is Aubameyang in midfield because he's just got, literally, I think it's today, that Player of the Month card. And if you haven't seen that card, oh my.
It's so special, and he's going to be someone that is going to really, really impress this evening. Kante, Ballack, Mbappe, Zola, Ronaldinho. It's exciting, but Aubameyang, that new card, if that goes out there, then maybe we're going to see the domination from the Shark team once again.
And that's the thing, isn't it? When in this auction process, you've got to look ahead, you've got to think, who are these players that are going to pick up inform cards? You know, it's not just what's happening right now. We've got a long season ahead of us here at the Elite Series. And when a player like that, your striker goes and picks up a Player of the Month card and you're just like, nice. Like,
yes.
That's a nice thing to add into my squad. It's always going to make you feel good. So they're the 2 squads that are going to be going up against each other today. Lauren, how are the players feeling?
Let's find out with the help of my friendly shark friend. What is this about? Go on, hold him.
I don't even know. I think it's something to do with Benjamin Mendy, I think.
They've been floating around the audience all evening long. Tell me about this, Mens. Why?
It's a bad idea, but it's for my bro, friends, player Benjamin Mendy. It's his team, track team, you know.
It's so weird. It's so weird, but do bring more of them because we do like him. Nordavind boys, how is it going? Do you think you might be able to take a few points from the Epsilon boys?
We hope so.
Oh, come on, hope so? We need more than hope so. It's week 3. Do you think you're going to be able to do it?
I think we are the underdogs, so we can do it.
You can do it. I like the seriousness. I'm going to go and play with the shark, but right now, over to the casters.
Thank you very much, Lauren. I love the underdog. We all love an underdog, and what a story it would be here. Obviously, Epsilon Man City, perfect so far in the Elite Series. Nothing but 3 points for them in every single game they've played, but Nordavind, they're going to be looking to be the Sharks today, Dan.
Yeah, well, Tom keeps saying that this group, how hot and spicy it is. Well, Nordavind have that opportunity to make it even more fiery. It's great to see Gabri here. As I said, plagued with visa issues, being able to get here to the Gfinity Elite Series. He even missed out, I think, either Manchester or Amsterdam last year. He qualified for, couldn't attend that one because of visa issues as well. So that man has been tormented by problems and trouble. Now he's finally here. Maybe he can make his moment, make his stamp on the UK.
What you've got. That's what we want to know. Show me what you've got is what I want to say to you. But anyway, we're looking at. We have to talk about the other side of things, Dan, of course, don't we? We have to talk about the boys who have firmly placed the market down as the favourites so far for the Gfinity Elite Series. Those two men on your screen obviously will be on the Xbox side of things. To start with, I mean, it's going to be a difficult uphill battle because they've just been so dominant. But no Dito this week.
No Dito, but you do have Connor, a.k.a. Keys. He was 61st in the world with FUT Champs in October. 110 and 10, of course, prefers his Xbox. But he's got Ments on his side. Ments is going to be interesting seeing him play on both consoles.
Yeah, it's a PlayStation player predominantly.
Exactly. He's had a lot of French qualification success. Maybe no huge achievements yet. That's the key thing. He's looking good in FIFA 19.
Well, here we go. Then you can see in the background the game is ready to go. The two teams are lining up. It's going to be Nordavind in the white, shooting from left to right. And it's going to be Epsilon Man City. Surprise, surprise, Dan, in the Man City kit. And they're going to be playing from right to left.
And the pause coming out already, probably just to get rid of those trainer tips. I imagine these players don't need to know how to press the A button to ground pass. But for now, they can just ignore it and try and get a goal on the board as Modric has the ball on outside of the box and he's just going to have a little dribble, see if he can find any space here.
Ooh, tried to feed that ball into the middle. You saw Thierry Henry, fresh off the back of 3 goals last week, looking to get in on the action early here in the first game. Here on the Xbox, Maradona now into Petit and a little bit of space out wide here for Modric. Lovely little La Croquita to gather himself a little bit of space. Matuidi now squeezes the ball through to Maradona, but his fellow Argentine there, Javier Zanetti, a battle of the generations there. He wins the ball back.
This is the scary thing going forward now for Epsilon. You were looking at their lineup, and one thing it didn't show in their lineup, Mark, was Dennis Bergkamp. He was on the bench, but they've played him every week. He's been able to get 2 goals thus far alongside Ronaldinho's 4 goals. So we're really going to be looking at those two to make the difference here as Bergkamp does regain the ball, but he gives it away.
Yeah, Bergkamp obviously used a lot by Goal Machine, probably most famously last year on his impressive introduction to the competitive FIFA scene back in FIFA 18. Stuck with him, was comfortable with him, but a lot of pros using him this year so far, but it's going to be the game stop momentarily there. 4-2-2 coming in here from Nordavind. It worked earlier for Method. They'll be looking to repeat the dosage.
And you were talking about that Aubameyang and, of course, his Player of the Month card. I don't think they do have it available in this game in particular. When I saw them loading it up, it was just his normal golden card. Unfortunately, I am so excited to see that come into play maybe next week, though, as I'm sure the players are too. He can make a huge difference. Was it 96 pace that man has?
He's quick off the mark for sure. And another man who's quick off the mark, of course, is Kylian Mbappe, who's going to be playing on the left of, I believe it's a 4-2-3-1 with, I think Ronaldinho is actually slotted in up top there for Epsilon Man City. But a chance here. Messi looking for that left foot. The ball falls. Thierry Henry with a strike and Thibaut Courtois. Welcome to your first action of the game. Makes a big save, but it's a corner here for Nordavind.
Where are they going to put this one in? You can see that icon just floating around the box. Messi does chip it in, but Maradona of all people maybe should have stuck his hand up, might have gone in. But Petit is just going to be tackled outside the box here.
Dan, the savage today.
It still hurts.
It still hurts.
Not that I was alive when it happened, but it still hurts.
Ramos with a beautiful crossfield ball there to Zanetti. Aubameyang now plays it in behind Ronaldinho. As we know, 5-star skills, but unfortunately for him, As you can hear from the jeers from the crowd there, doesn't matter how many stars are alongside those statistics if you just run the ball out of play.
So we did see Messi get his first goal in the Elite Series last week. It was after that incredible 30-pass sequence that we analysed on the touchscreen, Mark. And Noordewind, they look like they're doing more the same with a lot of good passing work. But as I say that, Ronaldinho almost nipped up.
Well, that's going to be a very, very risky throw out there at Bergkamp. Oh, it's almost a repeat of what we saw last week. Bergkamp again with La Criquita on the edge of the box, gets it onto his right foot, maybe went across goal to try and see if the goalkeeper would move Handanovic there, but Handanovic, we saw how important goalkeeper manual control is so far for all of these pro players, and there he decided not to control that goalkeeper, and Handanovic repaid his faith with a big, big save.
Early possession was certainly going in Noordewind's way, but Epsilon now starting to work their way back into this game. As I say that, maybe a chance for Noordewind to try and regain a little bit of that possession stat. You can see they're more than happy to build this one from the back, looking for space in that central midfielder. Matuidi has it as he looks for Petit. And just back and forth, these two central defensive midfielders, Mark, they're more than happy to wait just for one of those CAMs to drop back and actually find a chance for the pass.
They're just looking for that run, looking for a player to come short maybe. Looking for that next phase of play, and it's that patience in that midfield area that is so difficult to replicate at home, because you always feel like you've got to try and score, you've got to try and force the issue, but these guys, so good and so experienced, are waiting for that opportunity to feed a ball in behind and almost playing on the concentration of their opponent.
It's very different with 2v2 as well, because your patience is often rewarded because your second player can just move off the ball and make that run that sometimes you're waiting for the AI to do for you. Instead, you can communicate that with your teammates. Say, I want you to go down the left wing, because Ronaldinho has a chance.
Yeah, great ball in behind. Matuidi gets just enough of Ronaldinho there, just to halt his progress as he had the space in behind. And now Noordewind going to be bringing this ball away. The crowd, as you can hear in game, they're roaring. They want to see a goal before half-time here. Ball given away, though. Dennis Bergkamp picks this one up. And Mbappe now picks up the return ball. Ronaldinho's running in behind. And Mbappe runs into Frank Rijkaard, though. However, Epsilon Man City keep the ball.
And you can see controlled in red, that was Maradona. He's just being brought back just to make sure he defends, not pulling any of these central defenders out of position. As I say that, you saw the switch again, the red icon. Sometimes you do have to go for manual defending. If you can do it perfectly, manual defending is, of course, the best way to go about things. We do see a lot of players nowadays relying on AI defending. It's not as easy to do in 2v2.
Ronaldinho then, little drag back, bit of space here for Ronaldinho, gets it on his right foot! Noordewind did not close down Ronaldinho, and the finesse shot is going to put the boys of Epsilon Man City up.
Tom asked Kyle, he said, how do you stop Epsilon? Well, I think stopping Ronaldinho is point number one. That's his 5th goal in the Elite Series. He really has been bang for buck. Well worth the money that they paid for him in the auction. And now Epsilon, they do have the lead. It's whether they're just, the floodgates, are they going to open here? Are they going to just pound in goal after goal?
Well, Thierry Henry might have something to say about that. Zanetti, though, he's been impressive so far in this game. He gets the interception, but Gulam wins it back now. Messi on the ball, looking to dictate play. Ball in now to Thierry Henry, drag back. Maradona now, dangerous here from Noordewind. Petit is an option. Petit is found, ball in towards the back post. Zanetti's jumping stat is terrible. Unfortunately, for the guys on Noordewind, it was just not bad enough.
And that's one thing you've got to do with this auction process. You've got to exploit the weaknesses in teams. Find where people are going to be struggling. Is it lack of pace in a right back? Is it lack of jumping in a centre back, for example? Find those exploits and take advantage of them.
DeMarcos now on the edge of the box, venturing forward from right back. Great sliding interception there from Michael Ballack in the midfield. Aubameyang just going to slow this down now, and Aubameyang using that pace to try and get in behind, but that's why you have Matuidi in your team there, Dan. Just to fill in when things are looking a little bit dangerous.
One thing that Noordewind are doing well is they are bringing that player back to look for space, to look for the pass. They're not just pushing them up the field all the time. They're making sure they're coming to the ball rather than running away from it.
Ball in behind here, and it's Luka Modric down this side of the pitch. Zanetti again in position to cut things out, and he's been the standout player, you have to say, so far. Epsilon Man City go into the break here, 1 to the good, and you can see Sir Alex behind them, giving them instructions in how to build
a boat out of matchsticks.
Are we allowed to call a Man City coach Sir Alex?
Hey, that's what he calls himself.
Surely that's against
his name.
everything that a United fan would ever want to happen.
Well, that's exactly why they've probably done it then.
Just to try and get in the heads of their opponents. But it's got to help having someone...
It's all psychological.
Having a third man behind you just to kind of watch, see where you're going wrong or where you're going right. Keep doing this, keep defending this way, or keep attacking that way. Epsilon Man City, they've been dominant all throughout this Elite Series. It looks like they are going to continue here today.
So, surprise, surprise, Epsilon Man City in a very familiar position as we enter the second half here on the Xbox side of things. Not missing Dito too much. He's, of course, a PlayStation player now. Bergkamp going to be dropped, but Matuidi got enough of the ball, but it's given away here. Aubameyang goes for the finesse on the left foot. Ronaldinho now, ball into the middle. Dennis Bergkamp doubles the lead. He didn't score many with his head back in the day, Dan, but there's one for the record books.
And that's his third as well.
You can do that, Dan.
This season I can, because I'm incredibly strong. Ronaldinho and Bergkamp are the only two goal scorers at the moment for Epsilon. Really utilising where they've spent their money, making sure they get players like Bergkamp into those positions. It was a little bit fortunate how that bit of play came about, but I said it last week quite a lot. Your best players are going to take advantage of those moments where you're not expecting to get the ball, knowing what to do with it in those incredibly close situations.
And interesting to see here, Luka Modric being taken off and Luis Suarez being brought on. Obviously, that informed Luis Suarez card. Very, very nice. Changed to 4-2-3-1 now.
Well, quite a few times they've had the ball outside the box with Modric, and I don't know whether they've just been reluctant to shoot with him. They're not confident in shooting stats, perhaps. So now they're going to go for something a little bit different. Suarez is just going to offer a little bit more flair up front, perhaps.
Four-star on Luis Suarez, of course, and now we're going to see him enter the play straight away. A lot of strength on him, high aggression on that card, so he'll be chasing down the ball. Looking to create opportunities for himself. Ramos with a great spread of the play out there to Benjamin Mendy, and he managed to momentarily find Mbappe. However, Nordovin now with a chance to go forward. The change of formation here, the change of personnel as well, but things just not clicking for them in that final third down.
Nordovin have gone to constant pressure, or they're using team press as well. You can see the players just instantly charging down, so that might offer up a gap for Epsilon to potentially get a third goal here if Nordovin can't find something on the attack.
Ball down the channel here. Lionel Messi digs it in towards the back post. Wow, Zanetti again gets his head on it. Two players there from Epsilon Man City were in position. You thought it was going to drop onto one of their heads. Ball into the box. Aubameyang gets it clear, and Nordovin are going to build yet another attack here, Dan.
Yep, they put it to constant pressure, and there is constant pressure here, but Sergio Ramos is able to clear. Now maybe something around the counter-attack here for Epsilon Man City, or are they going to play it slow? Nice and calm, keep that possession, just spread the play out wide, switch it if you have to. Don't give away the ball easily. As I say that, they lop it up to Mbappe, and he's offside.
Yeah, that constant pressure just made things a little bit more difficult, but speaking about constant pressure and concentration, a little momentary lapse there gave the ball away, and here come Nordovin again. Messi now, big tackle coming in. I believe that was Benjamin Mendy who got an important foot in there for the guys from Epsilon Man City. They're now going to be pushing forward. Koulibaly comes across.
Epsilon not scared to get stuck in with their manual defending. More than happy to press that tackle button and just lunge in. But there is some space. They're giving space to Nordovin here. They're more than happy to back off. They don't care if Matuidi's got the ball on outside the box, but he plays it in Suarez.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's magnificent. Suarez brought on and introduced to the play, and that is exactly why. Nordovin with a bit of magic. Just one goal between these two teams, and there's still half an hour to play, Dan.
I was saying Epsilon, they were stepping off, sorry. They were allowing that space. They were more than happy to back off. And it just allowed for pass into pass inside that box. And now maybe this is the bit of oomph that Nordovin needed. As going forward, they look way more confident. Oh, but Zanetti's there again.
I feel like that ball was aimed for Thierry Henry, but didn't find his target. Now Suarez brings it forward. Maradona, Gulam. Matuidi now slows things down, and oh, it's a little bit of a rush pass, but Nordovin are going to get away with things here. Koulibaly into DeMarcos. Petit, you can see all these runs off the board here. Off the ball, excuse me. Petit into Matuidi. Again, he was the creator who found the ball into Suarez. Suarez again receives into Henry now. Henry round the corner. Maradona. Twisting and turning, and Dan, this is just constant pressure now from Nordovin.
Yeah, they're just waiting for that one moment. The cross comes in, but it's not going to find anyone. Epsilon, what do they do here? Are they just going to be more than happy with a 2-1 lead, or are they going to go for a goal? Bergkamp tries to just ball roll it across. They still have possession here.
Coming up to the 15 minutes left mark here in this game. It has been a tight one. Nordavind have controlled the pace of things in this second half. Win the ball back now with Maradona. Koulibaly getting a little bit adventurous. And why not at this stage, Dan?
I will remind you, Epsilon yet to have anything other than a win so far in the Elite Series.
Great ball.
4 games, 4 wins, 12 points. And they're on track for another 3 unless Nordavind can upset them here.
Mbappe then for Epsilon. Man City down this left-hand side. Rijkaard comes across. Petit comes across to help him out. There's going to be gaps in the middle here with all these players pressing the ball. Ballack now round the corner to Aubameyang. Aubameyang strikes and Danovic will get possession back as well as making the save. And here come Nordavind again.
Yeah, no time wasted with the keeper there, just throwing it out straight away. Maradona did manage to win that header. And you've got to be worried every single attack now if you're Epsilon. You know what can happen as it gets to those dying moments. But Zanetti again! Just diving in, taking no prisoners.
Zanetti has been a wall in that right-back position. We talked about how he could be a weakness, but by winning that ball back, he could create an opportunity here. DeMarcos gets down, but Ronaldinho! Oh, he's going to put Nordavind's hopes to bed here. 3-1 to Epsilon Man City. That man has been a steal at whatever they paid for him.
That's one of the goals that hurts in weekend leagues, especially you see it. You nod it away with your defender, you're expecting it to be cleared, but it just falls to that striker. And Ronaldinho again, he is ruthless as he finds his 6th goal here in the Elite Series.
6th goal in the Elite Series. Unbelievable stuff from Ronaldinho. Definitely one of the buys of the season so far. Nordavind, though, they still have a few minutes left here. If they can get one in the next few minutes, they might have a chance, but just as I say that, they give the ball away, and Kylian Mbappe, he's looking for blood on this right-hand side.
Well, maybe it's Ronaldinho. Maybe he wants to go for a hat-trick here. Nope, just going to play it back out in the midfield, but Epsilon, they were looking shaky through the middle stage of the game, but as soon as they get that cushion, they look so strong, they look so comfortable on the ball.
Approaching the 90-minute mark now. Heartbreak here for Nordavind. They really have controlled things down in this second half. They've been so unlucky in certain situations. 2 minutes going to be added on here. Maybe time for Nordavind to make this one look a little bit closer. Unfortunately, though, Maradona's not interested. Zanetti has been so impressive in that right-back position, though, Dan.
And it's how many of these games come down to that auction. Is it the fact that you've got your Ronaldinho, your Bergkamp, in comparison to your Henry and your Messi? Either way, Epsilon are going to be more than happy as they continue their undefeated, unbeaten, constant winning record, as they are now up to 15 points here in the Elite Series.
We're going to have to get a calculator out soon, because 3 plus 3 plus 3, it gets a little bit confusing for me now. I think it's 15 points at this point. 15 out of 15, perfect still from Epsilon Man City, but they had to work hard in that one, Dan. It was by no easy means the way they would have wanted that game to go, I feel. Nordavind gave them a real fight there, but just those moments in front of goal for Nordavind, they just lacked a tiny bit of creativity.
But Nordavind, they recognised, well, sorry, Epsilon recognised what Nordavind were trying to do. They were trying to control the game, so they sat back and they were more than happy to go on the counter-attack throughout that game.
Well, I mean, it's perfect so far from Epsilon Man City. Speaking of perfect, Tom?
Oh, that's too nice. That is. Do you know what? That is beautiful.
I mean, he was looking me in the eyes as he said it, but he said your name.
Why are you stealing that? That's fine. But okay, yes, beautiful stuff from the casters over there. DG and the Big O making the dog. The bark was coming from them. They're commentating throughout that. Goals came, and the win went to Epsilon Man City. They keep that 100% record, as you can see there, getting that 3-1 win. Would you agree with what they were saying there, Trout, that Nordavind had a game plan and Man City just countered that today?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I mean, it was a tough game for Nordavind. They were behind for a large majority of the game, and Ronaldinho is honestly just
filthy.
He is filthy. He is just like the bottom of my shoes, kind of filthy. Just walking through a muddy field, kind of dirty. He just pops up in the one place you do not want him to be.
It's a muddy field, he's wearing wellies, and he's still doing tricks like that. I don't understand it. Makes no sense.
He's Ronaldinho, mate. He'll do what he wants. And it's those players who have that high agility and just incredible control, slick feet, and they dominate because they create so much space in these little moments where they can get that shot off, being in the right place at the right time, just like you saw in that goal. And that's That's everything that the guys on Epsilon want, is a player who puts himself in the right position when they need him most.
Suarez came on, made a bit of a difference for Nordavind. They thought they had a chance, but that Ronaldinho, as Chris Trout said, stepped up and said no.
Yeah, he is just that player. You don't want the ball to fall to anyone with it being Ronaldinho. He's going to score every single time. And yeah, Nordavind did well. They were pushing, but the Epsilon Man City boys, they showed why they are here. They showed
15 points at the top of the table. It's embarrassing. 10 points drift of second place. They're streaming through to the semi-finals, it would appear. So it's really now a fight between the other 4 teams for second and third place for that playoff place.
Yeah, they look like they're going straight through, obviously, but also they look like they're going for the win, for the whole thing. They're going for the title. They're going for it all. They're going for the jugular of every single team that they're facing.
It's not fair. That's what I'm saying. It's not fair. They need to let someone else have a chance, even if they could just. But now, when they get to the games, they can basically dictate. I know that they wouldn't throw games, but they can now dictate who's going to take a point off them, maybe potentially.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're just going to try and win every single game, try and get every single point moving forward. And imagine they could go through this entire series not losing a game.
Beautiful scenes, beautiful scenes. We move into the PS4 game then. I'm going to throw it over to Brennan, who is upset. No, I'm not, of course not. On set, Dan Gaskin, you're going to take it away.
I thought my name had changed down. I got confused, I got worried, I started sweating. But there's only going to be 2 players who are sweating at the moment, and that's going to be the Nordavind boys, because they're going to want to upset this Man City Epsilon train at the moment, Dan.
Yep, of course, a change now of player personnel. It's going to be Diogo coming into it alongside Denny on the other side for Epsilon. Mentz is still going to be there, but he's going to be alongside Gotsuri.
Yeah, and interesting to see, obviously, Modric was a starter here in the last game for Nordavind. They've actually started with Suarez this time, so a little bit of a change up there.
Is Mentz going to be able to fill the large shoes of Dito? I almost said socks.
Same thing. Literally the same thing. Yeah,
well,
exactly the same thing.
You don't have sock sizes, really, though, do you?
No, it's true, but, you know, we're going to get stuck in this, but for anyone who's watching at home now who wants to improve their viewing experience ever so slightly more, of course, you can head over to the Gfinity Twitter right now, because they're giving away some free pizza, so a little bit of giveaway there if Epsilon Man City can continue this unbeaten run and qualify today, so going to be important to get that pizza in, of course, and now it's Epsilon Man City who might be looking to make that happen. They might have heard me. Ball into the middle. DeMarcos positioned well, though, to get that one away.
The icon's changed from blue to purple as well. I don't know if that's just preference of colour from one of these players, as the ball's just tipped over. It does go for a corner here, as Epsilon are going to have a chance to swing this one in, maybe take an early lead here.
Players like Sergio Ramos hovering around that front post. You can see him. He's going to be interested in getting his head on that one, but well defended there by Nordavind. Here comes another wave of Epsilon Man City attack then. Henry getting involved, and that's why a lot of people use him in that midfield, Dan. You know, maybe not the greatest in-game stats as far as defending is concerned, but that height, that power, that physicality is enough to get you through.
Oh, but Ronaldinho is the man at the moment, and he's having a little bit of fun now, as that ball is just going to be punched out wide. But Henry, I mean, we're talking about Ronaldinho. Henry's got 4 goals in this tournament as well, certainly up there with the top goal scorers. The ball is hoofed in. An easy collection for the goalkeeper, Handanovic. And now, what do you do with it, Mark? Are you kind of just play out of the back slow kind of guy?
I am. I try and keep possession, and I think you'll see the name of the game, keeping possession for all of these teams, for all of the players involved. Can't concede if you don't have the ball, if you do have the ball, sorry. Henry now on the edge, little run inside here. Messi on that left foot. Oh, I think it might have been the goalkeeper move slightly early there. Courtois makes what appeared to be a more comfortable save than I was expecting.
But Epsilon were under this pressure in game number 1 at the start. And they adjusted. They adjusted to how Nordavind were playing. They recognised their possession wasn't as good as Nordavind's, so they sat back. They went on the counter-attack, and maybe we'll see that again here, as there is going to be a chance to get away. Aubameyang is making a run out on the right.
Yeah, a bit of space for Bergkamp to work with there. Aubameyang creates more, trying to whip it into the box. We've already seen how effective Dennis Bergkamp was in the air in that first game. Managed to bag a goal with that beautiful Dutch head of his. Suarez now out on the left-hand side for Nordavind. 20 minutes gone in game so far, Dan. No real big opportunities to speak of, but here goes Luis Suarez in behind. Who else but N'Golo Kante tracking him?
And can we see something different from these Nordavind boys? Different players now. Diogo came top 8 at the Continental Cup just a couple of weeks ago. Confidence should be flowing through him. 92nd in the Weekend League in October. One of the top 100 players in the world. We need to see something special from one of these guys. They need to create something different if they're going to break down Epsilon.
That was a great little ball inside there from Gulam. Petit now going to join the attack. A little bit of space here. Messi turns onto that left foot. Still has the ball. It's like Velcro to his shoes. Henry, oh no! Catch. Someone in the crowd's got that.
Not even sure it got as far as the crowd. It went so high up. Probably a ball boy just taking that one down. But certainly Nordavind are putting a lot of pressure here on Epsilon Man City. Maybe Henry wasn't expecting to get the ball there. And you're holding your L1, expecting maybe to be going for a pass and move. But again, pressure. I think that one's gone out for a goal kick, though, unfortunately.
Time to reset a little bit here, and Courtois is going to go long, and he's going to look for the head of one of the Epsilon Man City players. Henry with a little bit of space. Messi's in behind here. Thierry Henry in front of goal! Oh, fantastic use of the goalkeeper. Big save from Courtois. Corner now for Nordavind. Are they going to get a better chance than that?
They need to make one of these chances count, because we saw what happened in the previous game on Xbox. Epsilon, as soon as they managed to nip a goal, the floodgates opened and goals started to arrive. Nordavind certainly got chance after chance here, but the scoreline was still all tied up. You can see the passing statistic there, Mark. 89% for Nordavind, but only 72 for Epsilon Man City. They're really struggling to keep this ball, and you've got to say it's a different 2v2 pairing for Epsilon Man City. No Dito, Gotsuri, Mentz, they're learning how to play with each other, and luckily, they're still all tied up at 0-0.
Yeah, one thing that they can give lessons on for sure, though, Dan, is manually moving that goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
It was a mental battle, and as I say, you're so used to, if we compare FIFA to real life for a moment, Thierry Henry opening himself up and looking for that far post, but Courtois, it was a game of cat and mouse, and they won it. They stay in this game, and now they're on the attack. Ballack out wide, Aubameyang inside the box. Goes for a strike on goal himself, and first time we've really seen Man City come forward here. And you just feel like if they get one chance in front of goal down, it might be a real dagger in the heart here for Nordavind.
I do like to see situations like that where you do just take a shot. Maybe it goes out for a corner, maybe it deflects to one of your players. Make your own luck in FIFA 19. But Epsilon not able to get anywhere with that from that throwing. You could see they were waiting, hoping that someone was going to move in close, but they were quite reluctant to move it around.
Measured there from Handanovic. And the needle stuff to Marcos now. Looking for that run down the line, but well tracked there by the Epsilon Man City players. Matuidi's got a little bit of space here. Suarez once again in behind. And you have to wonder why Luis Suarez wasn't starting for Nordavind. Been so influential so far. Since he came on the Xbox side of things, he's looking good on the PlayStation side of things as well. Gulam joins the attack now. Now Suarez is inside the box. Dangerous. Ball across. Oh, and it's the smallest man on the pitch who was arriving at the back post. Give me a Hullet, give me a Vieira, give me an R9 on that, and that's a goal.
I think Epsilon Man City will be more than happy for the half-time whistle to arrive here. They've certainly been on the back foot, but the fact they're going in all square will mean that they can just take a look, they can take a breather, speak to their coach and say, look, how do we work this out? What was Dito doing that
Big
I'm
chance.
not doing?
Here we are, Henry tries to take on Ramos, tries to go the long way round, but maybe a little ball into Suarez there was the better option, Dan.
And a draw wouldn't be the end of the world for Epsilon. They'd still be unbeaten, but you know full well this squad. You know they want to go for those 3 points, Mark.
Well, half-time is upon us, Dan. 2 shots per team at the moment. 2 shots on target there for Nordavind, just the 1 for Epsilon. But, I mean, it's very similar pattern to what we saw in that second half of the first leg on the Xbox. Nordavind controlled the pace for, I'd say, 60%, 70% of that first half. But you just felt every time that Man City did come forward, there was a real chance they could score.
Yeah, and it's a shame, really, to see a pairing change. But it's an opportunity here for Gotsuri and Mentz. I mean, Gotsuri and Dito, they were an absolute couple. They may as well have been in love. Whereas for Mentz and Gotsuri, it's a little bit like Romeo and Juliet at the moment. They want to be in love. However, they're struggling to get close enough.
Damn those Montagues and Capulets. Mendy then. Starting this one off here, Epsilon Man City with the kick-off. They're going to be shooting from left to right, of course, in this second half, in that change of strip. Manchester City, of course. Ronaldinho then. You know how dangerous he can be, and he's got a little bit of space in behind here. Could be the dagger. Oh, luckily for them, Oscar De Marcos gets back makes the challenge, and Mbappe with the El Tornado, but here come Nordavind after an early scare there from the Epsilon boys.
Nordavind don't have much to offer on the counter-attack, though. They're going for the build-up play, but speaking of counter-attacks, Ronaldinho maybe going to whip this one across, and Mbappe is back post. DeMarcos
again. The man in the way there. Petit now brings it away. Messi has a little pocket of space. Desailly tries to lunge in, nip that ball away, but been a much hotter start here, and I have to say, Sir Alex behind the guys on Epsilon Man City. I wonder what he said, because it seems to be working.
Yeah, we keep saying Epsilon Man City, they want all of these points. They want to get up to 18 points. They want to be winning 6 out of 6, but the points are more important for Nordavind. You can see how tight the table is below Epsilon Man City. They've probably already qualified for playoffs. I've not done the maths, but it's pretty likely at this point. Nordavind, however, they still need to get there. They need that moment. They need that special moment, their Gfinity Elite Series moment, and maybe it could be an MVP-deserving moment if someone's able to get a goal and the win against Epsilon Man City.
Matuidi wins the ball back then. Emmanuel Petit now on the ball. Suarez plays the ball in behind. Here's Thierry Henry just inside the box. Scoop turn, drag back, puts the ball into the back post. Maradona again. Genetics do not favour him when it comes to those positions.
I know how it feels, but maybe they should change his position. Maybe move him across, because he's certainly been at that back post time after time. There was a small chance for Aubameyang. As a pause is called, maybe we'll see a formation change here. But here's another chance here, Mark.
Yeah, it's going to be Zanetti who's desperately trying to get back. Uses the goalkeeper Courtois there. That's going to be spread out wide to Benjamin Mendy. And this one is on a knife edge. It says 0-0 here, but the game has been full of action. Now Maradona with the ball on the floor. Can he make something happen? Wrestled off of it, though, by Sergio Ramos.
Yeah, he's been bullied a little bit, Maradona, at the back today. Really struggled to do anything. Someone who's not struggled is Ronaldinho, as he has it out on the left, but as I say, that right guard just pushes him off.
Wins the free kick.
Whew, time to calm. It's been an intense one in midfield, for sure.
It really has been an intense battle, and you just feel like there's a lot of mistakes. 4-2-2 here from Nordavind. Be interesting to see if it's the Epsilon guys who are changing things. I think that's the same formation. Maybe they'll have a look at those team ratings and check the formation they're going up again. There you go. 4-2-3-1 then from Epsilon Man City.
And it is interesting to see Suarez in that CAM role, rather than you typically maybe put Thierry Henry out on the left because of his prowess on the left in real life. But
He's
Suarez
got that height as well, those back post crosses.
Exactly. So he works out as a nice striker role. And Suarez has done wonders just dribbling this ball on the outside of the box and then passing it in.
Free kick here for Epsilon Man City then. Ball going to be tossed into the middle. It's dangerous. Rijkaard gets up though. Petit now brings us away. A huge 25 in-game minutes left here, Dan, for Nordavind to potentially turn their season around.
As I said, it wouldn't be that detrimental for Epsilon Man City. It would be detrimental for all the people who want free pizza at home, though, who've entered the competition on the Gfinity Twitter. Have you entered it?
No.
Oh, OK. Well, I have, and I want free pizza.
Maradona then down the left. And by left, I mean right. Desailly spreads that one across to Zanetti. Zanetti in the first game was definitely man of the match for me for Epsilon Man City, even though they managed to steal away a 3-1 win. Made so many vital interceptions, so many vital blocks. His positioning was superb. 20 minutes left then. The story in this one, Dan, is can Nordavind give the first defeat of the Elite Series here to Epsilon Man City, or will it be perfection continued here for the Sky Blues? Henry! Oh!
That was red. That was a red time finesse, I think. If that was green, that was probably in. Chance again, though, for Nordavind.
Oh, for the El Tornado.
The thing is, I don't think Nordavind are going to go all-out attack here. 1 point is actually really important here. No one else has got a point off Man City Epsilon thus far.
Henry manages to get a boot on that one. Messi versus Kante. Kante somehow wins that battle. Don't think I would have been able to call that one on paper, to be honest with you. Ramos plays it back to Courtois, and you'll see this ball just pumped along now. Aubameyang with that height is going to win that battle against Gulam. Now here comes Epsilon Man City, and what a no shock at all it would be if they managed to steal a 1-0 win away here, having played not quite up to the standards we've seen so far.
It's funny because I think both teams will be happy with a draw at this point, so they are going to be reluctant to take risks. But sometimes when you are in that mindset, you do make mistakes. You relax a little bit and think, all right, we can just pass it around, and it can be stolen from you. As you can see here, Nordavind just building it from the back here.
I believe that 1 point here from Epsilon Man City, as you say, Dan, is absolutely fine for them because it guarantees them a top 3 space.
And they would have known that coming into this game as well. And their coach maybe was having that whisper in their ear at half-time.
Free kick here, chance here for Nordavind. Inside the last 10 minutes here. Lionel Messi stood over the ball. We've already seen one free kick find the back of the net. Is it going to be these decoy runs off the ball here? Or are we going to see a strike on goal here, Dan?
We've seen 2 go in already. Rolls it across. Thierry Henry is just going to play it back, and maybe this is Nordavind saying we're more than happy with a point here, or they just want to work something a little bit different, work it from the back, be more patient, not give the last opportunity to Epsilon.
Matuidi then picks the ball up. Suarez just beat into the ball there. Unfortunately, Matuidi was dropped in the middle there, so another opportunity here, and again it's Lionel Messi stood over the ball, taking it short. Rijkaard out wide to Petit. Maybe not the player you want in these wide positions, but he's doing a great job. Out of all players, Rijkaard's there. Who's at the back post? No, none other than Luis Suarez, but he got it all wrong, Dan. He got it all wrong.
Not the best of angles. Kick might have gone top bins, but now it's a little bit more different, a little bit more difficult to score those flare, fancy shots. As we are going to have a pause here in the 85th minute now. Who wants it more? Do either of these teams want it? Are they happy with a draw?
I think there's a goal in this game. I feel like there's a goal in this game. And the worrying thing for the guys on Nordavind is you just feel there's going to be a chance for Epsilon Man City here somehow. You just feel that there might be that chance. Modric being brought on, that 92 rated Modric card, Champions League card, on that left-hand side, that left central attacker midfield position.
And you might be wondering, why are they only making 1 sub? Why are they making 3? Well, with the auction, they only could afford really 11 or 12 players. They went all out with their money, and the rest of their team is just filled with bronze or silver players, so they're not going to be bringing those onto the pitch.
Imagine. What a story it would be.
A bronze to come on and score. Oh. The dream.
Game slowing down then. Last couple of minutes here. Is there a goal left in this game? Looks like Epsilon Man City are more than happy. I think they understand the game situation here. Nordavind are the ones who are going to have to put the pressure on, but again, a point here is just vital for them, Dan. Nobody wants to make a mistake at this point, but there is that mistake.
Yeah, it would be so huge for Epsilon to qualify this early on, and then they could just relax going into the final weeks. But maybe there's a last-ditch attempt here for Nordavind.
Here comes Thierry Henry, takes the ball towards the corner. Little fake shot, Zanetti, you naughty boy, you can't be doing that. Here is that chance here for Nordavind. Do you play the ball into the box? Use one of those big men. Try and get a header on the box. You can see Thierry Henry there at the back post. He's just drifted into space. What a story this would be. Ball in then, Modric delivers. Matuidi gets up, but can't connect with the ball. The ball goes towards the centre-back, and that is going to be it. No goals to speak of here, Dan. The perfect record is gone, but they're not going to care. Epsilon Man City now guaranteed a top 3 spot here in this group. Nordavind, though, a very, very impressive performance from them.
And Epsilon still unbeaten. So all those of you that did vote on Gfinity Twitter might be able to get that free pizza from Domino's. But as I said, about 70 minutes into that game, I think both teams recognised how important a 1 point was for both sides. Nordavind, the first team to take a point off Epsilon, so they will be more than happy with that result.
Yeah, points huge for both of those teams, as you say, and you have to think this isn't just a one-off knockout competition, Dan. This is a long, long season, and every single point that you can get is going to contribute, and I think recognising that game situation is a credit to both of those teams, to be honest. To take yourself out of the moment and see the bigger picture, that could serve them so well moving forward.
And I think it was unfortunate, really, for Nordavind. If you look at that first half, how much they dominated, how many chances, if they had just put one of them away, maybe they could have walked with 3 points instead. But as I said, don't think they'll be too disappointed here. First team to take a point off Epsilon.
Well, Dan, it's been an absolute pleasure, of course. 0-0 in the second game on the PlayStation side of things, gentlemen. No goals to speak of, but a lot of action to talk about.
No goals to speak of. A lovely way of putting it. Gentlemen, fantastic work from you, Dan Gaskin and Onset. They were fantastic. The gameplay, it was, if you like 0-0s, there's only that's now the second one in the Elite Series that happened. The previous one was the Dream Team versus Vitality on Xbox. It lived up to its billing, but other than that, if they're neutral, bit dull that one. But fair play to Nordavind for taking a point off Man City Epsilon, as you can see the results there in front of you.
Yeah, massive performance from Nordavind to take a point away from Man City, but the streak lives on. The question now is, who is going to be the so-called Brock Lesnar to Man City Epsilon? The Undertaker's streak was beaten. Who's going to end Man City Epsilon streak?
Okay, fair dues on that one. Let's look at some of those chances that came in for Nordavind that didn't manage to just take the opportunities when they arise.
I think as well of Nordavind as well, that's their first loss they've experienced. They came in last week against Hashtag, picked up a draw, picked up a win, and then kicked off tonight with a loss against City and Epsilon, who have been incredible, as Richard said, 16 points on the board. And Diego Poxeto, I know Richard enjoys pronouncing that one, back in the Gfinity Elite Series, Chinwa as well.
Why do you like pronouncing it, Richard?
Listen to it.
Diego Poxeto.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I don't know where it comes from.
But bearing in mind and taking on Brendan what he said there, Trout, you look at the table, Group B, interesting enough, that point, and I think my maths is right on this, guarantees Man City Epsilon are into the playoffs, because you look at Roma Fnatic, maximum they can get is 15, then Army can get 16 points with the amount of games they've got left, meaning Man City Epsilon have secured that playoff. Maybe they have taken their foot off the gas. They thought, hang on a minute, mathematically, we just need a point here, and then we're done.
That is very much a possibility, Tom.
Give me another possibility then.
Well, this stream will end soon because the games are over.
That is
another one.
No, I don't want any more from you, Trout. That is delightful for today. But were you impressed with the way Nordavind played in that second game to get that point?
Yeah, I thought they defended well. I think there was actually a good example of how to use a keeper. We've been kind of slating people for not using the keeper very well. And kind of overthinking it and maybe trying to do a little bit too much predicting. And I thought that first chance you saw in the replay was actually a good example of someone who's, kind of read the situation correctly. They've realised that I've got to get this correct because if I don't, I'm going to concede here. And they got it spot on. It is something to go by, and it's something to think about for next week when some of these teams do come up and they're looking for those wins and trying to secure playoff spots. They've got to really make sure they're on point with these goalkeeper movements.
Yeah, Nordavind could definitely give a few tips to Team Vitality about moving the keeper and not moving the keeper. That game against Method was a bit of a howler. But gentlemen, what do you take from today? We've got Group A, the standings there at the moment, and the Group B it has lived up to the billing week 3. But what impressed you today?
Yeah, big goals pretty much all around. I think in that last game especially, one of the big things that I'm just looking at is that Man City are actually beatable. They're very much beatable coming out of the back of this game. They're unbeaten so far, but they've not been smashing people, really. 0-0, 2-1. They're the sort of scorelines. Like, they often say champions, if you play poorly but still winning, that's the form of champions.
At the same time as that, you've got to look at the players that Man City have. Obviously, Dito wasn't here tonight. Yep. I think their play style got to in Dito suits that 3-2. They're happy to win by a goal when they play. However, still unbeaten, as we'll say again and again, 16 points. Really impressed with Method tonight as well. Riptork and Benny, the first time those two have played together, a 4-1 win and a 1-0 win against the Vitality side that just didn't really see him at the races today.
Yeah. I thought we were going to see more of you at the touchscreen today, Chris Trout. Hasn't happened. Kyle Walker
Someone banned me from it.
I think they did. Kyle Walker, you took his place. What's happening up at the touchscreen?
What's happening, Carl? What's going on? How you doing, brother? You good?
I'm not too bad.
You must be happy.
I'm 16 points for Man City Epsilon, but I said this on my first week I was here, not going to be biased at all. I do support Man City, but the Shark team didn't seem to be... It wasn't feeding time for the Sharks.
That's very true. And one thing that we want to look at is how FIFA 19 is a game of such tight margins, especially at this level. And we're going to look at the timed finish. We were talking about it earlier today. It was me and Gaskin who were up here, and we were talking about creating that opportunity for that time finish, the finesse towards the far post, hitting that green and getting everything right. Even with Dybala's 3-star weak foot can still result in a goal. But here, I mean, you put your house on Tierra and rescore in this one. But as you can see here, we'll zoom in on it. The time finish it's a red time finish. It's not good. It's not good at all. And even though it wasn't that good, hitting the post there at 0-0 in that game, I mean, Nordavind take the lead. That could be a very, very different game as we've just seen.
100%. If that would have gone in there, then that would have just completely changed that flow of that game. They would have sat back. They would have defended with their lives, that 1-0. But it didn't go in. It hit the post. It was close. But as you said, that Thierry Henry, you'd put your house on it that he's actually going to score it. He didn't, but it meant that the game was to go 1-0. 16 points for Man City Epsilon, but what a way to actually take a point off the leaders. And that point, I think that's going to be, how close it is at the bottom, that's going to be very, very vital.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think both teams, you know, they were happy with that point towards the end of things. And I wanted to ask you as well, do you feel like on the PlayStation side of things, Dito was missed today? Because obviously, you know, Mens is an incredibly talented player, but it seems like Gotsuri and Dito, they have a real relationship as a two.
Yes, definitely. The chemistry that they have, we've seen it with Waves and Jazz as well. These two players, they can play really well together. They understand the game. They understand each other, where the other's going to be. And we see that with Gotsuri and Dito as well. And that maybe was missed a little bit this evening, which why it wasn't feeding time with the Sharks. But they go on, 16 points. They're not going to be upset, are they?
No, they've, as I say, guaranteed themselves that top 3 place. But as we're showing here, FIFA 19 at the top level, it really is a game of margins. Get that time finish wrong, things can turn out very badly for you.
I've got to say, I think Onset's been on point today. He's really been the strongest analyst today.
He's been all right. Should we rename him from Onset to On Point?
Thank you. It has happened. Dan Gaskin, Chris Trout, joining me just as we're wrapping up the show for week 3. Big things are happening at the moment. Who stood out for you today, Dan Gaskin?
Player-wise or in-game player-wise?
I will take either answer from you, sir.
I'll go with Ments as an actual physical human being. He played on both consoles. He stepped into Dito's shoes.
Which are big shoes to fill.
Quite literally. He is a big man. And he didn't take a loss. He was able to continue that fine form for Man City Epsilon. So I'll go with Ments, I think.
It's a good choice, bringing in the Frenchman.
He was in...
I haven't come to you. Dan Gaskin, and what else would you like to mention on a physical form? And you said there was another option.
Player-wise, Neymar, he did pretty well. Ronaldinho is incredible. He's got 6 goals. Zanetti at the back. As
Zanetti missed that opportunity. Gentlemen, all right, Chris Trout, I didn't mean to cut you up there. Well, I did, but anyway, I'm going to move on. Carl Walker, we've got to talk about the Domino's takeaway moment. There can only be one, that hat-trick from the one man that Dan Gaskin has just named, Neymar. Beautiful scenes, first half hat-trick.
Yeah, that card there, we talked about it before, amazing. And actually that free kick, that's my highlight. That is my one moment to take away, that free kick. I love that people are shooting, people are going for it. That's what I like. They're not running off, they're not passing it, they're taking a chance. And we've seen it twice this evening, it's pulled off.
Yeah, I mean, it's back in FIFA 19. You know, it's a legitimate option to go for goal, you know, regardless of range. We saw Steven Gerrard scoring a free kick as well today, but it wasn't just the fact that Neymar, you know, scored that hat-trick. It was the context of everything. Asus ROG, you know, they hadn't had a win yet, and that was big for them, and Neymar, they paid the money for him, and he delivered.
He did deliver indeed, and Roma Fnatic got their first points. And Chris Trout, you were stepping in for Jolien Lescott today. Jolien Lescott is a big fan of the free kicks, having shoot whenever there's opportunity. Why try and lay it off and pass the ball around? Would you agree with that, Chris Trout?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, there you go. That brings us to the end of everything today. It's been a beautiful week 3. I love working with that man there, Chris Trout, Dan Gaskin, same for you as well, Carl Walker, Onset, and also to my co-host, Lauren Layfield, and of course, the Brennan and the big man, Richard Trebeck, as we call him in the scene and the game. Listen, that's it from us in week 3 of FIFA. We'll be back at the Gfinity Arena tomorrow morning with more Rocket League, 11 a.m. and as usual, Street Fighter will be at 6 p.m. We will have FIFA special this time next week as the Elite Series takes a break. So don't worry, we will satisfy your FIFA fix. Trust me, you won't want to miss next week's show. From all of us here, have a good night.
Oh, here we go, straight away. 3 minutes into the game. Finesse, and there's the goal. Del Piero, can he finesse it? Just about.
Gerrard, does he strike it? Gerrard does go for goal. Oh, and Georgie Best. Ronaldo gets in front of his man, and Cristiano Ronaldo, I believe.